Hello, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Jamal Moran, and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and Joe Dehls. This is now episode 283. In this episode, we're going to talk about the Nuggets sweeping the Lakers, LeBron hinting at retirement, where Jimmy Butler's playoff run stacks up amongst other great runs, Joe Mazzulla, and each of us will name a player whose stock is rising in these playoffs.
Why are you yelling? He's yelling?
I don't feel like I'm just projecting.
Oh,
he's excited. I mean,
Yeah,
listen,
like
the Lakers are out. Celtics are down 3-0.
Whenever we are on a
right
live
now.
stream, it means we got to talk about something
I feel like
immediately.
he was yelling to me.
We cannot wait. We cannot
Can't
wait for the
bullshit,
editing
no.
to go
Okay.
out. We have to talk about what happened.
Are we talking about?
Recently.
You gonna talk about the Heat today?
Oh, of course. Listen, we'll save it for the segment. We'll save the segment. It's the intro right now. How y'all doing?
Good. I thought we were getting right into it. You cut off everybody, so let's get into it.
I didn't say let's get into it.
Oh, I thought that's what we're getting.
No, I was just
Sitting
trying
on
because
the
he felt
editing.
loud to me, so I was asking
Oh.
why he was loud.
Nah, he's good. I'm doing good, bro. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, went on a walk today. Ate some
Nice.
cucumbers with
Mm.
some spices.
Did you cut him or just?
Nah. Cut him.
Okay,
Come
okay.
on. You're a demon.
No, yeah, you're a demon.
You're
You
a
just
demon.
shut
Hey,
up.
I
thought the
have
same
you
shit.
seen?
Not
Have
gonna
you
lie.
seen this man before?
That is true.
He
I mean, he
good,
does
you know
cut
what I mean?
up munchkin, so I really
Oh,
think
yeah,
he would
facts,
cut the
facts.
cucumber
Yeah.
up.
I don't eat it whole, Dehls. Gotta take my time.
Gotta savor.
I gotta take my
I
time.
feel you.
How you doing, Riv?
More
I
juicy
feel
when you cut it up.
amazing, man. We just had a lot of fun this week, you know.
Ah,
I feel
okay,
good,
okay. And Drew. How are you?
I'm all right.
Are you
I'm
okay?
all right.
Are you good?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not well. I'm definitely not doing well. I would have definitely liked to lose in 5 as opposed to losing in 4, but it's all right. We're here.
Man, it's a shame it killed LeBron's legacy.
Yeah, I was
and now
honestly-
dropped him down to number 10 all time.
I was ecstatic when we were supposed to record yesterday and we moved it to today because after that game on Sunday from the Celtics, I was like, you know what? Give us a game. Maybe the Lakers do something. It won't be the first thing we talk about. So I live to see another day. Drew, I'm sorry that it had to be you.
It's all right.
I'm not.
My guy was fantastic. Just ran out of steam.
He did come out blazing.
Yeah, he was
You like
great.
to see that.
Anthony
response.
Davis was kind of poop 1 through 3.
Kind of.
But he was good in the 4th. I can't even hate.
Yeah,
Kind of
He
poop
showed
1
up.
through 3.
He ended with
Oh,
22, right? It was the
yeah,
quietest
yeah.
22 I've ever heard.
He's always quieter.
Yeah.
You ever notice that? Just
Back,
weird guy.
defensive anchor.
I'm
Yeah,
yeah.
I was
I'm
not happy.
surprised.
I was watching at my girl's house and I was distraught.
So I'm very surprised it ended in 4. I
I think we're all pretty fucking
Yeah,
surprised.
I
Any of
wasn't
this is
expecting
ending
that.
in 4.
Yeah. Hey,
5. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Listen,
You
I'm
overcheck-
most-
maybe 6. Maybe. Who knows?
He's 7. Maybe. Listen,
Don't let
I'm
him get
very.
one. Don't let him get one.
I'm more surprised at the Celtics going down 0-3, though. That was a shocker. I'd at least thought the way I came out of game 3 was pathetic.
Oh, no, it was gross.
It was pathetic.
It was gross.
My goodness.
I watched the games back today. I watched game 1, took my time with that one. Game 2, I watched it. Game 3, I was like, you know what? Why am I going to do that?
There's no point.
It's horrible basketball.
I'm surprised at both. I'll be honest. I did not see
Oh my God, you kidding me?
3-0 sweep from any of this. Honestly, this has just been a surprise. I'm excited though. I have no dog in this fight, so I'm watching
Me
from a
either.
stress-free
Trust
environment.
me.
Had a lot of fun. Been having fun all week. I was
Your
with
team, Miami's still in the fight, though.
Bam. Yeah, I love Bam. Bam's
They're still in the
dope.
fight. Miami's
I
still
was
in the fight.
watching
gross.
last night with a stomach ache the
14
whole
He
game.
was?
Dude, I was up 15. I was all happy. Third quarter happened.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
did blow the lead. That was kind of crazy.
You knew they were going to go on a run. They weren't.
I was on playback with him for game 3. It was kind of funny.
Was it?
He was miserable.
I've seen
bro.
the clips.
I swear that playback was pissing me off because they were ahead watching the game too, and they were still commenting on it. At a point, I think it was like the entire last 4th quarter. I turned off the stage and only the audio to the game. I don't know if you could tell that. If it's
I was laughing, bro.
It was
It
locked
was just
in.
comedy.
I was just
Watching D-Lo was so funny.
Fans
Yeah,
don't
no, he was
usually
on some
piss me
shit,
off,
yeah.
but they were pissing me off.
Oh, yeah.
Now listen, Dehls, we're gonna get right into it, but you gotta give us some Boom Fantasy picks, some lines.
This
You gotta
might
see what
be.
we're working
Oh,
with.
we're still betting on the Celtics.
Hey, God willing, this isn't the last time we have
Just like
Boom Fantasy
ESPN.
NBA for the next week.
Listen, we
because-
might just have to
the
pivot
Celtics
to
lose.
MLB.
That's
We
a
might have to
fact.
pivot to NHL.
Because if the Celtics lose tonight, we won't have any
Hey,
games.
quick.
for 8,
How
9
is
days.
Jazz Chisholm doing this year?
Dude, I don't actually think he's been playing that well. I can check.
Not great?
Astros are in heater.
So are the Mets.
We
5 in a row.
just we just
Let's go,
smoked out the
baby.
White Sox. Was it the White Sox? We beat somebody like 12 to
And
2
Brad
yesterday.
Beatty's been doing his thing.
Yasmin and Alvarez.
Batting
And Alvarez
229.
too, yeah.
Not great.
Not great. What's great in batting?
Like if you're great,
Or like,
It's
what's
like
good?
300.
What's just
If
good?
you're like
okay, like
270,
260, 270.
Oh, so it's
280.
the lower it is.
Yeah, the worse it is.
Yeah.
So
he's
he's
a batting average.
so he's at 290.
He's at 220.
No, he's at 220.
Oh, what the fuck? Well, he plays for the Miami Marlins.
He does.
They're not good.
But there's a
He was
player
good
on the
last year,
Miami
Adam.
Marlins that's batting like well over 300.
Reyes, right?
Luis Reyes, yep.
Right. He's been eating.
They put him on
Um,
the cover and he's dog shit.
Boom
He's
Fantasy.
really not good.
By the way, I did the giveaway.
John, by
My
the way,
guy-
I
That
took the live stream off of Twitter, so you don't have to
Batting
search for it.
383.
Okay. I have the winner here. I put it out on Twitter. I emailed our guy. His name is Michael Colston. So,
Mhm.
Michael, if you're listening, I emailed you. Get your copy of MLB The Show. Or if there's a different game you want, I reached out and emailed to you. It's also on Twitter. No funny business here. We did spin the wheel as always. But for tonight, Boom Fantasy. Use code PICKASIDE. As always, the link is in the description. Do we want to hear Celtic lines or just want to go to Miami, who's just been cooking us all series?
Nah, bro. Let's
You know
listen,
what?
Let's listen.
Feed me some Gabe Vincent love.
You know what? This is I'm just gonna give you one pick today. This is my one and only pick. I don't know why, but today I woke up with a feeling of I think the Celtics get at least one.
Give me one.
And I think Jason Tatum's the one that's gonna go off.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go
He's trying
over
to give us
on
the
him.
jinx right here. This is what he's trying to do. He's
So
trying to do the
put
Miss Moran jinx.
put the over on Tatum. I
20
think he goes over.
Tatum's at 29.5. He's been at that number all series.
This brother
Jalen
has a
Brown,
cheese
who's
touch.
been struggling, 23.5 points, 6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 33.5 PRA. But who's really been killing us this whole series are
Vincent,
these
Killamar.
damn Miami Heat role players. Max Strus, 11.5 points, 2.5 3-pointers. Gabe Vincent, 11.5 points, 17.5 PRA.
That's
Caleb
attractive.
Martin, 11.5 points as well, 4.5 rebounds, 18.5 PRA.
Talking about Caleb Martin, 11.5 points.
11.5 points for
Oh
Caleb
yeah,
Martin.
smash the over on that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. He's averaging 19 in a series.
Rev,
He's
you
been
want to
doing
hear your
his
boy
thing.
Bam?
Talk to me about Big Bam.
Bam,
Bam at a
who's been-
fucking bio.
On a mission this series. 18 points, 9.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 31.5 PRA, 1.5
He didn't have many
steals and
rebounds
blocks.
last game, but it was an ass whipping. I'll
It
go
was.
3.5 assists. Was that 3.5 assists?
3.5 assists.
I'll take the over on that. I like Bam's. The playmaking is really, really good. for
31 and a
Miami.
half PRA. I like.
Yeah, get the points.
I think they beat the shit out of you. So
You think we just roll over and just
I don't
take
think
it?
you roll over. They're just so much better than you guys right now.
No.
Not from a talent perspective, but
But
just
from a
mentally,
team
they're just fucking
They
an
are.
up.
activity standpoint.
So yeah.
It's a shame.
And then the other guy we haven't mentioned is Jimmy Butler, who's hasn't been this god mode Jimmy Butler, but was really good at least the first 2 games. 28 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 41.5 PRA, 2.5 steals plus blocks. This is Jimmy Butler game to close it out, or do the Celtics, put something up?
Somebody asked
That's
you,
some pride.
do you guys have Udonis Haslam lots?
We do not. What are we gonna have?
Over 1 minute.
Well, over 0.5
Over
minutes.
getting in the game?
Yeah.
I saw this video of this fan. They asked him a question: if there's any NBA player in the league that you think you can score on, who do you think it is? And the guy said Udonis Haslam. And then Udonis Haslam actually commented in the comment section about it, which was pretty funny. He's like, "Yeah, he's old. I would just get by him and hit him with a jab step. Dude, look ridiculous." But Jimmy
You got it.
Butler, 6 assists. That's intriguing. Just because the playmakers have been so great, and he's been able to trust his
What's
guys.
his rebounding?
7 assists, 7 rebounds. Excuse me.
He's a really good rebounder.
He is a great
He is.
rebounder.
What's the steal? What's the stocks going on over there?
2.5. Yeah,
I'll take that.
2.5.
Yeah, he's locking you guys.
I'm getting some feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
There we go.
Respect me.
27 and a half.
So Joel's lock is Tatum over 29.5. Rivs is Bam 3.5 assists
And
over
I'm gonna
Jimmy
go.
Butler
2.5.
stocks. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Adebayo 31 and a half.
You're not
Points,
going to hear
rebounds,
nothing in your
assists.
headphones for a little.
3.5.
Yeah. 31 and a half.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
You're
PRA.
taking a-
PRA.
Oh, you're taking
PRA,
over?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been doing his thing, man.
I mean, Bam.
bro,
Bam can impact with 14
he's
points.
just
though.
been living around that elbow, just
Free
the
throw
box,
range, yeah.
exactly. Free throw extended, bro. He's just
He
been
loves
doing
the
his
little-
thing.
Yeah.
He loves that shit, bro.
I just think he's too athletic for Al. I think that's the issue. Bam has just been blowing by him. Like Al was able to keep up against Embiid in that Philly series because Embiid is much more physical, and he sometimes lives and dies by that jump shot, and Al's able to bang with him, and also be able to contest. But Bam is just so athletic that
Rev,
he's able
can
to
you
hit
put
that
this in
jump
here?
shot, but he's also able to just blow by him. And that's how Bam's been able to be, so aggressive and efficient while doing it.
It also
Yeah.
sucks that Al Horford's jumper is just gone.
Broken.
He's old.
But it's been
He
he's
shot
been
45%
old.
in the regular season.
Yeah.
From
Well, He's getting old. And the years are starting to catch up. Yeah.
They're adding up.
You guys make deep runs damn near every year, bro.
I
You're
know.
catching up to
Yeah,
him.
his
No,
legs are
but
failing
it's
him.
honestly
And he has to
borderline.
guard Embiid. That takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
to guard
but
Bam.
you can't go from 45% in the regular
he's
season.
40.
20% or whatever.
It's
Is
not
that-
40.
Horrible.
Exaggerating.
like
He's old as fuck.
36.
It's 36, yeah.
Bro, his age,
That's-
his body.
Say it's
No, that's old.
It's an
But-
old 36.
For his
body's
job,
not.
it's
LeBron,
just
36.
shoot threes. That's
I
all
know.
he's being asked to do.
Well, he has to go defend
He's gotta-
the best
He
big.
does. He
Bam.
does. He does.
And he has to go shoot some threes. You know, he gets tired coming up down the court. Like, you know, that's why he ain't making that shit.
Now, if you guys want to put in some daily fantasy picks, you guys can with Boom Fantasy. The link is in our description down below. And like you said, if the guy who won the giveaway for us,
Michael Colston.
Michael Colson, if he does not answer back, if you guys want to shoot your shot in our DMs and ask for that MLB The Show giveaway, first come, first serve. You guys come in and you ask for it, we're going to give it to you if Michael Colson does not answer. But
Michael, I emailed you, bro. Answer me.
let's get right into the show. First topic, and then we're going to talk about Denver because they need some praise on the show.
They do.
Lakers getting swept.
Oh, shit. I thought we were going east first. Sorry.
I mean, 4-0, they lost.
Not that lucky, man.
Now, you know,
Lakers ran all over your face.
I really-
You know, it's great to see though that it feels like the meanness is kind of being a little forced. They don't want to be mean to me. They already know that I'm already a little dejected. So I appreciate that from you guys.
No,
You know-
all I could do is laugh.
you know, I was actually really hoping that on episode 281, when you went on the
Bro said
20-minute
episode-
Lakers monologue, that
Real
they'd
receipts.
win the championship.
Me too, man.
Because it really felt like you believed, you thought they were going to win, and it just took a couple days. It just took a couple
like
of days
five,
for
six.
the energy
They gave me a week.
to be completely sucked out.
They gave me a week.
And
Oh.
now, when I predicted the series, I went on some soul searching. I was thinking about it. These playoffs have been a crapshoot. A lot of people's playoff brackets have been
Love to see it.
destroyed. And I said, how many did I get wrong? Kings, Grizzlies, Suns. I got the Warriors wrong too. I got the Knicks wrong too.
So pretty much the West.
We all got the Bucks wrong.
Yeah.
And I realized the power I possessed. The power to jinx these teams. Especially the Kings one was, I swear to God, if I pick the Warriors in 6, we have a Kings-Lakers second round matchup. The Lakers,
Thinks he's God.
the Lakers Western Conference Finals run was unprecedented. So it had me working overtime praying that they do not make it that far. I was praying they didn't make it to the finals because I couldn't take it anymore, Drew. I couldn't take another 20-minute monologue.
Okay.
I could not take.
You can't take
Really?
20 minutes.
I couldn't take
Okay.
you disrespected D'Angelo Russell, and he doesn't show up. Like he did less than show up. I don't,
I was
it
Were you
feels like he
surprised?
didn't even dress. Reeves wrong about. Rui wrong about 100%. But I asked myself, why go through the trouble of thinking about this so much when I'm just gonna pick the Lakers in this series? And it came back to bite me in the ass when I picked the Celtics, and these dudes go down 3-0 or go down 0-3 too. Because God knows if I knew what I possessed, I would have picked the Heat in the
Should've.
series. No doubt about it. The Lakers season was a success. And that's what I'm gonna say. Because I think, you started out 2-10, 0.2% chance to make the playoffs at one point. You make it all the way to the conference finals. Now that's a success in itself. But I don't know about you guys. The fact that LeBron hinted at retirement after losing was sad. It was really sad. And then it made me go on a deep dive on this Lakers roster. And I was like, okay, let's see how much better they can get from where they are right now. And Drew, I don't have good news for you.
Oh yeah.
But then again, if LeBron leaves, you'll just go to wherever he goes. So it's not a big deal. But for the Lakers' sake, Reeves is a free agent. Rui's a free agent. They're both restricted free agents.
They'll get bags though.
I think Reeves got a bag
Yeah,
these
Reeves.
playoffs. Averaging 21 in the conference finals. Reeves got a bag in the playoffs. I think Rui made himself some money too. D'Lo, as bad as he was, I don't know if the Lakers can afford to not re-sign him. They probably still sign him back just as trade bait. but I don't know where they go from here. I don't know if there's getting better, if there's a way for this roster to get significantly better. I think trading for a star is a mistake. And you can't count on LeBron and Anthony Davis to carry in the regular season. LeBron James averaged 29. He had to average damn near 30 for you guys to have a chance to win any game that you played in. Anthony Davis played the most games this season since 2020. You can't rely on him still to stay healthy. Even though he showed it this year, I still think going forward is still a concern. I don't feel very optimistic, but I will say LeBron James, I don't think this impacts anything of his legacy. I think it's happened to a lot of great players. They've gotten swept before. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Even though Michael Jordan wasn't in the 7-game series, he got swept in a 5-game series by Boston multiple times. But this feels like the Lakers are, I don't know. I don't think their future looks very optimistic. I think this was best case scenario. You ran into Memphis, who didn't have 2 starters, and they weren't the same Memphis team from the previous years. The chemistry was not there. I think Jamal Murray was kind of dejected. The Warriors, their team chemistry was not there this year either. Jordan Poole was horrible. This was not the same Warriors team as last season. I think everything had to go right, at least at the tail end of the season, for the Lakers to make it this far. And I don't see the same things going on next season. And I think there's some serious question marks going into the offseason.
So what was sad about LeBron saying that he wanted to retire?
What was sad about it?
Yeah.
That he's an all-time great.
And you said, I don't know about y'all, but it was sad. You kind of like laughed.
I think, well, what was sad about it, because I feel like in the moment when you just first lose, and it's funny because Michael Malone goes on these rants after every game.
For sure.
That all you guys are talking about are the Lakers. The Nuggets just won a conference finals.
First finals.
And the narrative has shifted on LeBron again because of him hinting at retirement. And now the spotlight is on him once again. I think LeBron James did a couple of things by announcing that at that time. I think, one, it could be a jab at the front office telling Rob Pelinka that, listen, if you don't make the necessary moves, I'm not coming back.
That just should not be the case, because Rob Pelinka is one of the main reasons we made it to the WCF in the first place.
If the necessary moves are not made, I don't think LeBron comes back in. Also, you have to understand he has a foot injury, so the rehab process is going to be extensive. He's considering off-season surgery, which would, at his age, it's a lot to take on.
For sure.
I think it's sad because after a game like that, for that to be the first thing you say, I don't like it. Exit interviews, fine, you can say it. But the Nuggets moment, when they just won, I know he congratulated Jokic and all that, but it kind of just felt like this team out of nowhere that just was a 7th seed and made the conference finals, nobody saw it coming. You were so locked in together as a group. For you to just be like, yeah, I might not be here next year, though, I thought was a slap in the face of the players that were there.
I'll talk about that, and then I'll talk about the Lakers. He's 38 years old. He had strong considerations to shut it down for this season from multiple doctors. He had to play. He played 47 minutes and 56 seconds of last night's game. It still was not enough to win a game. LeBron was clearly not the same LeBron that we've seen in previous playoffs. He seemed a step slower. It seemed as if he didn't have that same drive that he could go, but hey, still played 47 minutes, 56 seconds. I think that it's less to do with the team and more so to think about he's 38 years old. He's tired of the same process that he goes through every single year. Sometimes you just have enough. And I can, as someone who thinks that, one, I don't think he'll retire. I hope he doesn't retire. I don't want to see him not play the game anymore. This is my favorite basketball player ever, one of my favorite athletes ever. I can understand where he's coming from. I feel like he does have a lot to still give this game. He just had 40 in a game that he lost, unfortunately, but still, we still saw the greatness. He still has that in his arsenal that he can at any moment use at his disclosure, and makes you think, man, I wish we would have seen this LeBron a little bit earlier in the series, but understandable, you're trying to reserve your body, although this is the playoffs. This is your time to go balls to the wall. But if you want to say sad where it sucks, hey, we're losing an all-time great. We're not going to see arguably the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest basketball player of all time play the game anymore. That's a different conversation. I wouldn't call it selfish. I mean, for 20 seasons, LeBron's dedicated himself to this game. It is what it is. But to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers and this season, you mentioned the successful season. To me, again, it's not a successful season unless you win an NBA championship. And we can say that we exceeded everyone's expectations because that's absolutely what we did. But ultimately, when you have a healthy LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and people could question LeBron James whether he was injured or not, he was on the court. He was able to play 47 minutes and 56 seconds. He was healthy enough to go. When you have those two on the court, the expectation is that you should be able to compete for an NBA championship. We went to the Western Conference Finals. Every single game that we played, we had an opportunity to win. And to come out with 0 is very bittersweet, and it's very tough to sit with. But you look at the Denver Nuggets, and they played an excellent series. They matched every defensive scheme that we threw at them. They had an answer for it. Nikola Jokic was absolutely unbelievable. Jamal Murray was sensational. KCP shot over 44% from 3. Aaron Gordon had his moments. MPJ has just been the MPJ that we've seen all season long. None of it surprised me other than maybe KCP being this lights-out shooter. But to talk about the Lakers, it's tough. It's very tough to sit with because we had opportunities to come away with at least one. And to lose in the fashion that we did is going to be tough to sit with. But there's things I could be happy about with still being disappointed that we didn't win a championship. You mentioned it, Austin Reeves. The guy was unbelievable, generational type performance in the WCF, 73% true shooting. Amazing output from Austin Reeves. I'm saying generational jokingly. I said because I texted Riv that about him. But you want a little bit more from Anthony Davis on the offensive side of the ball. His defense was there. Jokic was stronger, smarter than him. Nothing you could do about it. I was wrong about that. Anthony Davis, as great as he's been all season long, he's not on Jokic's level. And you tweeted it saying that anyone that thought that was simply just not in tune. You're right. I'm with you. I was wrong. Nikola Jokic is significantly better than Anthony Davis, and it was shown. He's stronger than him. He was able to back him into the paint, get whatever he wanted down there. In terms of jump shooting, that's the thing that pissed me off the most, maybe, because there were just some shots that probably should not have gone in, but it wasn't even touching rim. That's just the type of mode that the Nuggets were in. But I can't be bitter. They played great basketball. They played great team basketball. The continuity aspect of things, that's why the Nuggets have been able to have so much success, is because this is a core that's been together, and when they're healthy, they have success. But you mentioned about the Lakers and where they can go from here. I think that from the trade deadline on, we were one of the best teams in the association. And now we have an offseason where, yeah, you mentioned it, we're going to lose some, we potentially could lose some guys, but Austin Reeves will get his money. I think the Lakers make it a priority to bring him back. Of course, the whole hope is that LeBron James is back with this team, which I think he will be. And that Rui Hachimura, I feel like if there's anyone that could be expendable, and I would not be overly upset if he was gone, as much as I appreciate everything he did for us. Rui is one of those players that if he wants more money than what we're willing to give him, I can live with letting him walk. We need size. We need depth. We can't have Anthony Davis continuously play our center, although I would like that. It's just not his game. He's not the type that's going to bruise down low, consistently get back down to the basket, get his way into the paint. He needs someone else to alleviate that pressure. He wants to play the 4. It looks like it. But some positives, but mostly disappointment. Hopefully the Lakers are back next season. Hopefully LeBron James is back next season. And maybe we can make another run.
Austin Reeves, the initial contract was 4 years, $55 million.
That'd be a
I
steal.
think it's 80 to 100 mil
yeah.
right now.
He's going to be around the 20 million.
Yeah, you don't put up
And the
20
worry
WCF.
I have with him is you have Utah who has cap space. You have Houston has came out and said, we're interested in Reeves.
Interesting, everyone.
They have cap space.
Chris Paul, Harden.
Teams that have a ton of cap space are interested in Reeves.
They could match facts.
And if the Lakers do match, that's a lot of the cap space going to Reeves.
It is. But you have to. I mean, I don't think you have much of another choice. What Reeves has shown is that he's able to, in the playoffs, step up to the moment and be great offensively. I mean, he was making shots. His ability to draw contact, I know they say it a ton on the broadcast, but his ability to get into the lane, draw contact, get to the line, make threes, make mid-range, he really is a 3-level scorer. Like, he's able to get to the rim. He has the pull-up midi. He has the 3-point shot. To talk about LeBron first, there's a ton to unpack from this series. LeBron, obviously, best player ever, top two, however you want to phrase it. I mean, he has the ability and the right to, after any season, to say, I have to think about my future. He's able to say it without me questioning it, right? I'm not going to come up here and say he's trying to spin a narrative that, oh, he just got swept. He doesn't want that to be the headline. He doesn't want to take away from the Nuggets. I think LeBron has too much respect for the game, for himself, for his competition to, have this plan in his head saying, I'm going to go up after the game if we lose and say, I got to, think things over. I think what he's seen, and Drew mentioned it, is he had to be at damn near his absolute best to have a chance in this series. And they were in all of those games. It's almost reminiscent of the Celtics and Nets from last year, where they were both, it was a sweep, but it was a close series, and the team that had more continuity outlasted the other team and was better in those clutch moments. And I think that's what happened with Denver. But Anthony Davis is the one person I think you have to point at if you're a Laker fan and say we need more from you, right? AD this entire playoffs, we joked about it, but it came true again. It's every other night. He's either engaged offensively or he's not. And when AD isn't engaged offensively, now you're putting more pressure on LeBron, more pressure on Austin Reeves, more pressure on D'Lo, more pressure on Rui to be able to step up offensively. And you saw moments where Reeves was able to do it. LeBron in spurts, D'Lo not so much. Rui was exceptional again this year, especially offensively. Being super efficient. But it's Anthony Davis. I mean, that's the guy who's supposed to take the reins from this team and be the number one. And even defensively this series, I mean, the Nuggets had 120 offensive rating with Anthony Davis. They were able to get really whatever they want, whether it was Jokic, playing him one-on-one, or, and credit to Darvin Ham, he threw the kitchen sink at Nikola Jokic. He did not leave any stone unturned. They were throwing, whether it was Rui, whether it was LeBron, whether it was AD one-on-one. They tried everything to slow down this Denver offense, and they couldn't. And I think that just goes to credit when you have a team and you believe in a team, especially when you have that star player like Jokic, you block out the outside noise, all the people through the injuries, through all the talk saying, is Jokic really deserving of these MVPs? Can he be the best player in a championship team? Do you keep Mike Malone? All of the outside noise, if you really think you have that team, this is why you block it out and you stay the course, because when everyone gets healthy and when you have Jokic playing at this level, you're able to get to that championship. And whether they're going to be playing the Celtics or the Heat, most likely the Heat, they're going to be favored. And I think they have the better team out of all the teams remaining. They have the continuity, and they have shown time and time again this last series that in the clutch, if it's a 2-point game or 4-point game, they are not going to fold. They're going to be able to execute offensively. They're going to be able to get rebounds, not allow second chance points on the glass. And overall, they just look the best team in the league right now. So credit to the Nuggets. But the Lakers, like you mentioned, a successful season. They have a lot of question marks going into this offseason. But the biggest one is going to be, is LeBron back, and is Anthony Davis going to be able to step up and be that true number one night in, night out?
Is it fair to look at Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
He wasn't great defensively this series. He had the blocks, but defensively,
he was
Nuggets
the best.
were able
It's
to
Nikola
get.
Jokic. At that point, listen, I feel where you're coming from. Offensively, you'd want a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's fine. But defensively, it wasn't like he was bad. He wasn't
AD
bad.
was
He
the best
wasn't,
player in
but
the Memphis series.
He was
the best player in the
Warriors,
Warriors
for sure.
series.
against teams with relatively no real bigs.
Okay, but game one of this series, he dropped 40. I thought he was doing his thing this series.
He dropped 40, but Jokic still outplayed him that game.
It's Jokic.
But-
I
No, he
understand.
And
I 100%
that was
understand.
honestly the only reason why Jokic outplayed him was because of the playmaking.
And we're also
He
at
outplayed
the
him 'cause of the
WCF. Like, we're
all-around
not in the
aspect.
regular season. We're at the WCF. This is where, like, of course, AD drops 40. He's great defensively, but to get to a championship and to win a finals, you need someone to be playing at damn near best player in the world level.
I did not view AD and say he cannot be a number one guy. I viewed him and said he looks like one of the best players in the league right now. He's top 10 when healthy.
Defensively.
When he's injured and when he's not healthy, that's a different conversation. That's a question mark. But these playoffs show me that. I mean, whenever AD's healthy, I trust AD.
I don't disagree. I think that the only thing you could ask for is a little bit more offense, guy.
Yeah, I think like the AD conversation defensively, I think he was pretty great from start to finish. But I think when you're talking offensively, even against the Warriors, he was great for game one. He was pretty good for throughout the series. But like you saw Draymond Green, so it was understandable. Against Memphis, you saw Jaren Jackson. It's understandable. There was no defense in the Denver series where you're looking at AD and you're like, you should dominate tonight. Like the Joker was not only dominating offensively, he was doing his usual playmaking. He was great on the glass.
He really
too.
was really
So
great.
like you need that. You kind of need like when LeBron 3-point shot was pretty much cooked this series. So you kind of need somebody to, if not match Joker, you kind of need somebody to kind of go back and forth with him. And outside of game 1 offensively, AD was he was all right throughout the most series, but you want more from him. I mean, defensively, he's doing what he's supposed to do, but you want more, bro.
Game 4, you want more from AD. Game 2 down the stretch, that was LeBron. That was LeBron forcing up threes that lost him.
AD was not good either game 2.
No,
he was 4 for 15.
He was passive, and so that's the problem with AD. Like you said, he's not always engaged offensively, and that's the big thing with him. He's not. Sometimes if he's not engaged offensively, sometimes I translate to the defensive end, and he does not play well.
More often than not, it does.
So but that also has to do with Denver not respecting the Lakers shooters. They were sitting in those gaps defensively on LeBron drives, and they were helping on any AD post entry passes too.
It's like we shot very great in the first half of last night's game. Second half, I think we made 2 threes. We're just too spotty, too inconsistent. That it was understood why the Nuggets decided to keep that defense.
I'm just not going to be like, Anthony Davis disappointed me because Jokic outplayed him.
No, I think it's just off. It's just you have to look at AD and you want more. You just want more effort, like especially game 4. Put out on the line. He just wasn't there. He wasn't engaged. LeBron put it out on the line. Reeves came to play. You want your star player to come to play, like regardless of the situation. But I don't think he was bad. I just think offensively you want a little more, and that just comes with being a superstar. If you're a top 10 player, you just want more. We look at Jason Tatum, and when he has his stinkers, we look at his rebounds and assists, and they're great, but we still want more. We want that scoring bunch from him, So it's the same thing with AD. We love the defense, but you're one of the best two-way players in the league. We want that offense too. In terms of this Lakers team, I was also wrong about Reeves. Reeves is he plays really well off AD and LeBron, and I think that's the most important part. He's probably one of the best role players. His ability to shoot, his ability to run the pick and roll with him and LeBron is really great. With him and AD, his ability to read off defenders, look at the second and third defender and get that pass off. So he's shown great strides in his game. He was great for them throughout the playoffs. Rui was good in his spark. Like you said, I'm with you there. If he has to walk, you don't really want to throw that money because you don't know if he's going to be able to play like this for a regular season. Because I think with this team, like they got together towards the deadline. Yeah. So it's kind of like, but if they was together for a full season, we don't know what this team could have been a top 5 seed, top 6 seed. So we don't know what this team could have been together. They was together for basically half a season, probably even less than that, and made a run. I think this series was a shocker to most of us. I think we all picked Lakers, but regardless, we didn't see a sweep on either end. I think the Denver just offensively, they could not be stopped. There was nothing that the Lakers could do with them. And it's like different from the Warriors series, the shooters were hitting. Jamal Murray was on fire. MPJ had a couple good looks. He was great. KCP was fucking magnificent. And you want that. Bruce Brown was great as a role player. He was great. That's what happens. You want your star player to elevate, which the Joker did. But he needs everybody else to elevate with him. And I think that's what propels these teams. You got the star, and then you have everybody elevate. And that's what happens. His role players elevated. Even Mike Malone, he elevated. You saw the tension in him. He was getting his team riled up on the sideline. And I think that's just what happens with Denver. In terms of the Lakers, it was tough. They didn't have a POA defender. They couldn't do what they did with the Warriors in terms of just trap Steph, let everybody shoot because they were missing at that point. They couldn't do that with this Denver team. Jamal was on fire. He was hitting shots out the ass. You couldn't do nothing with him. And they just ran into a two-man punch that unfortunately LeBron and AD were not prepared for. And I think that's okay. Next year, like Joel mentioned, it's going to be different. Reeves is getting the bag. I think that's no question in my mind.
Deserved,
Reeves is going to get that bag. There's going to be a spotlight around him like it is with every young player that gets a bag. But after that, D'Lo, we've seen this from D'Lo. I don't think this is not expecting the playoffs. D'Lo's just never really been good.
It hurt.
But in the regular season, he can give you that production that can get you to the playoffs. But the problem is,
he was good against Memphis. He was solid against you guys. He was not good, not even anywhere near it. Unplayable.
I blame Klay Thompson.
Okay.
I blame Klay Thompson.
I get it. But hey, I'm being very sincere. D'Lo was not bad in the Memphis series. He was not bad in the Warriors series. He was unplayable.
Defensively, he's bad all three.
Jamal was frying him. And then even if you put him on KCP was still getting his.
Well, defensively, he was bad for all three, but in the first two, offensively, he wasn't that bad.
No, you're right. That's exactly correct.
So it was like, all right, we can keep him out there for a little bit.
Last year, if D'Lo plays good, Minnesota beats Memphis in the first round.
Maybe Karl Anthony Towns, too.
Cat was all right. He didn't drop off like D'Lo drops off. D'Lo went from 17 a game to he averaged 6 in this series.
That shit was nasty.
Yeah, I mean,
he was unplayable. Truthfully,
he was unplayable. The problem is they have two unplayable. Respect the Van though. He's unplayable. In a series like this, he's unplayable,
yeah,
and I think that's
the
a problem. D'Lo's unplayable. That's a problem. They don't have any backup bigs for AD. You know, they don't have much shooters. Schroeder is good.
And that's what I think we
He
overlook.
gave a good 6 to 8 minutes yesterday.
Dog, I don't think the Denver Nuggets acknowledged him on the
and
court.
that's what I think was overlooked in this series is that Jokic is definitely better from now to 2020 for sure. He's better now.
My God.
But
leaps and bounds.
In 2020, they also had Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee. They had
big
serviceable centers to throw at
bigs
Jokic.
Bang.
That AD can sit back on him.
She was kind of diffy.
I'll be honest with you, I did not pay attention to a single thing of game.
Nah, he actually really, he gave really solid
Tristan
minutes.
Thompson gave great minutes.
He gave.
That's how down bad they were.
But you look at the basic
stats. I was on
stats.
ESPN basically all season long, comes into the playoffs and gave good minutes against Jokic.
Look at the basic stats. LeBron averaged 28, 10, and 10, basically. AD averaged 27, 14, and 3 blocks.
That's carried by the forward.
Reeves averaged 21 and 5.
LeBron jumper was
Gruey averaged 15.
He did his thing yesterday.
And Schroeder also didn't play well. He averaged 7. D'Lo averaged 6. Lonnie Walker had his moment in one game in the second round, and then he averaged 4 points.
I hate him so
But
much.
you got production from four the main players. And on average, you guys scored 112 points. Denver scored 118. So D'Lo shows up for those games. Could be different, but he was dog shit for everyone.
Yeah, wasn't good.
It was disappointing. Schroeder was also kind of not just a consistent offensive
offensively,
player
you guys don't have enough, and you rely a lot. Like what you did through 3 series is you relied a lot on your defense, which is nothing. It's not bad, but you relied a lot on your defense. And Memphis, they don't have enough shot creators. Golden State, they just wasn't hitting open shots.
Sure.
So you were able to maneuver through those 2 series because offensively you didn't need to be great because the other 2 teams were great. But now you went up against Denver. And offensively, they were fucking great, and they came out firing at home. So it was like it was really tough. Even when you guys punched on them, had a lead, they
always
came
answer.
back, had an answer every single time.
Yep.
And it was sometimes where like LeBron come down, pull 2 bad threes, bad in transition,
or that game
Dennis Schroeder come down, turnover. It was like you guys had a lot of lapses in your offense, and then Denver continue. Yep, keep going. The train never stopped. And it's tough, man. And, listen, like Joel said, you had a great season. Not great season. You had a great second half. You didn't have a great first half. You made trades. Yeah.
You couldn't even give him that.
First half for shit.
First half, yes. I was one of them people because it was funny. You were 13th seed. You kept saying, we're only 2 games behind. It never mattered until you made the trade. Important. Post deadline. You guys are fucking amazing. You guys made it this far. Congratulations. Nobody should be.
No,
you should keep your head up. You had a great season. Second half.
But I'm glad you tweeted that about the hey, we weren't even supposed to be here.
Because Lakers fans are running up here, and this is why it was fucking hilarious. That tweet banged, by the way.
It was a good one.
They talking about we weren't supposed to be here. We were the 3rd seed, bro. We were clowning the Westbrook team. I don't think much of us started to realize the second team. Like, this is actually not a good team. This is a good team.
I think the clowning was from the arrogance of
that too.
How this
Lakers fans are really bad.
People just felt like this team was going to win the championship. It was like locked in and sealed. Now it's nobody can beat them. So I think that's where it stems from. The arrogance.
And then there were Lakers fans who saying if we get Denver in the first round, we can beat them. I remember those talks.
Thank God y'all ain't get Denver.
Y'all would have got smoked that round.
And then we would have been talking crazy. It would have been way different if you swept in the first round.
And imagine if Jaden McDaniels and Gobert are healthy for that playing game.
Oh God,
that happens.
That
happens.
Listen, I'm not going to go that far back.
My team went to the WCF.
Minnesota won a game against that team that swept.
You know how I am with the not getting swept shit. You got to get one.
No, I needed one. Yeah. I can't believe that we.
And Anthony Edwards is the best player Denver's faced these playoffs.
You are now of the Brooklyn Nets category.
It was not him.
Yeah, no, it hurts.
Yeah,
but
that's not a good category.
No, and it's crazy too because Joel said it perfectly. We lost similarly to how they lost. Every single game was close. That game 3 score was not pretty, but that game in that fourth quarter was right there until it wasn't. Game 2 was our game. That was the game that I look back on and think that I want back more than any other one. We were up double digits. LeBron James, that's just his bread and butter to control that type of game. For him to put up bad shot after bad shot was shocking more than anything.
Yeah.
And then game 1, we gave a great run.
I just don't like the disrespect that's being like, oh, they were a 1 seed. They were supposed to do this. Like,
no, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
The playoffs, the seeds out the window.
Fans are saying we're going to win.
No,
I'm not saying
we did not have that energy against the reigning champion Warriors. We didn't have that energy towards the number 2 seeded Memphis
coming in
Grizzlies.
here.
No,
right.
Hell no.
I
felt more than
there was people that said, "Give me Denver."
No fact. No Lakers fans because they kept thinking of the bubble and they're like, "Yo, give us Denver."
Just
we
put Jokic
want
in
them.
pick and roll 70 times. Right?
Yeah, we're just gonna pick and roll Jokic to death and just see what happens. It's the same thing with the midi gods did in
To
Phoenix.
be honest with you,
Didn't
we
work.
should have ran more pick and rolls.
You don't have outside of Reeves. You don't really have a pick and roll threat.
LeBron.
LeBron's usually the roller with Reeves.
No.
I'm saying with Reeves.
I'm saying I did not see a lot of pick and roll between AD and LeBron.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted more of that.
Yeah.
Because then you get AD incorporated into the offense, at least because you mentioned him. When he's not engaged offensively, sometimes it transfers over to defense.
Aaron Gordon was
agree with
really
that.
great, though.
He
defensively.
was, man. And
He's a
that
big-
was
he's a
annoying.
big
Yeah.
That
They
was
were
annoying.
muddying those pick and rolls up because Jokic was in a deep drop
He
versus
was.
them.
He was. They played a great
And they were
great
just
game.
going in the
Great
gaps
series, I should say.
defensively.
He was guarding
there was
Rui.
really nowhere to
Rui
go.
was cooking him, but it was justified.
Yeah.
Rui was giving Joker the
Rui
business.
looked good, bro.
Yeah.
Like his drives to the basket, his ability to finish at the basket,
He's
bro,
quicker
he was
than
impressive.
Joker, so
Yeah. You get the shot over.
No, but I also mean like the acrobatness at the rim.
Gonzaga.
I
Rui.
think Austin Reeves and Rui both deserve 30 mil each.
This
Give
guy.
it to
That's
ya.
crazy.
Now Reeves
30
gonna
mil.
get 20 easy, probably.
Unload the cap space on those two.
Reeves will get
Deserve
about
it.
15, 20.
Apparently, if we want Kyrie, we can't bring back Rui. I'm not saying that I'm advocating strictly for Kyrie Irving, but
How would you
definitely
go get Kyrie?
you need more players, more
But
talent.
you need available players.
but we need but he's been available.
Nah.
You just
He's
need him available for the
he's
playoffs.
so he's a
Wasn't
player.
available because they didn't make it.
No,
Yeah,
but he's so I don't know. He's so I cannot come to work for 2 weeks and I won't give you a reason why, or it won't be basketball related. So it's like,
and then you're probably gonna get rid of most of your depth to do that.
and your depth was a problem in
No,
the series.
not really. It's just Rui.
No, you would lose Beasley.
Really, what is he?
He's already
But
going to be gone.
Lonnie's probably gone.
That
Dennis was
that
gone.
stinks.
You have no. backup
Is
picks.
Dennis guaranteed gone?
He's probably gonna want a little bit more money. I don't think he'll.
Unless
fumble
Kyrie
again.
takes a pay cut, I don't think he's going to
Kyrie's
the
not
Lakers.
taking a pay cut.
Doubt it.
And especially with this new CBA, yeah, you guys are not going to be able to sign a mid-level exception free agent either.
Wait, I
Depth
thought it
is
was
gonna be shot.
if it's they're over the luxury tax. Yeah, they can, right?
If they sign
Yeah.
Kyrie and have LeBron and AD under
It
contract,
would have to be a signing trade.
oh,
AD and LeBron are getting 40 million each.
yeah.
I'm
and
pretty sure
Kyrie's gonna be
Kyrie's gonna
getting
get
40
that.
too. Yeah.
Would that be like
That's
130?
120 mil.
160.
Then if
Everybody
Reeves
else-
gets 20 million, that's 140 mil between
And Van only gets
those
4.
players. Oh yeah, Vandal's a steal for what his contract is.
That'd be their
right now.
six man.
Nuts.
Or Dennis,
Vandal's the
I'm
issue.
praying. No,
Vandal
I want
needs
it
to
to be
lock
Dennis.
into the lab
Yeah.
for 3
Find-
months and
find a
work on a
jumper.
corner 3-point
Yeah.
shot. Just work on that.
We're finishing at the rim.
I don't even want him going into the basket.
Bro, it was crazy.
Sit in the corner and make those.
Just
make
them
34% of
threes.
those.
See how PJ Tucker life is?
Yeah.
He's renewed. Just go do what he does. Work on them corner threes. It'll be good.
Now the Denver Nuggets advanced to the NBA Finals, and they advanced to their first ever finals in the NBA era
Good
because
for them,
they,
man.
tough.
they were there before then in the ABA. 46 years without reaching the finals is the third most across the NBA, NHL, and MLB, behind the Texas Rangers and Washington Nationals.
Mm.
And how fitting that they sweep the Lakers the day that Carmelo Anthony announced his retirement. I thought it was a great story. And some people have been debating whether or not whose jersey should get retired in the rafters. I think the easy answer is Jokic. I don't think Melo deserves to have his jersey retired by the Nuggets. Respectfully, he doesn't. But wow,
I mean, like his jersey retired in general?
no, for Denver.
I'm saying in general?
Maybe it's
I mean,
not for
who
Denver.
else
For
they
the,
got?
for the
But
Knicks.
why not?
Oh, they do
number
have the
15.
same 15. Yeah.
Why not though?
Because they got the same number. Oh, fuck.
Jokic is 15. He
Damn.
deserves
Wait, why
over Melo,
not
with all due
retire
respect.
Melo's jersey in Denver?
Yeah.
They can't
Because
the
it
Joker
ended
has
sour.
15.
No, but you can bow. Jackie Robinson's number was retired in all of baseball.
I don't know if the NBA does that.
I only say that with Mariano
Well,
Rivera was still.
Melo's not at that.
No,
level to get that.
No, I'm
But
not.
did
saying-
Rivera-
I
didn't
want
that
you
be a
guys to
number
understand.
before?
Correct.
Yeah.
So Jokic is already wearing 15. It's
No,
not
but
like they
I'm-
would say, "Hey, take
I'm
off the
saying
jersey."
NBA. I don't think NBA does that.
What do you mean by that?
I don't think they will retire 2 guys from the same number.
On the same team? Yes, they would.
Does that ever?
I mean, it genuinely could happen here with Carmelo.
When
Anthony
you
and
have
Nikola
2
Jokic.
players
Melo will
in
have
your
to-
franchise that have made history in it, I agree. Carmelo Anthony was a great player,
For sure.
and he brought relevancy to the Nuggets post
Absolutely.
2003. Took him to a WCF in 2009, but the way he asked out of Denver and how that ended was sour. And I don't think he did enough in Denver to warrant a jersey retirement.
Hey, Jokic's done more.
Clearly.
Oh, for sure.
So much.
Joker
You know
is
what I mean?
going
Like,
to go. He's going to go down as the greatest Denver ever by far.
Yeah.
He probably
Carmelo
already
Anthony.
is.
Carmelo
Hey,
Anthony.
respect David Thompson.
Carmelo Anthony didn't win any major
Trolling.
award in Denver. He made All-Star teams. He made All NBA teams. But when he
Scoring
won the
title?
scoring title, it was with New York.
New York.
It was not with Denver. He didn't win a scoring title with Denver.
He averaged more than he did the year that he won scoring title. Scoring
Yeah.
champion. But
That's the way it broke.
yep, correct.
And Carmelo's an all-time great, so I don't want to
No, I got
diminish him. But Jokic is just the one who should get his jersey retired for sure.
Don't disagree.
In these playoffs, passing Wilt Chamberlain, most triple doubles in a single postseason with
Legendary
8.
shit.
The guy was OD.
And it was actually the first time they swept the team in the playoffs. The first time sweeping the team in the playoffs, they make the NBA Finals. Jokic won the Western Conference Finals MVP trophy. Well deserved. Could have been him or Jamal Murray, really, but Jokic is the guy there. And I'm happy for Denver. I really am. I like storylines. And I think if any of us before the playoffs made a list of players who have the most to gain from winning the championship, number one would have been Nikola Jokic. He'd have been at the top of everybody's list.
But then,
Yeah,
With
that
it.
was 1 and 2.
I think Jokic is even
And B
above
with the
him.
way that he was complaining would have been.
I'm with
one.
you, though.
Yeah,
I'm with
facts.
you. We're with
Two-time MVP. And what's sad about how a lot of people have talked about Jokic throughout this entire year, I think that narratives were the reason why he didn't win his third straight MVP in a row.
Yep.
And it's sad because the narratives about him not being a playoff riser, about him not getting it done in the postseason, were always stupid. Because whenever this team has been healthy, they've made it further and further in the playoffs. In 2019, second round, 2020, WCF, and now 2023, the NBA Finals. When he's had a healthy team, when it's been him and Jamal Murray, that core, they've gone further and further. And look at Jokic's stats. In the playoffs, he always rises. Even last year when they got one against the Warriors, he's averaging 30 in that series. His assists would have been more if it wasn't for players missing shots. So I thought those narratives were always unfair. And I'm glad that he has a chance to win an NBA championship. Now, Miami is on some type of satanic run right now that I don't know if this is just a lock in for them to win it.
I wouldn't call it a lock by any
Because
means.
I can't count out Miami with how they're playing. But this sure feels like a great shot to win it. And it's crazy how people are just now realizing how great Jokic is. It's one thing to not acknowledge him as the best player in the world. I understand that because you have to see him actually win a championship for that. But for people to act like he wasn't top 5, he wasn't top 10,
Yeah, that's crazy.
you couldn't
He's
make
always
it
the
far in the
best to me,
playoffs
man.
with him.
Cut the cap.
It was always Steph for you.
And the fact that most people were going to invalidate his MVPs had he not made it this far was ridiculous. So I'm glad he made it this far because now everybody got to see, oh yeah,
He's the best.
Jokic is this type of playoff performer. He's this type of guy. And I was actually doing research. Denver only had 16 national TV games this season.
Oh,
They only had 16.
damn.
Not that I agree with everything you're saying. Did you feel like this with Giannis?
In 2020.
Just in general, did you feel like, hey, this was deserved? Now he's on Milwaukee. It's
Well,
good to see
It
him
was his
after
Nets,
the two.
You know, he had some ill will.
I'm just wondering.
Wait, what's your specific
The
statement,
question
though?
is with, just the way that he was able to cancel out a ton of narratives. And yes, absolutely, he did that. Oh, we'll see if he finishes the job. But it's seeming as if, depending on who he plays, it's seeming the Nuggets will be the favorites. Did you feel that same way with Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks?
When he won a championship,
Correct.
that it's good that the thing is not held over him no more.
Correct.
Yeah, I felt that way with Giannis.
Okay.
I definitely disagreed with the narrative towards Giannis, and I even have old
Did
tweets
you?
of me
Did you
comparing.
disagree?
I did. I had old tweets of his regular season versus his playoffs and how his numbers don't drop off dramatically,
Uh-huh.
even though people called him a playoff choker. Because in those series, when you go look back, they love to pin it on him, but it's not all on him. I definitely doubted that he could win a championship because I think offensively the skill set is still limited. It is, and Milwaukee was the first team to win a championship with having a mediocre offensive rating in a very, very long time.
Yep.
And even in this postseason, when Giannis played, the offensive limitations are still showing. Now, in that run, did they catch a little bit of a break? Yes. But I can't hold that over Giannis. But ultimately, I feel happy for Giannis
Yeah.
because had he not won that championship, this recent debacle, losing to an 8 seed, is magnified 10 times more.
Oh, absolutely.
So the fact that he does have that championship, it doesn't matter what he does. He has a championship. And that's why I want Jokic to win it too, because moving forward, it doesn't matter how many times Jokic may come short. Even if he does come short, he might keep winning. You can't invalidate him anymore, which is what people are trying to do with him this entire year. And respect to Embiid, I think Jokic and him played at the two best levels this season. And shout out to Jokic giving respect to Embiid by saying that he deserved his MVP. You know, I like that Jokic is showing great sportsmanship in that aspect. But Jokic, a lot of the narratives against him this year were very unfair. Sure. And I'm glad that he's proved everybody wrong.
Talk about the Nuggets, bro.
He was going on the monologue. I'm chilling. I don't got nothing to say about the Nuggets.
What, you disrespected him all this time, said Curry was better?
That's disrespect. Right. Nothing disrespect is saying Tatum is better.
Who said that?
I'm glad you didn't point at me. Because I've probably been the most disrespectful to Jokic here at this table.
I think,
and by that being the most disrespectful, still acknowledging that he's still a top 3 player at worst in the National Basketball Association.
He's the best player in the league, man. I don't think we at this table have respected Denver. I think we at this table have given praise to Denver. I think we've all pretty much acknowledged that they're one of the best teams.
It's the national media that gets people mostly upset at the fact that ESPN does not give attention to.
I'm just happy you could dead this AD Joker bullshit.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm so glad that's dead in the water.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I'm not, but that I knew it was gonna die. So it's just I was just waiting.
I didn't know it was gonna die. Like this.
I knew it was gonna die. I was just.
Did you think that AD was gonna get fried like that? Like how we saw.
Well, I thought Joker was always going to impact the game better than him.
No, I agree with, and I said that too. I said it's not about stopping him; it's about making him uncomfortable. We never did. Maybe once, quarters.
If Jokic finishes this playoff run with a championship, it's easily better than Giannis's in 2021, right?
Yeah,
comfortably.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of the injuries. You know, and I think the Joker played better than what Giannis was playing.
Beat KD, beat Devin Booker when Devin Booker was going absolutely bananas.
Beat Anthony.
Beat a respectable Minnesota Timberwolves team. Just give me that. All right,
definitely respectable.
Respectable.
They played hard.
I agree.
And then
those games were close.
Beat LeBron James and Anthony Davis en route to potentially
destroyed.
I know they did not destroy us.
4 games, buddy.
We lost. We got
Jokic destroyed them.
That's what I'm saying. The Joker destroyed.
He did. No, he
destroyed AD.
Correct.
But team for team.
I'll be honest. He did exactly. Remember what Akeem did to Ewing? This is how I feel right now. It's very reminiscent of that. Like, best centers in the league coming up. And comparing him to Akeem, like, no, fuck
really
that.
Good. And then he has the potential to be a Jimmy Butler who's having the best playoffs, or maybe second if you want to say Nicola's having the best. That's up to you.
Yeah,
he's been amazing, man.
I'm happy at least this fucking whole, like, we talk about the national media and whatnot. The whole, like, idea around a pity MVP for Joel Embiid was just one of the nastiest things I've ever seen in the sport. Like, you're giving the MVP. I mean, partially was, on Jokic saying, like, he doesn't really care about MVPs. Maybe that made the writers, the voters feel a type of way about it.
It was Perk fault.
Perk has a lot to do with it, too, but the fact that it was a thing, that it was a pity MVP.
The day he went on that rant,
bro, you see the way Embiid is in round 2 against the Celtics and how Jokic just was in the conference finals against the Lakers. The gap is huge between those two.
Side question: how far does Embiid move down y'all chain? Because I know y'all, I think a few of y'all had him like as a top 5 player in the world. How far does he move down y'all chain?
Well, he's locked top 10.
He's closer to 10 than 5, probably.
So like it's comfortable. Luka is better than him.
I had him at like
I take Luka.
I had him at like 7-8. So like
he's.
It was always Embiid Tatum. That Embiid Tatum was always that. That
exactly.
7-8.
Like I think Jimmy Butler is over Embiid now.
I'm gonna wait on it, but I got some nasty things.
Anthony Davis or Joel Embiid.
I got some that. Oh, AD. I've always liked AD. Okay. If he's healthy, I always said AD.
All right. I'm glad you see the light there.
The Jimmy shit, I got some nasty things
Tatum
to say.
It's not nasty.
Tatum is tough because he has his moments in the playoffs where
hasn't risen up.
Go right.
Tatum's more reliable than Embiid.
But I don't look at Tatum against the Heat and say he's the main reason why they're
all at fault.
He's been getting fried defensively. Maybe you could say that, but
he's because he's not. It's not like one-on-one. like Strus or any of them are
Nah.
killing. But his off ball defense, he hasn't been able to keep up.
Gabe Vincent
He
putting
almost dropped him.
the Celtics to bed on Tatum.
He almost put Tatum in the body.
No, he did. No,
he did,
not
but
almost,
no,
he did.
like he almost fell.
He didn't. He almost did, but he didn't.
Bro, I seen him splash that. I said, "What?"
Yeah, nah,
On Tatum?
That shit was nasty, bro.
Why do you guys think I hate Gabe Vincent, bro? I remember the day he cooked my Bulls. Randomly just jumped into the game.
I mean,
35.
I feel like if I'm the Celtics, I look at Caleb Martin and I'm just like, there's no one I hate more than you. Because you can't hate Jimmy Butler because you're expecting this. You should have, as Celtics fans, you went in thinking, hey, this is going to happen.
I think they hate Jimmy Butler the most because he just ruined shit for them. Like,
but honestly, it's not even Jimmy Butler doing most of the damage. Like, outside of game 1, he had 25 game 2, 14 game 3 was blowout. He didn't play a ton, but it's really these role players. I mean, they're stroking the shit out of that ball, bro.
They are. No, we're kind of in similar boats where 5 players in the Nuggets series shot over 40% from 3.
Jimmy had 35 game 1.
Yeah, so
he had 27 game 2.
Yeah,
and
that 27 in game 2 was an
like
impressive ass fourth quarter.
I was say because at halftime he had like 12 points or something.
He was Grant bum ass.
Game 3 he didn't have many points because they were smoking out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but it's not like it was round 1 Jimmy where he's doing 35, 40, 50, 30. Facts, but it's these role players fucking shooting. I mean, we're gonna get into
6
steals.
The
thing about that, Dehls, is that in round 1, Jimmy was doing that to Milwaukee, but the role players were also shooting the shit out the ball too.
That's facts.
Like the same thing that's happening.
They beat y'all worse though.
It was Butler raising his game, and everybody around him still shooting at a high level.
Game 1 and 2 were close.
I'm saying they're beating y'all worse because Milwaukee won a game.
Yeah,
you're not gonna win a game.
No, they won a game without Giannis.
You're not gonna win a game.
What if we do?
Hey,
Congrats.
don't let them win one. Allegedly,
they won't. Miami will not. They're gonna beat the shit out of you.
People are dying to hear us talk about Miami, and we'll talk about Miami in a few. We'll talk about Miami in a few.
I think they want to hear you.
But what I want to touch on, because
I'm glad we're done with the Lakers. I was dreading it all day.
Jokic got all the shine. He should, deservedly so.
Yeah, facts.
Jamal Murray, man.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone raise his game from the regular season to the playoffs as much as Jamal Murray.
Some say.
That's not already.
Is Jimmy Butler not on the other side?
Well, that's not already an all-star established player.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray went from 20 points per game in the regular season to 27.7 points per game in the playoffs.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He turns from an all-star caliber level player to a legit playoff superstar and raises his game. And because Jamal was injured for the last 2 years, I have not been pushing the Jamal Murray agenda. But Riv knows damn well in that bubble, when we were talking on this show, that Jamal Murray agenda was getting rowdy.
I never not said you was,
because I love Jamal Murray. I really do.
Just very mute about it.
Michael Malone. I've been tweeting about Jamal this year.
You tweet a lot this year.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. You know?
Nah, Jamal Murray.
Joe,
I watched a lot of
name a player.
Games.
Name a
you were a D'Lo fan in the beginning of the year.
Actually, I think this would be great to do. Name a random player.
Jeremy Sohan.
All right, pull it up.
A tweet about Sohan?
You know, I'll do it because you guys are having a conversation. Might as well. I'll do it.
He's got it too.
Do you have a Jeremy Sohan?
Lock it in. He has one.
Down my mind.
For sure. Jeremy Sohan is a great Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
I praise him all the time on the show.
I'm sure.
You've heard it last episode.
That's what I said. I figured you had a tweet about him.
But Jamal Murray in February averaged 25 points per game and 7.7 assists per game.
He was getting ready for it.
The thing about Jamal, though, is this what I really want to touch on. And I think it's a heartwarming story about resilience. Michael Malone, after I think the Nuggets beat the Suns in the first round. It was one of the Lakers games. But Michael Malone in the post-game press conference said that Jamal Murray, after he tore his ACL, thought he was going to get traded, and he was damaged goods. And Tim Connolly was actively telling Michael Malone, we should trade Jamal for an established player. And Michael Malone was like, no, let's keep this core together. Let's keep it running. And he comes back, and for him to play like this is a dope story.
That's fine.
Because I think Jamal Murray, he deserves this moment.
What the fuck were they even going to trade him for?
I don't know. Probably an established player.
They said an established in the reporters, established star.
But the fact that Jamal Murray has stuck through it, is resilient, has come back, and Denver has made it to the finals, and he's a big part of it. I love Jamal Murray, man. I really do.
This guy is just so fucking funny, man.
What did he tweet about?
So March 7th, he goes, Shohan, Branham, Duren, and Mark Williams are also pretty darn good. Was a big fan of Brown's minutes with Denver earlier in the season too. But then on draft day, he says, Shohan at 9? Back-to-back years where the Spurs reach on prospects.
Was that not a reach?
At 9? I don't remember. I'll be honest. Was it a reach? Jeremy at 9? I don't remember.
You tweeting
John,
out this Spurs young cord. That tweet did numbers.
making noise.
John, actually, before we move on.
Shout out to John, man.
Yeah,
He's the only
man.
Denver
We
fan
got a
I've
Denver
ever met
fan,
in my
facts.
life. Shout out to John, man.
John, what are
He
your
picked the
thoughts?
Heat and the Nuggets in these playoffs.
Ball nowhere, unless the Celtics win 7.
Why do you keep doing this to yourself?
There's a will, there's a way.
There's never been a way for
I
Boston.
don't know if we have a will right now. To be honest,
You have no way either.
Oh, I
Fuck you.
won't lie. When we were up, I won't lie. When we were up 15, I wasn't chatting. I
Listen,
was
I'm with you. When we
chatting.
were down 3-1 and we won Game 5, I was up. It was. You see how I tweeted at him? It was
Oh,
fucking
fuck
lit.
Drew. Yeah.
Yeah, it was lit. Come on. I
So
get. I'm here.
Sohan, these are the players drafted after him. Johnny Davis,
Ill.
Usman Dieng,
Nuts.
Jalen Williams,
Okay.
Jalen Duran,
Okay.
O'Shea Agbaji, Mark Williams, AJ Griffin,
The only one's J-Dub.
Tari Eason.
Jalen Duran.
Honestly, I think out of college, I thought Tari Eason was similar prospect to Jeremy Sohan. They were
But do
both
you need
close.
Duran in hindsight?
For San Antonio?
In hindsight.
Who's the 5?
Hindsight, no,
Well,
because
they
they're gonna
traded
get Victor.
They traded.
Oh yeah,
obviously
yeah.
Jakob,
Hindsight. But even in
But
Detroit,
hindsight,
he
like-
didn't start. He didn't start much.
But they had Pirtle. So like, did you need a center?
If you were going to trade him, yes.
But I don't think they knew that. Did you?
Mhm.
Did you? Like,
I know the Spurs were eventually going to trade Pirtle. There was no
Really?
way they were keeping him. Yeah,
I guess because you didn't want to pay him, but
Yeah, because it's big.
it's okay though. It's fine. Sohan's cool.
Sohan's been throwing shots at LeBron.
He has been. That's
He
just
has.
Is he a
funny
hater,
as hell.
Laker hater?
I don't know why he's been on
Or
this
LeBron.
time.
I
I would understand San Antonio. They have that rivalry.
They
I
do.
get
They
that.
do.
So,
They
you know,
do. But we never really had smoke with them.
It was very random. He just starts tweeting. It's
Yeah.
like,
The King James really
he
flops.
called him a
lot.
king and then said he flops.
Yeah,
King
Respect.
James.
and then he
He
was
does
talking
flop
shit
a
when
lot.
we lost. I was just like, all right,
That's an
whatever.
incentive for Reeves to stay in LA because he's not getting those calls in Utah.
Mm.
He's not
Slide
gonna
to
get him in
Utah. Come play with my boy Lori.
Danny Ainge.
Laurie
will pay up for him.
Markkinen, Walker Kessler, and Austin Reeves.
Ah,
That's the new
Greatest
big
white
three.
team ever.
Danny Ainge masterclass.
Oh, yeah. Be dope.
Drafting Grady Dick.
Oh,
John
we-
Johnson
starting
They
five.
drive Grady Dick is nuts. It's up for them.
Classic Joel V. Moran tweet. NBA offseason in 2019. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving signed with the Brooklyn Nets. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George joined the Clippers. Who would have thought that the most impactful signing would have been Jimmy Butler to the Miami?
I
Let's
said
get into it.
impactful or successful.
Same thing.
Same. It's really.
It's
same
not the
He
thing.
same
said
thing.
successful.
I mean, Jimmy's been the most
Successful
impactful.
is, yeah, but isn't that crazy though?
Well, let's
He's
get
been-
into
he's
it.
been both most impactful and most successful.
Yeah, he's comfortably both.
Well,
yeah.
before we get into
They're
that,
synonyms.
this is then we're gonna move on. This is a would you rather Jamal Murray edition.
Okay.
Jamal Murray, playoff riser. So I'm gonna get spicy with these names right here. We're gonna get spicy. There's gonna be some All NBA, All Star players that I'm gonna name. First name up, Drew Holiday.
Jamal Murray.
Take Jamal, yeah.
Jamal.
Give me the
Very
offense.
easy.
I'm
You
taking
said your
Jamal
name an
Murray.
all-star. Never mind. Sorry.
That's the first name.
I apologize.
So all NBA.
He's an
defense,
all-star, bro.
Ah,
Next up is an All NBA player,
here we go.
Jaylen Brown.
This guy's dog shit.
Jamal Murray can do more. I mean, he's more than just a scorer. He could play and make too.
The problem with Jamal, regular season he's good, but playoffs he's different.
I mean, I think it's established Jokic and Murray are the best duo in the NBA right now.
Right now, they got it. Facts.
Respect Jimmy and Bam.
I'm going with Jamal Murray.
I'm still
over
going
Jaylen
with
Brown.
JB.
that
still
would be
going
so
Jaylen
recency
Brown.
bias if I take Jamal.
You think he's done it for 2 playoff runs already?
Yeah, but I think people have comfortably been putting Jalen over Jamal. Jalen's like a top
And JB's
23
defense
player.
has not been great this year.
Here's the
When
only
we-
thing to my defense.
He has
When
the
we did
potential
the
to
Would
be.
You Rather with Jalen Brunson and Jamal Murray,
Love to see
I
that
took
thing.
Jamal Murray regardless of what Jalen Brunson was doing. With Jalen Brown, this one's tough for me.
And it's so
It's
sour what he's been
such an
doing.
ugly series. The worst series of his life.
You know
truthfully.
what?
It sucks
Fuck
because really
it.
it's
I'll
been
go
these
Jamal.
last 2 games. People are trying to discredit what he did last series against
He
Philadelphia.
was really good.
Jamal Murray.
That's fine.
I'll go Jamal
I
Murray.
get it. I'm really, really torn. Ah,
I thought about it.
ah.
His highs are just not Jalen Brown highs.
No, Jamal
Yeah,
Murray's
I'll go
highs
Jamal
are
Murray.
ridiculous.
I mean,
I s-
Jalen Brown's highs are not Jamal Murray.
Yeah,
highs.
I feel
Yeah.
that.
I slightly lean Jamal.
De'Aaron Fox.
No, I'm going Fox.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
go
going
Fox. I'm waiting for one.
If it's
name.
playing off of Jokic, I think I still go with Murray.
I think that's the benefit.
But
of
De'Aaron
Jamal.
Fox is my one.
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
like the
quote
three-point
unquote
shooting, too.
four
Would you
man's
rather?
Jokic is Domantas Sabonis. I think that Jamal Murray can play with Sabonis and still be successful.
Yeah, he could.
I think that when you look at their offensive game, yes, De'Aaron Fox was one of the best players this season, all NBA player. But the 3-level scoring with Jamal Murray, I feel like he is just a better scorer than De'Aaron Fox. And
not
he
crazy.
is well more efficient at the free throw line and anywhere else on the court than De'Aaron Fox.
I think Murray's a better shooter, but Fox is the best finisher.
He's a better finisher. He's a better finisher. For
Definitely
sure.
better 3-point shooter. When he
I'm going Fox.
And Fox's mid range is also deadly too.
It is.
Jamal's
It's just a
everything
three-pointer.
shooting
Just a
wise
three-pointer.
is
He
cash.
could get hot like Fox can't. But I
It's
still lean
close.
Fox.
I slightly lean
Yeah.
Jamal.
That's fair.
No, I'm going Fox.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Jamal.
If I'm taking him over Fox,
I haven't seen
have to
Halliburton
take
in the
him
Yeah,
over
playoffs.
you need more years from Hallie.
Yeah, I'm going with Jamal Murray too. This one's easy. D'Angelo Russell.
Okay.
What was the need for this?
I'd take Tyus Jones.
I'm going with Jamal.
That's
Easy.
cat because D'Lo outperformed Tyus Jones.
Don't care. I'll be honest.
Stay mad.
I'm not.
Bradley Beal.
What the fuck? Jamal Murray.
That's
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
Bradley
just
Beal's
not-
another
Is
one.
Jamal Murray over Bradley Beal and Zach LaVine, or just one of those?
And Zach. I think Zach. You know what I think? I think Zach would be elite playing next to the Joker, but I'm
he would.
gonna go Jamal Murray.
Yeah. What he's doing in the playoffs just puts him over these guys that don't have playoff success.
Again, you're just naming names of people that
Last time we
I
seen
like a
Zach
lot.
on Zach on the scene didn't look too good. He was hurt, but he didn't look too good last time on the scene in the postseason.
he looked great against the Raptors. Didn't
Not
look
against the
great
Heat.
against the Heat.
He did all that bullshit just to lose to the Heat. Up 92-89. Come on.
Jalen Brunson.
I'm going Jamal Murray.
I'm going Brunson.
I think this is really
This
close.
is
I do.
I'm going Brunson.
I love both. I gotta go with Brunson. What he did in the playoffs.
I get it.
We did
Was
back
exceptional.
end of the year.
And he's the one.
I think I would.
That's
lean
the
Brunson.
one on his
Facts.
team. So I
Yeah.
get it. It's
Like
not
I
that's
think
an
if Brunson
outlandish
plays with
statement.
Jokic, that's
That would be a
deadly.
weird fit.
But I love. Yeah, it would be a little bit weird,
Weird
right?
as fuck.
It would be a little.
I don't
bit
think he
weird.
would ever want to play with somebody like that. Just a bigger
Jamal
Luka.
Murray. It's tough because Jamal Murray is the perfect fit
Yeah.
next to Jokic.
Mhm.
That's what makes it tough. And this player is an All NBA player, made first team. It's Donovan Mitchell.
I would go
I'm
Donovan.
still going Donovan.
Yeah.
This is tough because
I was still
Jamal
going
Murray
Donovan.
outplayed him in the first
Yeah,
round of the
he
bubble.
hates Donovan.
No, he didn't outplay him.
They both had 50.
They were
balls.
both. They were both. It just unfortunately Rudy Gobert couldn't outplay the Joker.
He got cooked.
Shocker.
I think they both were. I'm just glad you didn't
Rudy
say Darius
Gobert did his
Garland.
thing against the Joker.
Oh,
in the
it's
first
no,
round.
just
because
glad.
you know the
you're probably
answer.
cooked. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't say that.
So you're gonna say D'Angelo Russell, but you're not gonna say Darius Garland.
We're good off that. Let's keep that out.
You're taking
Darius Garland.
Ja over Jamal?
I would take Ja.
I'll
also.
still take Ja. Yeah.
You're taking Ja over Jamal?
Yeah, I'll still take Ja.
I would still take Trae
That's
Young over
tough.
Jamal.
Trey Young?
Trey
Yeah.
Young was great against Boston.
He was
I don't know why they act
phenomenal.
like
He
was.
was.
He
Everyone
He
was
was.
phenomenal.
Trae
He
Young?
against Harden
And the
Embiid.
Calm the hell
Nah,
down,
man.
Mr. Best Point Guard in the league. Don't think we forgot, bro.
Everyone cooked the Celtics except Harden and Embiid.
I'm thinking of would you rather is who am I picking with my team? So I don't have the Joker.
Harden had
so
two
I'll
40s.
take.
Respect.
Yeah, and 5 stinkers.
Yeah, I'm taking Donovan Mitchell too. I am.
It's close.
Listen, Trey Young really
Stop.
his stock went down this year. I'm sorry.
This is hilarious.
He
coming
went
from
from
you.
best point guard in the league to what?
No, this is a
It was a
fucking
game.
why
great.
he's
Dame
killing
didn't
me.
play. Fox
But-
had a down. Fox didn't have the year he just had.
I don't know Steph Curry.
SGA
You had him over Steph Curry.
in the regular season, Trey Young was a better player than Steph Curry.
But why does that matter? Because in the playoffs, you put Steph back over. So why shouldn't Trey Young go back up? He was great against the Celtics.
He is back up. I'm not dropping him tremendously.
You just said you just said he's dropped tremendously
You think? I just feel like Jamal
Busted.
offers something.
with the Joker.
Oh, so clutch. I don't know. I love Jamal Murray.
I know. I'm
really
with
do.
you. I think Jamal is great, but he's like you said, he's in the perfect situation
Are we
with
gonna
the
pretend
Joker.
like Trae Young didn't save the Hawks season with that step back logo 3?
Listen, I think Trey
lost.
Young is
They
exceptional.
Did bastards.
Respect to Trey Young. He's made it to an ECF. He's when they were in the
Facts.
playing down on their
I
last
don't respect
knees.
that run.
But you respect the Bucks ring. But I think
I
down.
respect the Bucks
They
ring.
won a ring.
You do
But I-
respect the Bucks
I
ring.
respect the Bucks
We
ring.
just had this conversation.
Yo, he's insane.
What do you mean?
Oh my god.
We had the
Mental
conversation.
illness. We're gonna have to check him in, bro. I'm worried.
We had the conversation.
Do you
of,
respect the Bucks ring? Yes or no?
I don't respect it, but it happened
What do we mean
Oh,
we don't
when we-
respect
when we
it?
talk-
Mask, why you don't
when we-
respect it?
because the Nets should have won that year.
it happened. But,
So you're
but the
bitter?
Hawks is just fluky. But
Bro,
nobody got hurt.
I mean, you got to catch some breaks to win a championship.
You asked me when you asked the Giannis question. You said the Giannis
Uh-huh.
deserved the
Do
disrespect.
you respect Kawhi's ring?
With Toronto?
Yes.
100%.
But Kevin Durant got hurt. Klay Thompson got hurt.
He passed the
No,
Sixers.
no, it
and
doesn't.
the
It
Bucks.
doesn't.
I mean,
It doesn't
I don't
matter.
know. Those were-
when it doesn't.
This
Somebody
is
got
not
hurt.
respected.
He
Somebody
passed
got
by
hurt.
those great
But
teams.
somebody
though.
got hurt.
Yeah, you could. Things happen on championship run. You're gonna have to catch breaks, whether it's injuries, lucky shots.
So you don't
whatever, it might be
respect
a call going your
none
way.
of
Like,
Steph's
just what
rings.
happened.
What do you mean?
You respect Steph's ring.
Last year's one of the most impressive rings.
I'm asking, do you respect Kevin Durant's rings? Chris Paul got hurt.
I think a ring is a ring.
Now it's a ring's a ring.
Oh, this guy is insane.
You're beat.
Listen,
bro.
I do think the
you're
Hawks ECF run is a fluke, though.
I understand.
It was
but
a fluke.
You can say that, but Trae Young was great in
I
that
think there's a
ECF
difference
run.
between saying it's a fluke and not respecting it.
Like, Drew asked me if Giannis deserves disrespect.
I said if you kept that same energy with Giannis,
And because I said, ultimately, if you win a
Uh-huh.
championship, you win a championship.
Okay, so what makes it fluky?
What, the run?
Yeah.
Or the Giannis's?
No, the Trae Young's run, because you picked the Knicks over them and you picked Philly,
Sixers should have won in 5.
Sixers should have won in 5.
but they didn't.
They didn't.
They should always win. The problem with Philly is they should always win in some amount of games, just like they should have beat the Celtics in 6, right? And what
No,
happened?
I don't think so. I think
No.
wasn't
They
comfortable.
should have beat the Celtics in 6.
They should have beat the Celtics in 6.
They folded.
They had game 6 in their home field, and both of their guys decided, hey, we're just gonna sit back, relax, do nothing.
It's not their time.
Respect Trae Young.
You really want to watch this?
the
bro.
reason why I got
Sure.
fluky though was the next year they were the 8th seed and lost in the first round.
But that doesn't mean it's fluky though. It just means they couldn't capitalize. Shit happens.
I'm with
You-
Riv.
Come on.
Not every championship is weighed the same.
So if Jamal Murray, if playoff Jamal Murray was in that
That's
same
different.
position, where's they going? Without the
Where?
Joker. If he was in Atlanta, playoff Jamal, where they going to the ECF?
The way Jamal Murray's
Without
playing
the Joker,
27
playing
points
with
per
Capella
game.
and John Collins.
Respect Kevin Herter. He showed up game 7.
I'm just talking about the bigs. I'm just talking about who's he pick and rolling
That
off of.
one game 7 that Kevin Herter played out of his mind has saved Kevin Herter in the minds of some.
Oh yeah, 'cause
it's
he was
also
dog shit
saved
against
Trae
the
Young.
Warriors.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah,
missing wide
That's
open
not
jumpers.
true. That's not
How much
true.
does Trae Young have in game 7 right now? Don't look.
I don't remember.
Against Philly, 25.
That sounds.
Kevin Herter carried that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't carry shit else.
Okay, he won the
He
most
was
important
dog
game
shit
of the
against the
season.
Warriors. Bro, missing open
This is
jumpers
the
against
Harden
the
guy.
Cubs.
Talking
Don't
about
forget.
2
Harden got
years,
2.
3 years later.
How many
should have
points?
got
Are you-
better.
Are you looking?
I am looking.
All right.
You guys are you're sick, bro.
I'm not going to disrespect Trae Young, especially against the Cavaliers last year to win the playing game. This year against the Celtics. This year against the Heat. They're a game away from the NBA Finals.
He had 21 and 10.
21. Okay.
What's
He averaged 30 and 11.
Yeah, no, he
against
was
them.
OD.
no, in that series he was amazing
He
for
was
sure.
OD.
What am I being
Splits
disrespectful
is-
towards Trae Young with?
Well, you said
You
that you
said-
don't acknowledge the run.
Exactly. You
Well,
could call
I
it.
think
And then
it-
you
I
said
think
he's
the
done
ECF
nothing
run-
since.
When did I say he's done
I don't-
nothing
I don't
since?
think-
I
I don't
said
remember if you
it
said that.
like
I
seconds
didn't say
ago.
that.
No,
I
no,
didn't
no.
say that. I
John, you're
promise you I
listening
didn't say
to?
that.
He said that seconds ago, correct?
Yeah, I don't know about that part. I don't know about that
I'm-
part.
I'll be listening. I was watching.
Yeah,
that.
I
Yeah,
don't
Juice
know about that part.
wilding. I did not say
He
that.
might
What's
have
the
got
score?
away with it.
I promise you I didn't say
It's
that.
8-4 Boston.
Yeah, look
You
at
wanna-
me fucking
I'm
smiling
saying,
ear to
you
ear.
wanna-
I listen.
I promise
That's
you
one
didn't
of my
say that. I
great
didn't say that.
strengths in life. My ears, thank God.
Type shit.
I heard
Natural
you.
looks.
Huh?
Natural looks.
That, I mean, yeah, for sure. That's definitely one of them. and I do
Listen, this
appreciate you
right now
acknowledging
we're at like the hour mark, so you can definitely look back and hear it. I didn't say that he's done nothing since though. I did say that this past season tanked his stock. That's what I
that.
did
That too.
say.
No, that was
But the
that was
playoffs should
minutes
have
ago.
put him back up.
Yeah, for sure.
Should've got him back up there. He was great in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think he's still a top 30 player. I'm not disrespecting
Top
him.
30.
Wow.
Top 30.
That must
Remember-
tell me you don't think he's top 20, 20. You don't
He
think
could
he's
be top 25. I haven't done my list yet.
I think
If
he's
I
top
do my
20.
list, he could probably be top 25.
I don't think there's 20
I'm
players
just giving
there,
you
too.
an estimate of where I think he
That
is.
Smith
in the
was real
range.
nasty. I'll be honest with
Way
you.
Top
too
30.
broad of
Top
a
30.
top.
He's
30.
just being safe, so I don't have to hear. You know.
Top 30.
What's your fascination with Trae Young all of a sudden? This guy's a Trae
Good
Young.
player.
I used to hate Trae Young.
I still do, but I respect his
I
game.
used to hate Trae Young.
You
I
used to
hate
love
Trae
him. What
Young.
happened? We
He-
flipped?
Yeah.
Trae Young used to average 28 and 10, and Rev used to be like, that's empty stats.
It was his year. What was it? Like year 2
was
and they were
year
dog
2
shit.
Trae Young.
doesn't play defense.
Oh, he's a
cone.
No, he's dog shit
I
defensively.
mean, he's
Yes.
little.
I
What are you
mean,
gonna do?
Chris Paul's little.
Yes, fight. He's got a dog in him.
Exactly.
He
Yeah.
plays
You got-
defense, though.
Exactly. That's my point. You got that dog in you. Pat
You're
Bev's
right.
little.
Yeah, but Pat Bev.
Doesn't matter. I don't want to hear it.
It's also when Trae Young's so great offensively.
Chris Paul's
Pat
great
Bev isn't
offensively.
doing shit offensively
Chris Paul.
for sure. But
John
I mean,
Stockton.
if that's the only if these are the comps is Chris Paul and John Stockton, okay, I
Well,
think you
he's
could live with that. If
28
you're a
and
Trae
10.
Young fan.
Yeah, you got to get up there. Play some defense. Get your weight up.
He does have to get his weight up.
Jimmy Butler.
Let's get into
Where
it, man.
does this playoff run stack up against some of the greats, man?
He's got to finish a job.
He got
Right.
he has to finish the job, but we're under the assumption that he smokes y'all. I mean, listen, y'all are sorry. I picked the Celtics.
Oh my
in,
God.
I picked the Celtics in the series.
You sure did.
For y'all to go out like this
Hey.
is embarrassing.
Joel, cover your ears, bro.
It's
This
not
is
over.
just meant for dialogue purposes,
okay.
bro. All right. Which was worse, the Celtics or the Lakers?
100%
Celtics.
team losing to the 8th seed, the play-in team.
Sorry, Joe. I
You
just
know, if
have
the
to ask
play-in didn't
question,
exist, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. So you would be saved.
Weren't they the A seed?
No, they were
I lied.
seventh. No, they
I
were
lied.
seventh. If
I
the
lied.
play-in didn't
Yeah.
exist,
They weren't 9 or
no,
10.
they were
I thought
seven.
they were 9th.
They were seven.
They were
would've played them
7th, but
round
they
one.
They were
lost.
7 and
to
lost to the
Hawks.
Hawks.
So you lost to the
So
team
you
that
all
lost to
would've
the
played-
Hawks.
y'all would've
them
played them
round one.
anyways.
We
Yeah.
would have played them round
Oh, you've
one.
been fucked early. Okay, I get it.
It's true.
So you're losing to the team that lost to the Hawks.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and beat the Bucks
They sure did beat the shit out of the Bucks, didn't they?
and his
And the
Knicks.
That was a little cool. More
We
fight.
gave the best fight, at least.
Jimmy was hurt.
I was upset.
Jimmy missed the game. You would have lost in 5.
Facts.
Didn't want my. I didn't
Game
want the
6
Knicks
was
to go out that
close.
sorry.
Game 2 though, that was close too. The game Jimmy
Game
missed.
1 was
Jimmy
close
didn't
too.
play.
Well,
I don't- and I
Jimmy
don't
got
wanna hear
hurt
shit
then.
about Randall either.
Yeah, Randall's dog.
At the end of the game, yeah, he did.
Respect. He was hurt.
Who?
Randall.
He's just not.
He's
that
just
in
not
the
good,
playoffs,
bro.
yeah. With all due respect to Randall.
What runs we stacking it up with?
I guess the ones that we're gonna mention is Kawhi Leonard.
The one I think
Gonna
about is
mention
2019
Dirk
Kawhi.
Nowitzki.
This is like a Dirk Nowitzki like run, and to a degree, I think it's a little bit more because Dirk was a top 5 seed, top 6 seed, if I'm not mistaken. Jimmy, Miami.
They fake ran through.
No, Dirk ran through Kobe, Kevin Durant, and he ran through Portland.
I think they
So,
played 21.
Portland was on his
Injured.
last leg.
Yeah,
I think they played 21 games. They lost 5 games that year. That's respect.
Portland was pretty meh. Then
And
they ran through
I
Kobe.
feel like
and OKC.
people romanticize that Lakers team. That Lakers team was not that good.
No, but running
They
through
were coming
Kobe,
off a championship.
running
but they
through
were not
Kobe
that
is
good.
still very, very, very.
Didn't they
For
play
sure.
KD and
in Westbrook?
they
Ran through.
did not. I'm blanking.
Harden was definitely there.
No. I'm blanking on that last
Portland.
team.
No, they played Portland first.
That's what it was.
They played
That's
the
what it
Lakers,
was.
then they
Yep,
played
yep,
OKC.
Yep.
Then they ran through Miami.
Oh no, and I went back to obviously 2019 is not that far back, but you really take a look at Kawhi's numbers.
No,
and
they ran through
bro,
the Magic.
efficiency.
They didn't see. That's the thing. They ain't the Raptors ain't run through nobody.
No,
Like outside the Magic. Like it was a dog fight against Philly.
Philly was a great.
was a tough fight
it was
against
a
Milwaukee.
bounce. Would you say it was a fight? It was 6 games, but it was a pretty comfortable 6.
Milwaukee.
Yeah,
They were down 2-0.
but I get it. But then they made that adjustment of
Yeah.
well,
Still,
Kawhi.
it was tough.
Mhm.
It was like the way. Yeah, it was tough. I mean, comparing the run, like Jimmy, what he's doing, like he's an 8th seed. He doesn't have like with Kawhi. He had about 8, 9 really good
And
role
that's the
players.
difference.
With Dirk, he didn't. He may not have had a superstar, but he had really good role players. Jason Terry was really good off the bench.
No doubt.
He had Tyson Chandler. He
That-
had Jason Kidd. That
Yeah.
type of smartness and that IQ. With Jimmy, it's Bam,
We
who's
got
a
Gabe Vincent though.
yeah,
Marion was on that Dallas team
Sean
too.
Marion.
Sean Marion.
yes, he
on
was.
that team. Pejas, Zakovic.
Yeah, so like
was
with
on that
Jimmy,
team.
he has Bam, who's an elite defender, but outside of that, Tyler Herro's not there. His scoring punch. Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, these are undrafted guys on like 1-year deals, like $1 million deals,
You know,
$2 million deals.
They've been in the
so-
system
I understand
for
this
years,
for argument purposes, and I do think that Jimmy's run is stacking up with like some all-time great runs we're seeing. I mean, you look
Here we go.
Butler in 2023.
though.
Right now, he's averaging 30 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 60% true shooting. Kawhi in 2019 averaged 30, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 61.9% true shooting. So pretty similar. Kawhi's PER was 0.6 higher. I feel like at this point, like, because when we look back at runs where superstar players carried average supporting cast, you usually look at those numbers and you're like, it's not like great numbers. Like somebody really had to carry like LeBron in 07, even though they had a great and fantastic defense, and that's what their bread and butter was.
And 18.
But you look at the supporting cast, I understand the names don't pop out to you, but you look at what they're doing in their production, they are giving you an elite role player production.
But
But it's mostly off what Jimmy Butler is doing. Like with Toronto, it wasn't just off what Kawhi is doing. Like Kyle Lowry can go get you one. Siakam can go get you one. These guys eat off Jimmy. Like
I don't
100%.
think that's necessarily the case.
No, it's like
Without Jimmy Butler on the court, they have a positive net rating.
I agree. The defense keeps him up.
It's the offense too.
No,
How many times
Kyle
did
Lowry-
we,
And
how
the
many
reason why I
times
understand what Riv is saying too is because this supporting cast was not like this at all in the regular season.
No, they weren't.
No,
Not
they
even
weren't.
anywhere
But
remotely.
they stepped up,
close.
Some of the
too.
worst shooting teams
And
in
that's
the
where
league.
I feel what you're saying. You're spot on. They have been elite in their roles. They have. But in terms of expectation, the expectation with these Raptors, maybe outside of maybe Siakam at the time, we weren't expecting Siakam to elevate that much. maybe, you know what? I'm talking out of my ass because Fred was not supposed to do that either, to be honest with you.
He had one game where he popped off.
For sure, but the
respectfully.
defense
You know
that he
what I'm
had was really
was
what
really good
put him in
defensively.
the category of getting the acknowledgement and praise. But so that's pretty fair now that I'm thinking back on it.
This is I'm looking at game 3, and how many times did you see Duncan Robinson beat Celtics off the dribble
I mean,
with
if we're
no
talking
Jimmy
about
on the
game
court?
3, anything they want to do.
I know
they
game
will
3,
look at.
but I feel like this
I
entire
evaluate off 1 and 2. I can't talk 3.
like this entire playoff series for the most part, it's like Gabe Vincent when Jimmy Butler's off the floor,
but it's
he's
mostly
hitting crazy
Strus
shots.
coming off of a pick and roll, or
Yeah, like
he's
a-
just catching off a Bam handoff. Same with Duncan.
game winner.
No, Gabe.
That's what I'm saying.
Gabe
Gabe's
is-
game winner
Gabe.
was an ISO on Tatum. Like,
Yeah.
bro, what the role players are doing for the
And
Miami
game
Heat,
one
you're spot on,
versus
Joel.
game 1 versus the Knicks, it was Kyle Lowry and Gabe Vincent who took
No,
over.
Kyle Lowry.
when
No, he's
Jimmy
just,
Butler was on a bum ankle. So I understand, like, people will look back on this, and even now, people will look at the team and like, look at what Jimmy's doing with this team. And yeah, I understand where that's coming from to a certain degree, but these guys are also playing like elite level role players, and they're all playing their role to the point where I'm like, Jimmy Butler's the best player on this team, and he's by far doing the most work. But what I call it carrying when everybody's shooting like 40% from 3, I don't know if I'd call it carrying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's not carrying. I don't think
He's not carrying.
But you're not expecting these role players.
He's carrying.
I think in the Bucks, if you have to
In the
drop
Bucks,
40
no, in the
and
I
Bucks,
think
he
50,
the Bucks series
he
he
carried.
carried.
Yeah.
No
the
doubt.
Knicks he didn't.
I think
this
doubt.
one, no. The Knicks, not really. I think, I wouldn't say he carried in the Knicks. He was just the best. But in the Bucks series, you have to drop 40 and 50 consistently. That was pretty much the series to get him over the hump. And the Knicks series, he was a little bit banged
Like,
up.
bro, I told you, you mentioned my tweet earlier. The fact that Caleb Moran went from basically 10 points, 46% from the field, 36% from 3, to the ECF, almost 20 points, 63% from the field, almost 48% from 3. It's just the elevation that we're seeing from all of these role players. It's just a credit to what they've been able to, just the mindset that they've taken over into this NBA.
I mean,
playoffs.
they're playing with so much confidence. They're playing so connected. Spo has them. Obviously the players deserve a lot of credit because you have to go out there, execute. You have to go out there, hit the shots. But I mean, Spo is hitting all the right buttons, and this is just a team that I think a lot of times, especially when you look at like ISO heavy teams or teams that rely so heavily on 1 or 2 players, obviously you're relying on Jimmy Butler here, but the fact that they all feed off each other and all of their confidence, like when one guy's hot, it feels like all 5 guys are hot because you almost feel the confidence like jump out of your TV screen. Maybe this is just me being down the dumps watching them, but it feels like once 1-3 goes in, it's like the floodgates open and it just goes again and again and again. So, I mean, it's just a team that they are playing above their means. And people found that like disrespectful, like Jaylen Brown was saying, like these are guys who are supposed to contain. But I didn't see that as disrespectful because you're going into the series. You have to contain Jimmy Butler, contain Bam, and you're expecting obviously these guys to hit shots, but you're not expecting Caleb Martin to average 20 for this series. I think that's what Jaylen Brown was getting at, where we were expecting to come in and being able, we know Butler's going to get he's going to average 30, but we cannot let these surrounding pieces to be wide open from 3, hitting their shots, and they're hitting contested shots too. So you got to give them credit.
I looked it up real quick to see like what's their NBA.com is weird.
Like if you look at the Raptors playoff stats in 2019, Kawhi was at 30, Siakam was at 19 and 8, and Lowry's at like 14. Right now, Jimmy's at 30 damn near. Bam's at 18 and 9. Vincent is at 13. Martin's at 13. Strus is at 11. Lowry's at 10. Robinson's at 9. They have damn near 5+ players averaging double digits on this team right now.
And also that Raptors team was really more of a defensive sound unit. You have Gasol, Serge Ibaka.
I don't know about y'all, but I ain't expect no fucking Gabe Vincent.
I didn't expect it either.
Caleb Martin to do this? Like, bro.
Yeah, this is. I mean,
he had it so much worse, bro. I swear they did not do what they're doing to y'all to us.
No,
they
shot 30%
we were
from 3 against you guys.
To us, they settled down from 3, and we were trapping Jimmy Butler. We were trapping him.
I mean, people want Mazzulla to double Jimmy Butler, but if they're going to shoot like this, how are you going to double Jimmy Butler?
Well, you guys are just letting him switch. You're not really doing too much of the we did doubling a little bit,
but then there'd be an open 3-point shooter, and they're making their shots.
Well, in this series, they're taking wide open 6+ feet 3-pointers, 12.2.
So let's say hypothetically Jimmy Butler does win a championship. Is this over Kawhi's 2019 run?
I would put it over. Depends on what he does in the finals, though. Because Kawhi was also
That's-
ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
I was
just
saying,
in the
assuming
finals.
Butler's
the
keeping it up.
domination that the Heat have shown. Like that round one against the Milwaukee Bucks to
No
end it
one-
in
yeah.
5, impressive. Against the Knicks, where we thought that the Knicks would win the series, for them to end that in 5, very calm. That was
6.
very easy for them. No, it was 5 games.
The next game.
Oh,
the
you're
next-
100%
It was
right.
6,
I
6,
apologize.
6.
It was
Should
6.
have been
Respect.
5.
Respect.
And now
Butler,
potentially
yeah.
potentially ending the Celtics in 4 games, the team that
Tatum has
most
3
had
turnovers.
is the
Why?
best in the league.
I saw all 3.
Are they bad?
Uh,
Are
yeah,
they his
they weren't
fault?
great. They weren't great. Yes.
Okay,
they were
all
his fault.
3.
Yeah, I mean, one came on a double. 2
He-
came on a double, actually. I don't remember what the third.
He
The third
just-
one was, I think, off his foot or knee or some shit.
Is it better than Dirk's run?
Ooh, spicy.
I wouldn't say that. I can't say it personally.
Beating
Ah,
Bron.
I'm putting it over.
I don't know. Beating the big 3 with Miami.
you-
is
Ray, think
tough.
about it for a second, bro.
I look at it like this. Kawhi is a top 5 player in the world at the time, right? Dirk was like top 7, 8-ish. Jimmy Butler is like,
He's always been that.
he's always been around
10.
the 10, 13 range, but he's also another player where, not Jamal, but similar to Jamal, where he's giving you 22, 6, and 7 in the regular season. Regular low all NBA, all-star level numbers, nothing crazy. He lost to the Hawks, played the Bulls. They dragged out of that one.
Facts.
Went and they destroyed the Bucks, beat the Knicks, destroyed Boston if they win tonight. And then they go out and beat Denver, who just destroyed the Lakers.
But that's if they win. Now we're having a different conversation.
That's what I'm saying. If they
Miami-
win.
Miami 6-2 this postseason when trailing by double digits.
Yeah,
That is
that's
also crazy.
And I think, have they lost a game at home yet?
No.
Miami, I don't think Miami has
haven't.
lost a game in Miami.
So I think we beat
No, I was
them.
gonna say the
You know,
Knicks
we-
did.
we beat them.
I thought
We
they were
beat them, yeah.
undefeated.
No, you did not
no.
beat them. You beat them in
No.
5. You beat them in New
No,
York.
you beat them game
beat them
5.
twice in New York.
Facts. He's right.
You thought wrong.
Game
Because you
2.
lost game 1.
Yeah,
you
game
won
2, you
game
won.
2.
And you
you
won
lost
game
both
5.
game 3 and 4.
You
Facts.
lost all games in Miami. You would never beat them in Miami. Anyways.
shut up.
Yeah, I would put it over.
No, I
Dirk's.
would put it over Kawhi's, not Dirk's,
That's
I'm putting it over.
because I think Dirk. I mean,
So it's the
he
best.
beat prime LeBron. bro.
exactly that.
It's the best run, not off of
Jimmy beat prime
All-time
Giannis,
player?
prime
I mean, they're all-
Joker. If he does win, he would have beat prime Joker, prime Giannis, young up and coming Tatum, and Jalen Brunson.
This is probably
That OKC team is way more impressive than this Boston team.
It
And
is.
Dirk beat OKC in the WCF.
It is, but it's still a
that was
great Boston team.
2011. That was a young OKC
Young-
team.
that's-
That was the year after they made the finals.
That was the year before.
No, that was
they
the year
made the
before.
finals.
No,
This is 11.
no, I know. I'm saying that very next year OKC made the finals.
No,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
But
they
that's
still
still
were young.
Yeah, that's still a young.
Because that was a big, that's a not, quote unquote knock about LeBron's first championship. Yeah, it was impressive. They won in 5 games, but that was a
I don't even
young
remember
OKC
yeah, but that
team.
KD,
I mean,
KD
KD was KD.
he
No
was
one-
way
yeah.
better than what this Tatum is, and
Probably.
he was way better than
Yeah,
Probably.
but the Joker's better than him.
he's in his prime.
Tatum's not in his prime. I can say
LeBron
the
at
same
that
thing
point
about
was better than this current Joker.
that LeBron in that finals.
How old is
Not in that
Jokic?
finals, but that type
'Cause
that
he played
LeBron.
he played some not real LeBron. I don't know who that was. He played a fraud. Who?
No, Jokic is 28 years old.
He played a
He's in
fraud
his prime.
LeBron. That shit doesn't count.
fraud LeBron.
In
Please
11,
stop
I
it.
wasn't the real LeBron. We don't know who that was. It was some guy who just took over his brain.
Mark
Talk
Cuban
shit.
would school you right now if you heard you.
Yeah, Mark Cuban really would have a field day.
What
with
type of zone defense were we playing? We threw like 19 different coverages.
Mark
at him.
Cuban needs to figure out what he's gonna do with that fucking roster. Don't need to worry about me. I'm putting Jimmy over, man. I'm sorry.
So is Jimmy?
AFC nuts.
So is this a top 2-3 run ever if he wins a championship?
Is it better than 06?
That's
Wade?
what I'm wondering, bro.
Is Dirk a top 3 run ever?
I feel like people use that ring as one of the
Is
greatest.
Jimmy Butler
ever.
this year? Is it better than 06 Wade?
Like individually.
Young. Wade was so
shit.
young.
That's close.
Wade was really young. He played
was.
Detroit. Oh, we're good. He played Detroit. He played Dirk.
I would say no.
It's just not individually, no, but what Jimmy's doing to these teams that are supposed to be beating him is
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Facts.
Like
I agree with that.
he wasn't supposed to come out the first round.
I'm with
No.
you.
The Heat, they didn't. No
What's been
series
more
that.
impressive, Jimmy Butler this year or LeBron in 2018?
Oh, LeBron had George Hill. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
What the fuck are we doing?
I'm glad
So
you agree.
the 06 Heat, no series went past 6 games. They beat the Bulls in 6. They beat the Nets in 5.
Oh, we were dog shit.
They beat the Pistons in the ECF and they beat the Mavericks in the finals.
Yeah, the Pistons is the one that because I was really high on that Pistons team back in the day. But Dirk and D-Wade individually in the finals was kind of crazy.
Pistons went out to Wade and then LeBron back-to-back years.
They lost Rasheed Wallace.
Okay.
Hate
Wade
to see
averaged
it.
35 in that finals, bro.
Yeah, it depends on what Jimmy does in the finals.
Now against the
That's-
Mavs, he fried.
If he
what?
if he makes it, you never know.
Enough is
Hey,
enough.
7.
The jig is up.
They just
Hey,
need
you
one
never know.
game. Don't give them
Don't
one.
get
No,
us-
the
don't let us
jig
get
is
one.
100% up.
Don't let us get one.
I'm
But
still
what
sad.
I was, Drew rudely pulled up my tweet as if that was not facts.
Which one?
Which tweet?
The 2019 offseason one.
I
Oh,
wasn't
nah, it is
rudely
facts.
saying that. I wasn't. It's a Joel Moran tweet. What do you want me to say? Is it not?
Oh, I thought you meant as a classic Joe Moran tweet. Like I thought you were saying it in the same lens as like the Sohan one.
No, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I say it's a classic you tweet because you have multiple saying, "Who cares, Jimmy Butler? I don't understand why people gas his head up." And then you go and you put a tweet like this. That is classic Joel Moran.
Listen. After the he went up 3-0 on the Celtics,
Yeah, finally.
I can't
You were moved?
I can't disrespect that.
You gave
Game
them-
3 moved me.
It was just last week he gave them no time on the show. Like, we don't need to talk about the Heat, this, that, and the third, blah,
We don't
blah,
gotta talk
blah.
about the series.
Yeah, we don't got to talk about the series.
I wish we didn't have to.
Oh, in that time frame,
We're hating.
I've talked to Heat fans.
Like, who?
Have you?
Yeah, I've talked to your boy Nick.
He's
Had some
upset at you.
conversations.
He's very
Yeah.
He deserves to be upset.
He's had conversations.
Very spicy.
I think definitely respect to the Heat, man.
I could see in
You
your
can't say
face.
it,
That
yeah.
shit is painting.
Definitely respect you.
Cause man, the Knicks should be here.
No.
It's so bro. If
Not even
Julius,
close.
if
No shot.
Julius Randle plays at his level,
Oh,
which I know
God.
is
We
impossible
we
to
keep
ask,
He
mentioning
can't.
Julius.
He can't.
But
Why
my
does
God.
IQ get swept under the rug?
he does.
Why?
He played like
Oh my
shit.
God.
He was
Wait,
horrible.
Julius
Play
Randle's
like a
Randle's
fucking role
all-NBA.
player. Julius Randle's an all-NBA player. He played like dog shit.
He's a
Exactly,
6-man of the
yeah.
year, though. Like, I get it. You're
Candidate.
a role player, but still.
I mean,
Number 2.
Randle dropped from all-NBA to
Facts.
John.
Oh, no. Listen, Julius deserves
No offense to John,
John.
but you know what I'm saying? Like, see, even
Even
John's
worse
better.
than John.
See, John's better.
John's a connector.
John's a connector. He's a shooter. He's a like distributor. Come on, Randle's all NBA.
But I want to mention that free agency because hindsight is crazy. When we look back at that free agency, the 2019 free agency class was supposed to be stacked. We had Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard,
Here we go.
Jimmy Butler
Who
was
you gonna
there.
get, bro?
Kemba Walker at that point was still an
That's a
all-sellable
fact.
player. Now,
Didn't we get AD that offseason also in a trade?
in a trade, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a trade. And Anthony Davis, was traded to the Lakers.
Yeah, the
So
best move. That was the best move, actually.
Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving go to Brooklyn.
Cock.
Kevin Durant and Kyrie
Bubba
Irving
wasn't
go
real.
to
Screw you.
this motherfucker.
Yeah, now he knows how it feels. You were trying to get
Yo.
some stats earlier, and you're just like, oh, Miami Heat.
Katie and Kyrie go to Brooklyn. Kawhi goes to the Clippers. Paul George gets traded there.
Yeah.
The fact that Jimmy Butler, who was signed in that same offseason, has had more success than these failed attempts at super teams is very impressive.
So let me get this
Under
straight.
the radar, though, Julius Randle was signed
Yeah,
by
yeah.
the Knicks in that offseason, too.
Yeah, so let me, okay.
And he's had more success with the Knicks, you can argue, than KD, Kyrie, and Kawhi and Pete. Nah, not Kawhi and PG, but KD and Kyrie.
hold on. First of all, you stopped us to
Bro,
read
they
a
were
tweet.
half inch away
Hold
from
on,
the
hold
ECF,
on,
and
Drew.
you're saying that they've had more
you
success.
stopped us to say what you tweeted yesterday, and then you added Julius Randle as if he's Jalen Brunson's the reason you got to the second round.
That's a fact.
Listen, underrated, though. In that offseason, Chris Middleton and Brooke Lopez were signed by the Bucks. Chris
that's
Middleton
good.
was extended.
That's good.
And that was the reason why they won the 2021 finals, that core, that group. But Jimmy Butler, the fact that he's the only one that decided to go to Miami, not create a super team, and the fact that they've had more success and he's attempted creations at super teams definitely deserves props and recognition. Because I know at the time when he signed there, I did not think they were going to be a
Nah.
legitimate playoff team for years to come.
Nobody thought. I mean, consistent fine. Even after they got smoked out by the Bucks in the first round, we didn't think they would be able to get back to keep doing what they're doing. You know, so
Dude,
Mr.
what's going
Roker.
on?
definitely impressive.
Here we go. First time.
Come on,
Bada
bro.
Bing, bada boom.
Come on, bro. What are you doing?
Here we go. Pick a side.
283.
17 away, man.
17 away.
We should throw a party.
That'd
Be
be
in Vegas,
viral.
remember?
We are going to be in Vegas.
Right.
Or
We have not made
Are we?
we have
I'm
not
wondering.
made any contingencies. To
We
move
definitely
that
have
way.
to talk about that after
Yeah.
the show.
We always say that, and then
We
we'll
leave.
get to the next show. We'll say the same exact thing. Let's
I
talk-
thought there were going to be a first, second round playoff exit team. I didn't see finals. in that Heat team.
No.
I didn't see it. In that Heat team.
Not ECF and finals
one?
back to back.
You're
No,
talking this-
2019.
Yeah.
When Jimmy first signed with
In the
the
bubble,
Heat,
yeah.
I
Bubble year.
didn't see it.
Came out the woodworks, yeah.
Once, let me not say that. I respected that team because in the regular season, they were great. So, I mean, maybe when Jimmy made that first initial move, you're like, oh, really? The Miami Heat of all the teams to go to? Yeah, that might have been your reaction. But once they started playing basketball in that regular season, you acknowledged very quickly, yo, this team's for real.
They were 5th in the East that year.
No doubt. But I think they started the year off very hot. I could be wrong. But nevertheless, Jimmy Butler was playing great basketball, and the Heat were a lot better than what people had expected, obviously. And then the playoffs happened. They overachieved. They went to the finals. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks in 5 games. Giannis was hurt, but they still beat an impressive Celtics team. So, yeah, no doubt. You got to give respect to Jimmy Butler, regardless of where he's gone. You could say that Miami Heat changed people's outlook on him. That's definite. But Jimmy Butler's just been an amazing basketball player his entire career.
He's just risen up to like a superstar player in Miami.
He's got a great
my
story,
God.
too.
No,
all the
my
story
shits
is
all
fire.
the shit he had to overcome, and obviously even in the NBA, all the shit he had to overcome, going to multiple
usually
teams,
you don't-
people not believing in him.
Typical
Usually,
story.
especially when Jimmy Butler was signed with the Heat, he was an all-star level player. And usually at that age, that's where that type of player stays. And then he ascended to a superstar.
Mhm.
There's certain people. Look,
Only in the offseason.
I look
in
at
playoffs. He's
I
so
look
weird.
at Steph Curry,
Talk to
Kevin Durant, LeBron James, of these players that post 30, there's times in that span from like 30 to 35 that they've just gotten better.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, in my opinion, this is the best Steph Curry that I've seen. And people may disagree with that with the unanimous MVP. I get it. He was unbelievable that year. The efficiency.
No, the last 3 years, this is his best player.
It's
ever.
just the way that he moves without the basketball. That's always been a thing.
he's good
But he's just so
defensively.
much. He's so much more smarter than he was back in the day, and he's just so much more efficient with his touches. I just look at Steph; he's gotten better. Kevin Durant, yes, this probably hasn't been this current Kevin Durant that we saw with the Suns. Not the best Kevin Durant that we've seen, but against Milwaukee, coming off a torn Achilles, unbelievable.
Yep.
That's probably the best Kevin Durant that we've seen.
For sure.
LeBron James, don't have to say anything. Jimmy Butler, to be doing this at what? He's 33 years old,
Yeah,
correct?
he's up there.
To get better as time goes on, it's very few guys that do that, and that's why you have to appreciate what Jimmy's doing also.
When you have that mindset to kill, and then that basketball IQ comes from a decade in the NBA, and you mix that
Facts.
together.
And then
bro,
you
that's
pair
what
it
you
with
get.
Spolstra
Exactly.
and
who
Pat
brings even
Riley.
more
I
out
mean,
of
bro,
you.
He's been dropping Instagram flicks. I followed him. Had
I
to.
know.
he's tough.
Had to.
He's tough.
Let's see how long that lasts.
Ooh.
I'm the biggest Denver Nuggets fan you will find.
I'll be honest. I don't entertain you anymore
What does that have to do with anything?
because your Celtics are fucking cooked, bro.
Okay.
You being a Denver fan, I'm excited for you.
I'm rooting for Denver because I don't want Miami to win.
I understand. That's
I'm
respect.
gonna tell my girl I'm rooting for Miami.
You're such a
Be lying
Miami
to her.
hater. Look
Okay.
at you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been. I know you said you want Denver to win. I've always been on the notion if you beat us, I want you to feel the same pain I do. So I
No.
will never root for you.
Miami
fair.
already felt your pain last year. When they
I
lost.
said that because
I
I
want
don't
them to feel more
want
pain.
to. I don't want to. The justification of hey, we lost to the NBA champion,
I don't care.
but
Yeah, that
I
doesn't move me
also
either.
will be rooting for Miami in the playoff in the
This
finals.
is very
for sure.
interesting. Who are you rooting for?
Denver.
You're back. Okay.
I'm rooting for Miami for sure.
If Miami does win that, the jinx is real, though. I'll be honest, bro.
I'm
That's
rooting
the
for Miami.
final
How
straw.
could you
That's
not?
the last one we need
That's
to
How
the
say.
could you not
final
root for
straw.
Miami? With respect, how could you not root for Miami?
I'm here.
Yeah, facts.
I don't care.
Miami.
I don't
Wait,
care
you're
who
not.
wins though.
So you're really not going to pick Denver to win?
I said, I'm rooting for Miami.
Are you gonna pick them?
Is it the topic?
It's not.
So I'm not answering.
Okay.
I'm with you. Well done.
Ah, that's some bullshit. Just say I said he's a Miami guy.
Huh?
You are the Miami
You
guy.
are-
I'm
you
a
have to
band.
say-
I really am just a
Love the
genuine.
tweet. Your
Oh,
pop.
shut up.
I am
You
a band
added, you
guy.
added Heat to the list.
Did I? Oh
You
yeah,
did.
yeah. All right.
Your pop.
Heat Nation.
55
That did not
favorite
so much
players, man.
convincing.
Heat Nation.
This guy has a tweet about every player in the league.
He does have. He definitely has two about every
All right,
team.
Joel.
Yeah, every team,
Every
100.
team for
percent
sure.
Name a team.
The Suns.
All right.
It's probably hate.
It's
no-
definitely-
there's
it's
no-
not down
no
my mind.
Suns.
I don't
There's
know why
nothing
out of
positive.
every team I
You
named
could
down.
have. You had 33% of the league to choose from.
It's 100% probably hate.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm not even gonna bother looking.
You know what we should do? What's a funner game is we should compare between me and Riv who has more tweets about like players. So we just name a random player and be like, okay, who do you think would have a tweet about him?
The answer. I know my answer. It's gonna be
It's-
fucking
yeah,
Joel.
Joel
Like,
does
what
have
are
a
we
tweet about
doing?
It's
everyone.
gonna be.
Anyhow.
You're not gonna find nothing.
I'm
nice.
not. No, I'm not looking up the Suns. I know.
No, it's not gonna be anything good.
No. Fuck
OKC,
Suns.
the Thunder.
All right.
Oh yeah.
That'll be
That's
easy.
Jay's up
Yeah,
there.
come on.
Yeah.
That's one of his teams.
It is. It's, I told you guys I'm adopting whoever the Thompson brothers get drafted to.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Black.
Anthony,
Anthony, of course.
Black? Yeah.
Dude, just stealing my players, man.
He's the Anthony Black. I'll give him
January
that.
22nd. Get SGA another dog and let OKC develop. Watch them shake the West up. Let me see if I can find something old.
I said that.
Yeah.
His Twitter's not that old,
This is a new one. Remember, my old one
Yeah.
got destroyed.
Yeah.
allegedly.
Shake the West up, huh?
Shake the West up. It's
Why
kinda
do
crazy.
that, Joe?
October 19th, 2022. When SGA plays, OKC is so competitive.
It was
Hot take.
opening day.
Holy
All right.
shit.
October 22nd, 2022. Hey, man, that boy in OKC I've been telling y'all about.
5 days after opening.
That was probably about Josh Giddey, that tweet.
Got it.
January
no,
20th,
that'd be close.
OKC is in sync defensively, and they're all young. This is rare, TBH.
You look at Riv just getting nervous that his tweets are read out loud.
No, because I'm trying to figure out if I said some negative shit. Hope
Y'all
not.
ask, I deliver. Riv's dangerous parlay of the week.
I missed the
OKC agenda
dangerous
is strong.
parlays.
Yo, I
here.
never hit.
That's why it was dangerous.
Yeah, this shit's just to die immediately.
That was dangerous because you was going to
You
lose your
should
mind.
take at your own risk.
People used to get so mad at me.
Ooh, this one's kind of an L, Riv, with respect. And this was kind of relatively soon. April 28th. So, optimistic fan of the OKC Thunder. He's a bastard, honestly. He really is. But he's a funny dude. He's asked, man, I don't know who he was talking about. He must have been talking about Jordan Poole because you said he has a ring. Who cares? Go get one. And then he says he has a ring. Who cares? In quotation marks. Nice loser mentality for real. And then you said dash OKC fan LMFAO because you're clowning OKC for not having a championship.
I've clowned my teams before. It just comes with the
True.
job.
Bro said he's done with the Bulls.
How about you search up some tweets about Giddey?
But for who?
Okay.
Josh
I don't
Giddey.
think I've ever
From
tweeted
Riv, let's see.
Yeah.
If there's anything positive about Giddey, he's cooked.
Now, before you go, a word from Shady Rays. Now, Shady Rays has sponsored Pick Aside Podcast. You can use code PICKASIDE for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. I bought a pair for me and Jessica. They look very cool. They look very sharp. 50% off. You can't go wrong with it. So kick off the new year with new gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered from the sun to the slopes with premium polarized shades, customizable snow goggles, and more. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. And that's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. With Shady Rays, you can look good and feel good. To date, they have donated over 20 million meals to fight hunger with Feeding America. If you don't love them, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop with Shady Rays. Their team always has your back. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of New Year. Go to shadyrays.com and use code PICKASIDE for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 200,000 people.
All right.
Giddey tweets.
Not great stuff. Not great stuff.
Didn't expect it.
All right.
Casual.
So Riv tweets, best backcourt in the NBA runs through Cleveland. This was December 6, 2022. Then Jaden Felix 34 says SGA Giddey in 2 years greater than. And then you said Giddey is fucking trash, bro.
When was that? 2022?
That was this season.
Oh,
That was
fuck.
early this season. And then you had a good tweet. You said Josh Giddey, this was July 10th, 2022. Josh Giddey is going to be a good starting player. Nothing more, nothing less. Bro, really don't move me. And then
That's a good tweet? You said that's a good tweet?
Like partially good.
That's
50-50.
not- I don't think there's
Good.
anything wrong with that tweet.
That's kind of good.
That's
He's going to be a good starting
It's
player.
going to be an all-NBA player.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, I did just call him fucking trash.
Yeah, and the growth.
No, here's where it's bad. Bro, really don't move me. That's where you. All right, but then this
He's a
one,
bad guy, you gotta
this one
remember.
was funny as shit because this was February 12th, 2022. So this was last year during his rookie season. Josh Giddey had to get a trip dub on my Bulls life rig.
Oh shit, Josh Giddey, man.
I remember his rookie year, he had a 29-point triple-double against the Knicks.
Didn't he have 2-3 games in a row where he had a triple double?
Wow.
He had one against the Lakers, I know for sure, and he almost blew that game.
He moves me.
No, I'm
Josh
sorry.
Giddey
Something about
moves
his
me.
bag. I just can't get in it.
Bro,
lack
he's-
thereof. There is no back.
Exactly.
No, he did 50 in and outs, and I was really fucking pissed off. Like, I got really mad.
Listen, it works. He gets to the cup.
He's,
Now,
a part
Dehls.
of SGA's life.
Yes, sir.
You're watching
game.
Game 4 right now, trying to keep
four.
up with your Celtics.
Are you losing?
Respectable.
Better
Down four.
effort than Game 3 for sure.
The start, yeah.
But what was your thoughts on Joe Mazzulla admitting that he didn't have the Celtics ready to play?
I mean, that shit, he's screwed either way. I mean, what is he supposed to say? If he doesn't say they're not prepared, it's a shot at the players, right? If he's saying, like, listen, I thought we had a good game plan, we went out there and didn't execute, it looks like he's throwing his players under the bus. So I don't have really any ill will towards his answer. There was another question asking about, like, if he lost the locker room, and I wish he would have gave a better answer at that, but this was a game where the Celtics are weird because they multiple times last season and this season and in the past where they've come back down from deficits in series, right? They trailed 3-2 against Milwaukee last year. They trailed 3-2 against the Heat last year, 3-2 against Philly last year, and we've seen them be able to come back and win those series. But for whatever reason, when they're in the game and they're trailing, they don't have that same fight as when they're actually down in the entire series. We know what their clutch numbers look like. They've been bad with Joe, bad with Ime, bad with Brad Stevens. I think the last time they had a positive net rating in the clutch was the 2018-2019 season. So this has been an
Isaiah
ongoing
Thomas.
process for years, right? With the Jays at the helm, no matter who the head coach is. And we've talked about that during this podcast. For the Celtics, I mean, this series, it's a long shot. They come back from 3-0. It's never been done in NBA history. And if they would have lost in Philly in the second round, I could have seen a lot of drastic changes, right? I could have seen Joe get fired. I could have seen Jalen Brown get traded, the roster being shaken up. And once they got past that and they made it to the conference finals, I thought we kind of put that in history, where we put that in the past. We're going to move forward, especially coming back from 3-2. But now you look at this series, man, and I know it's the Heat, and you have Spoelstra, the best coach in the NBA, Jimmy Butler, obviously a great playoff performer. But the fact that you're on the verge of getting swept against a team last year you went to 7 with. And for all the shit that Joe Mazzulla gets, it always cracks me up how people swipe under the rug all the shit last year with Ime when we were getting clowned for beating the Bucks in 7 without Middleton. We were getting clowned for having to go 7 games with the Heat, where in that game 7, we had a 13-point lead with 3 minutes. They came back, and Jimmy Butler had a wide open 3 that would have sent them to the finals. Thankfully, he missed, and we made that, and we went to the finals. And then against the Warriors, where we played drop coverage the entire series. And with everyone that praises Ime for all he's done, and maybe he's a top 5 coach in the league, we'll see what he does with Houston. Everyone just seems to forget that, all of the bad shit that happens, and just points at the positive, which was a generational defense to his credit, a defense that was holding the Warriors to in the low hundreds into the 90s for a lot of the time. So you do have to give him credit. But I think of the lot of the shit that the people point at with this Celtics team has been around Joe Mazzulla. And while he, without a doubt, deserves part of the blame, you cannot get me to believe he deserves any more blame than the players. With Malcolm Brogdon forgetting how to shoot, Al Horford forgetting how to shoot, the defense completely falling apart, whether that's on the perimeter or at the basket. Rob Williams has not had the same impact. Al Horford has been getting toasted by Bam this entire series. We're up 3 right now, thank God.
Yeah, Grant's to 3.
So I understand it's very easy to point at Joe Mazzulla, and even his answers after the press conference, people are going to shit on him. I get it. But you cannot look past the outside of the finals last year. Year after year, the Celtics team has come out short. And a lot of the time it's because in the clutch, in those situations, Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown have not been able to make the right decisions and hit those key baskets to get you over the hump. We're seeing the same shit this year. The first 2 games were down to the wire. Game 3 was a blowout. They got it. Those first 2 games came down to the wire, damn near came down to the exact final shot. And I remember we were at Drew's party on Saturday night. We were down 4 with a minute left, and I was like, game's over. I've seen this too many times to believe that the Celtics are going to be able to come back down, even if it's a 1 or 2 possession game, even if it's 4 points. in the clutch, they are not able to get over the hump, and that's why they're not able to win a championship. They've been at it year after year, but if they're not able to get over this hump, where we see the Nuggets, right, the complete opposite, where they could be down, they could be ahead, the Lakers could either, close that deficit, even take the lead, and they could take that punch, and they could go out and execute on offense and hit that timely shot, and Jokic can make that extra pass or put them in possession to win games. The Celtics just don't have that.
Question for you, Dehls. Big Celtics guy, so I hold your opinion of high demand in this conversation.
Fucking fire statement. Go ahead.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the Jaylen Brown situation? Paying him $300 million. I've seen a lot of Celtics fans talking about trading him, possibly trying to get another more established star to pair with Tatum.
Who's it going to be?
What's your thought? There's been a lot of Dame, Hula, Embiid. I giggled at a little bit.
The Dame shit is cool on paper, but you're also probably shortening your window, right? Dame's 33. He's owed over $200 million left. So I understand that Jaylen Brown, you take the call on him, right? He's not Jason Tatum. You take the call on Jaylen Brown and see what people are offering.
Now you're taking the call?
I think you always take the call.
Do you
they took the call with Kevin Durant.
I think you always. I was never under the impression you would trade him, but I think at this point,
I don't think he's never not said it though. I think he's kind of been just mute on it.
No. He said, "Don't trade JB.
Yeah,
We're not doing
because
that."
we were talking about it.
Yes, there's a difference between trading someone and taking the call. You don't take calls on Jason Tatum, on Giannis, on Luka. You don't take the call on them. You could take a call on Jaylen Brown. That's fine. The Celtics did it last year when it was Kevin fucking Durant, and we got scrutinized
should have pulled
for
the
it.
trigger.
Maybe we should have. He went out in the second round. I don't fucking know.
So what? Could you? Good one. Because he's just hilarious.
Look at this guy.
What, laughing at Katie's
Acting
pain?
like Katie wouldn't have elevated this team so much further.
We lost in the same round, buddy.
What are you talking about?
You're saying he's talking about the Celtics.
Because he stared at me. So
that's why he is talking. He's talking to you.
Katie would have elevated the Celtics?
Yeah.
Probably, maybe.
With no JB and you flipping, you swap KD in there?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but I don't think it was just
So,
outright.
Dehls, what you telling
Which
me?
series from Kevin Durant was worse? His series against the Nuggets or his series against the Celtics last year?
Celtics.
Close or no?
Nah, it's not close. He wasn't bad against the Nuggets. He wasn't himself.
Okay.
He was all right.
He was not good against the Celtics.
Nah, he was bad.
Yeah.
He was bad. Against the Suns, against the Nuggets, he was all right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. He had very good moments.
So you're telling me,
very low
Dehls, that
moments.
Claxton actually clears Rob Will?
Rob hasn't had the same impact defensively as he did last year, and that was even with coming off.
Look, I think that you're being too soft on Joe Mazzulla, and I think part of it, a big reason why, is because you've seen a trend of these players doing the same things under whatever head coach has been, whether it's been Stevens, Udoka, or Mazzulla. But I think you're being soft on Joe Mazzulla because, for one, when I think about Boston, it's not the offense that's going to overwhelm you. The three-point shooting variance always was a question mark for me, and I didn't know if it was sustainable. But this team, given the personnel of it, is supposed to be a defense-first team. It's supposed to have a defensive identity, and Joe Mazzulla has kind of went away from it this year. He hasn't preached defense, and you guys lean.
He's an offensive mind.
Yeah, and you guys lean more towards offense, and I thought for this type of team, that was a mistake, given you guys just had a historic
so much
defense.
Offensive firepower, though. It's not being shown this series. Fair.
They're not versatile.
However,
for me. I think that's what it is a little bit.
They don't have
way,
a
like the fact
real
that
natural
threes
basket.
or layups,
just three.
yeah.
Okay.
I agree. Malcolm Brogdon was supposed to come in and be that playmaker.
He's a scoring
but
guard.
Exactly. Brogdon's more of a 2 than a natural 1.
He's been all right. I will say he's probably
He's
a better
had seasons where he's
scorer than
averaged
he is-
good assists.
I was
but
going to say I know
there
he's a
is-
solid playmaker.
He's
and,
never been
and smart.
general.
Smart does turn the ball over a little bit more than you'd like, but he's still a
I think
solid
he's a better
playmaker in
playmaker
his
than
own right.
Brogdon.
That's not insane to say.
Listen, you guys are all too nice.
Keep it a stack, Riv. You're the first one that likes accountability, correct?
Yes.
You want accountability.
I want
Joe
accountability from
Mazzulla
everybody.
came out to the media and took accountability.
Yeah, I'd like
Right?
what he did.
You're damned. Okay, so maybe we're being
But,
too
I
nice.
said-
No, we
no.
like what he like. It's cool if you take accountability,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you're not a good coach.
Oh, damn.
No, I want to address the group. That was funny.
That was fucking
I want to
hilarious.
address you two, not really you, more
But what
you
the fuck?
specifically, because Joe Mazzulla. Joe was gonna harp on Joe Mazzulla. He really doesn't like Joe. Yeah,
He hates Joe Mazzulla.
I don't hate Joe Mazzulla. It's just he's not a good
No,
coach.
he hasn't shown. He's shown his youth. He's shown his
The Sixers
rookie
series should have ended sooner.
Yeah, he showed his ability. He's a rookie.
Should
So
the Bucks
Sixers
series
should've-
should have ended sooner without Middleton? Should the Heat series should have ended sooner last year when we had a more talented team?
it's still Giannis.
Did you have a
Well,
more
Spo is
talented
Spo.
team last year?
I'm saying more talented than the Heat.
Spo.
This team's more talented because it's Brogdon.
You'll never
You
beat
guys should
Spo
have
in
closed
5.
out Atlanta earlier. You should have closed
agree.
out Philly earlier. Philly did not get Joel Embiid, bro. That was
I
not
know.
MVP
Al Horford-
Embiid.
I mean,
But
we
was
say
that-
this, but
was
we
Al
can't pretend
Horford
like
playing
Philly wasn't a
phenomenal.
game away from closing it out themselves.
I know that, but I think that
Could you play
Boston it shouldn't have been that serious.
Yeah.
Where do you want to plug it in?
over there? No, sorry, down here, below your waist.
Hey, Mazzulla's gonna get a lot of the blame. Tatum's gonna get some blame. Star player. He hasn't played good in the full court. That's fine. He'll get better. He's 25, 26.
All right, talk to me, because I already.
Let's
know
talk
this
about
is coming.
Jaylen
I knew
Brown.
this was coming.
Let's really, because this is what's hilarious to me about the Jaylen Brown discourse. I've been telling y'all about this man. For
Oh,
some
go
time
to
now.
hell!
Stop,
Go to
stop,
hell, bro!
stop. And that's why Dehls, because he
Because
knows.
you went to
'cause he
fucking.
knows.
You were in
He
hiding
knows.
I'm
all
trying
this
to go to hell.
season
He-
and last
He
season.
was.
Listen.
He was.
No,
You were
I've been
ghost.
telling you about this
You're taking a
man.
victory lap on a.
I'm
you're
not taking a
losing me.
victory lap.
Bro,
I'm
I've
trying
been
to
telling
talk-
you
All right.
that's the
I
integral
can't-
line for
Dehls, can I-
victory
when am I
lap.
going to get?
I know your thoughts on Jaylen Brown.
I
I'm
think
well
he's
aware.
I think he's a fine young player. I think
So
he
you say
is.
fine young man.
He's also very
He's a
handsome.
good-looking
He's
dude.
very handsome. Nobody's very
No.
handsome, big broad shoulders. Good looking man. Nobody's denying that. I think he's a really good young player. I think he deserved all NBA. He was on my NBA team. So the hate for Jaylen Brown does not teeter away from the respect. I thought he was an all NBA player. But what he has shown you in this run, in this series specifically, what he's shown you in the playoffs is he's not a consistent defender. Off ball, he's dog shit. He's still limited as a playmaker. And at times, as an offensive player, he just puts his head down and goes to the basket. He takes ill-advised shots. And this is what I was trying to explain to you about how sometimes he is a one-dimensional basketball player. He has teetered away from the defense he used to play early in his years, which is understandable. When your offense goes up, usually your defense kind of takes a hit. But he's never been good on ball, off ball. He's dropped as an all-ball defender. I don't know what he works on in the offseason because he's still a horrible playmaker and a horrible
scoring.
clearly because he's still a horrible playmaker,
He is.
a horrible decision maker, and
Dribbling?
I don't know. He can dribble, he cannot. It's weird. Like sometimes he can, sometimes he can't. It's odd. And this is the thing. You're about to pay $300 million to a player that is a one-dimensional player. So that's why I asked Dehls, what's your thoughts on maybe getting an established player? Because we can put all the blame on Jason Tatum. He's a superstar. He gets a bulk of the blame. He doesn't show up in the fourth in this series. But Jason Tatum has shown us that he will get better every single year. He has shown us the work ethic. He has shown us he comes in improved damn near every year he's been in the league. And for the most part, I can guarantee that he's going to give me that elite level play in the regular season and in the playoffs. He's going to be a good playmaker. He's going to be a good rebounder. He has his shortcomings, fine, but
Did you say
he
Tatum
gets
was better
better.
last year than this year?
I
I personally feel that way, but I'm
thought he was
wondering
better
how you-
last year.
In the regular
in
season, he was better
you're saying
this
the
year.
playoffs or
Just in
Playoffs,
general, I look
yes.
in totality. I think Jason Tatum was more impressive last year than this.
if you get swept, then yeah.
Playoffs, I think last year, I mean, he broke the record for most turnovers at last year in the playoffs. So
But
He
I
did
look
just
at
have a
Yeah,
50-point game.
he
in
did,
seven
he
games.
did.
series.
But I look
that's
at
what I'm
that
saying.
game.
I think, and then you look at Marcus Smart, he's still not a true one. He has his
He isn't.
moments
He isn't.
does.
where he can show you that, but he's not a consistent true one. Brogdon is dog shit on defense. Let's just call
Yeah,
it what
I
it
don't
is.
know what
In the
fuck happened
playoffs,
with
he
him,
has
bro.
not been able to defend a man at all. Derek White is good defensively, though. He was inconsistent in the playoffs too. And for somebody coming off an all-defensive team, you would want him to play much better defensive. Rob Will is a problem because he is still a liability offensively. Also, he's always banged up. And then defensively, he's great, but he doesn't give you that offense that you need him to. So sometimes you cannot play him in certain situations. Al Horford is old. I ain't really going to dig in too deep into that. But
Rob Will was he's basically perfect from the field. This ECF,
He's
this
dunking.
playoff
he's
run.
dunking the ball in lane.
But you're saying he's limited.
He is.
Well, he
he's
is
a lob
limited.
threat.
They can't
He's a
play
lob
him
threat.
sometimes.
And his free
Sometimes.
throws percentage has
Sometimes
Yeah,
they
it's
cannot.
drastically
Sometimes they
lower.
cannot play him. They can't play him sometimes. And I think it's deeper than the Stars. I mean, the Stars are playing like shit. Yeah, but from top to bottom, this Boston team has a lot more errors than we usually thought. And in the regular season, some certain teams kind of like we saw with the Utah Jazz, they kind of could hide a lot of their flaws in the regular season, win a lot of games, and then in the playoffs it gets heightened. Not saying they're the Boston Celtics or the Utah Jazz, but for this year specifically, they hit a lot of their flaws because they won a lot of regular season games, and we're now seeing this blunder is more. It's mental, yes, but a lot of it is actual ability on the court, and it's a lot of the players that they have on the court. This team has been together the core has been together for over 4 to 5 years. There should be no reason why you are having mental lapses late in your core's time together. There should be no reason why defensively you cannot figure out how to lock in when you have been a great defensive team. You know how to get that. Mazzulla is a bad coach. I'm not disputing that. But you know how to play defense. All you know how to play defense. All you know how to buy in defensively. So I think to blame Mazzulla, which he's going to be the scapegoat no matter what, you need to start looking at the players that's been here for 4 or 5 years, that's been playing together, that should know each other from top to bottom. I mean, you look at Golden State is a championship winning team. Steve Kerr's been there a long time, but Steph, Clay, and Dre, for the most part, when they're there, they know top to bottom what to do. They know top to bottom what they can do. They know each other they just know each other very well. Tatum and Brown know each other very well. Smart knows very well. Al Horford, Rob Will, and they continue to have these mental laps with the same exact players, no matter the coach. We can blame Mazzulla. Udoka was there. They had mental laps. He played fucking drop coverage against the greatest shooter ever. I don't know. Okay, Brad Stevens, apparently he wasn't man enough. He didn't have the locker room. Okay, fine, but they're still doing the same shit they've been doing. We got to start looking at these players, and now they're about to pay $300 million to a second star that cannot do a lot of things on the offense on the court. And then they got Rob Will out there who can barely play sometimes. He's always banged up. Offensively, he's a liability. Marcus Smart is a point guard that's not really a point guard. Malcolm Brogdon is a scoring guard that cannot defend. He's 6'5". So it's more issues stemmed with this Boston team than we really like to talk about. And I think that is going to be hidden because we're going to talk about Mazzulla flopping. We're going to talk about Tatum being a fraud. When in reality, it's deeper than just Jason Tatum and Joe Mazzulla.
2 things to say. One, Joe Mazzulla, I don't think he's a top 10 coach by any means, but I don't care who you are. If you're getting Marcus Smart 35, 30, 70 from the field, Tatum 45, 25 from 3, Brogdon 38, 25 from 3, Al Horford 37% from field, 23% from 3, Jaylen Brown 37% from the field, 10% from 3. I do not care how great of a coach you are. You're not fixing this. And the Celtics have been taking, I looked it up on NBA.com, have my tweet out there. The Celtics have taken more open threes than the Miami Heat and have made less of them. The Celtics are out here getting open looks. The scheme is working. They're getting guys open, and they are missing shots. Mazzulla is not perfect by any means. There's things I wish he would do better.
Dog shit is crazy.
But you cannot look at this series specifically against Miami and be like Mazzulla is the reason they lost.
I'll give you an example. Steve Kerr is a 4-time champion. He is a Hall of Fame coach. You cannot do nothing when you're $30 million shooting guard and your $40 million shooting guard are getting open looks and missing open shots. There's nothing you can do. And that's a veteran coach. Like, there's nothing you can do. So Mazzulla's not good. He's also a rookie. I think we forget that. But he hasn't been good. You know, his rotations have been spotty. He's just not that good.
Throughout playoff series.
Yeah, his adjustments aren't that great, but we got to really look at these players. They're the same, like outside of Brogdon, this is the same core. Core.
Where we can give a lot of slack to Mazzulla. He did make the adjustment to put Rob Will back into the lineup in that Sixers series, ended up being the difference in that Game 6 and that Game 7.
Put Jaylen Brown and Harden.
A little too late, though.
I mean, they won the series.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. They won, but it was late.
It was late, but nevertheless, better late than never. Ended up changing the entire series for them, put in their favor. They ended up moving on to the next round. They get swept. It was
Tatum.
Riv, I'm not going to combat anything you said because everything you said was pretty spot on. However, there is just – it's unfortunate that the Boston Celtics – unfortunate if you're a Celtics fan, of course. It's unfortunate that the Celtics were this great offense in the regular season, and it simply just has not carried over. Where the defense, yes, they are struggling defensively too. Jimmy Butler's getting his. All these role players are getting theirs, regardless of which way they want to score the basketball. It's hitting. The offense simply has not translated, and that's really the big issue because that's what they've harped on this entire season. And for them to not be that same offensive team, that's really what's been the biggest disappointment for the Boston Celtics.
And last thing, we can move on, but for the people, and Riv, you could answer this question too. If you want to trade Jaylen Brown, you don't want to pay him the money. Who are you going out there and getting?
Listen, there's not many players at that young age that you can tally with Tatum and then they can just run it off. But I think when you say the window is open for the Boston Celtics, I feel like, yeah, the window is open theoretically, but if they continue to keep making the same mistakes over and over again, How open is the window going to be?
But you're also, your window is you've gotten to the ECF every time these two were healthy.
And that's a problem. They've gotten to the ECF, they've made deep runs, and they still can't fix the issue. And I think that's like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are young, but they're old, as opposed to they've been in the playoffs. They have a lot of experience that most guys don't have in the Hall of Fame. So for them to have that type of experience and still can't fix mental lapses and issues like that, I think that's the issue. I mean, Dame is on the table, but I think the problem with Dame is Jaylen Brown's value isn't as high as certain, like I'm not saying you, but certain Celtics fans like to think. Jaylen Brown's value isn't that high, so you would need a little bit more to get Dame. And you mentioned his age, Dame, and it's going to kind of like you're pretty much stuck with paying Jaylen Brown.
Listen, I think what you said, Dehls, about getting Dame shortens the window to win now. And I think the window is always to win now, right now with the Celtics. The window is to win right now.
That's true.
I don't think that you can wait on this core to keep developing, because every year is championship or bust at this point. Like, that's the expectation from Boston.
As long as you have Tatum, it's championship or bust.
So you would trade Jaylen Brown for Damian Lillard?
I would do it. I would do it for Dame. I mean, Dame is a top 10 player in the league. That boosts you guys.
Jaylen Brown is 26 years old, and he's a top 25 basketball player.
True, but I don't know.
Guys are getting better every year.
Dame and Tatum, I think, can win a championship.
This series against the Heat is the worst that Jaylen Brown has been in the playoffs since he's been Jaylen Brown.
Like
the Jaylen Brown that we respect and acknowledge, or that the majority now respect and acknowledge. This series right here against the Heat, because last year he was the most consistent player for the Boston Celtics in the NBA playoffs. This year, all season long, he's been consistent up until this point, which is disappointing. This is the biggest part of the season. You want Jaylen Brown to be his best. But really, other than that, I don't want to change this tune on Jaylen Brown just off one series. I get it. That's the popular thing to do. It's understandable with how poor he's been, especially with these splits and the lack of aggression defensively as well. But he's 26 years old. He just made the All-NBA team for the first time. Don't hop off that train.
So let me ask you a question. Not comparing them as players. Screaming. Not comparing them as players at all. Jordan Poole had a great playoffs, right? Last year. He had a great regular season, great playoffs. He got paid, played like shit, right? He didn't come in, he didn't improve on anything. Jaylen Brown, not comparing the players, but Jaylen Brown was consistent in the postseason last year. Comes into this year. He still hasn't gotten better, but his offense, like his scoring bag, got better. Makes all NBA. Goes into the playoffs. You now can see his mental. I mean, I feel like, Drew, you've seen it, but you kind of like disregard it. His flaws.
Atlanta, against Philly, or specifically just in general?
Just in general. Because him as an off-ball defender has always been there.
I'm fine with you.
Him as a playmaker, it's been there. And I think
I've never said he's a good playmaker.
And I think the problem with that is you need another primary play. Like, Smart is supposed to be that.
He's only gotten better since coming into the league.
As a scorer.
Okay, though, but
that's like look at Denver.
Does he need to be a passer? I'm asking.
I think they need a secondary playmaker.
Okay, but realistically, Tatum really is ideally that, correct?
I think he's more the primary for them.
But the playmaker.
Playmaker.
Saying, okay, yes, because obviously he's the best scorer, but I'm saying also in terms of facilitating.
He's arguably the best playmaker on the team.
I agree with you there, but then you have Marcus Smart. Then you have Malcolm Brogdon.
That's where the problem is. You have Smart and Jaylen Brown.
Why are we making it now a Brown problem?
Well, I said it's both. I did say Smart and Jaylen Brown. I don't think it's
a problem to acknowledge that Brown has flaws in his game.
No, I'm fine with that. I agree with everything you're saying. Boston needs a secondary. But I mean, in the sense to defend Jaylen Brown's point is, there's not every player that's going to be the Tatum, and I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but I'm saying that can score, that can facilitate, that can play great defense. Ideally, Jaylen Brown's supposed to be a good defender. That's the one I won't excuse. He's only elevated himself as a scorer.
Yep.
And then passing the basketball, that's not been who he is. He's slightly gotten better, but that's not even saying anything because it's not really been that drastic of an improvement. But again, it should not be a case where he understands what his role is. I'm supposed to score the basketball. I'm supposed to play very solid defense. That's my role. And I'm the number 2 guy that they're going to rely on. I should not be in a position where I'm being criticized for my lack of playmaking when I'm supposed to have 3 other guys on this team that are supposed to make the basketball. The criticism can be he's not the same scorer that he's supposed to be, that he was this regular season. That's fine. And defensively, his off-ball, correct, is not that great. Not by any means. But again, he's only gotten better.
Name me a secondary option that is not a good playmaker, that's not a big man.
Can't name Paul George and Kawhi. Even Kawhi is an okay playmaker. Paul George is a good playmaker. Even Zion and B.I. B.I. is a great playmaker.
He's all right.
No, he's
great.
a great playmaker.
B.I. is definitely better playmaker than JB.
No, for sure. I mean, again, that's not saying much.
No, he's a great great playmaker. Even if you don't say
even
forwards,
Jamal Murray is a plus playmaker.
Luka and Brunson last year. Brunson's a plus playmaker.
No, for sure. Brunson, yeah, for sure.
Most secondary guys
Giannis
outside of bigs.
Middleton was a plus.
Drew Holiday, even if you want to add him, he's a plus play. Most secondary guys are outside of bigs are plus playmakers.
But again, I don't look at Jaylen Brown and just think that he's just bad at playmaking.
No, he's dog shit.
Okay, but then is Middleton a good playmaker?
Yes.
Compared to Brown.
Yes.
Okay, I guess
Middleton is the guy who
Jaylen Brown.
Really
it's not even playmaking. Like it
goes
to its decision making.
Middleton's a great playmaker.
The amount of times you see Jaylen Brown, and it happened in game 1 or game 2, where he just puts his head down. There are 4 or 5 Heat jerseys around him. Everyone else is wide the fuck open. He's trying to put up a shot. Like it's not even like making some insane pass to get a guy.
He never does it.
No, it's just you got to find the open. You could, because he has so much, not obviously gravity, not the right word, but when he attacks the rim, there are multiple defenders going after him.
That is gravity.
And he has, we talk about gravity.
Shit.
But when he attacks the rim, he has so much gravity towards him where he has the ability to kick out, and he doesn't. That's his biggest issue.
And that's just going as making a simple pass. And if he can't even do that at this stage of his career, come on.
But at the end of the day, if the Celtics, you could talk about playing at your averages all you want. Jaylen Brown cannot shoot 10% from 3 in a series.
That's where you lose me.
You know what I'm saying?
Like his 3-point percentage wasn't even good this year, right? It was like 32. 30.
Yeah, but 10%. We're talking about.
I'm with you.
But that's the issue. If scoring isn't there, he offers you virtually nothing.
That's why you look at,
especially right now.
Yes,
and look,
with his defense, with Anthony Davis, as it is,
his scoring isn't there. He offers you elite defense.
Fact.
Okay, listen. Also, Middleton only recently became a solid playmaker.
Yeah,
it's still early.
With Jaylen
I'm saying
Brown?
with Jaylen Brown.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Middleton's playmaking numbers are good, but he's
their primary guy.
He's their primary ball handler in that offense.
No, down the stretch, yes. Okay, but if we're gonna,
especially in that
thing with playmaking, I get it. We get very broad because if we're talking strictly passing, then fine. But playmaking, yes.
I mean, combination
scoring,
of both. Jaylen Brown
basket,
is getting carried by his scoring.
Correct.
And even that he's like, it's just one-on-one ISO.
I don't disagree.
Jaylen Brown he's not coming off pin down.
I don't disagree.
He's not using a pick and roll. I rarely see him call for it. He's just going.
I don't think I've ever seen him call for
I need this. I don't care who's here. I'm going.
I mean, before this series, it usually was cash.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why it's easy to get caught up in this, where he's having his worst.
That's why.
Jaylen Brown, and what I've noticed about Jaylen Brown too, he's a first half player. Like he gets it going.
That we've known that though.
But that's the thing. You as a secondary, when Jason Tatum was dog shit for 3 quarters, that's when Jaylen Brown was like, I got it. Don't worry. You need your secondary guy. When Kawhi went down, Paul George as a secondary guy said, I got it. We're going. That's what, and Jaylen Brown cannot do that because he cannot play make. He's not a great defender. He's a good rebounder. I ain't gonna say he's not. He's a really good rebounder.
This is the first time that we look at Jaylen Brown and say he's not a good defender, though.
No.
This is the first.
Riv's been on it.
No, last year he was a bad defender. You can't say that.
No, I thought he was. He used to be great. I thought he used to be great. He was good. I told you. I said he was good last year, but he's been bad off ball. And now this year he regressed again. He's been regressing back to back.
But he's had very firm performances. He has on ball this postseason.
But that's my problem with him. He's so, as a young player, like Anthony Edwards is on go at every
level.
But that's, young players shouldn't be doing that.
Recognized.
Jason Tatum, even when he has his things, he's still on go every possession. As a young player, Jaylen Brown should not be taking plays or possessions off. He's not even good at screen navigation. He's not good off ball. Like, it's multiple. As a POA defender, he's good.
He definitely gives up
easily. And it's a problem. It's definitely a problem at number 2.
He gives up when he gets screened.
Oh yeah, he's not great for number 2.
Yeah, and it's like it gets lost in the sauce because they win so much and they go far because they're so talented. And Jason Tatum's so great, and they have these role players that are really good, and they've been running off talent for a long time. Let's just call it what it is.
His playmaking has kind of improved.
You're looking at assists. I need you.
I am just solely. That's it. I'm not going to say he's not.
Ultimately, I think.
But I also know what I watch, but then I want the numbers to back it up too.
Yeah, he's not a good playmaker, sadly.
No, he's not. But I'm saying he's improved, which not saying much.
I said Franz is better than Jaylen Brown.
What I see from Jaylen Brown is just somebody that doesn't want to be in Boston anymore. I think that he wants to.
This all this time.
I think he wants his own team. I do.
I don't know. He was in the Philly series. He was calling out the fans, saying, "Bring the energy." Like, I don't know. I feel like there was a time, but But I think once he made All NBA, he said, "I'm gonna get $300 million here. Maybe I should embrace the fans."
Well,
in
we'll
the
see.
city.
We'll see if he definitely takes it or if he says, I
Listen,
still want
if
to get out of here.
if Jaylen Brown wants to make it easy on
Takes her to
Boston,
get out of here. Oh.
that's crazy. If Jaylen Brown wants to make it easy for Boston and Brad Stevens in the front office, he could just request a trade, and this whole situation is thrown out the window. Because okay, move
And
on.
how I look at it, if I'm any team, no way Jaylen Brown could be my number one. There's just no way.
He can't be.
I
love Jaylen Brown.
Respect to Jaylen Brown. He's great. He's all NBA. I swear to God, I'd rather have Cade Cunningham running the offense, and I haven't seen much. But
I'd
he's
have
a better
Mikal
player.
Bridges running my offense. That's a good take.
Caleb Martin is
I don't
6
know.
for 6 from the field.
Mikal, you watch more of him. Is he a good player? He had a lot of
He's
his
a
shit
plus playmaker.
Should
Okay.
never tweeted about him.
a lot of his buckets was like all pin downs and shit. So
Mikal's definitely a plus playmaker. He's not a horrible playmaker.
Yeah.
He's not.
I ain't gonna speak on Mikal. I don't watch much of Mikal. I hate the Nets.
We're gonna have that conversation is gonna pop up next year for sure.
I mean, Mikal was OD when he came to the Nets.
And he's an elite defender.
He is an elite defender.
That's what Boston needs right now. They need somebody that's gonna play their role and not complain
Let's play the right
and
way.
talk about touches.
I don't know, man. I remember.
Bridges.
Would you still pushing that Jaylen Brown better than PG shit?
When was I pushing that?
I thought you were last year.
It's a good thing Paul George is
Hey.
a small forward.
Couldn't
Jaylen Brown's a real reality small forward, but I'll let
Not
it
to me.
pass.
He's a 2-guard.
He is a forward.
Makes sense. Hey, John, Zach LaVine and Jaylen Brown, same human?
Oh my God.
minus the hype.
Minus the hype.
I'm not disagreeing. I like Levine.
Love
He might be spitting.
I'm not disagreeing. Like
That's not crazy.
to say
They used to be.
Jalen Brown and Levine are the same players. A compliment to Jalen Brown.
I promise you, it's not.
It is.
Levine's a great player.
What do we mean?
It's
Respect
Jaylen Brown.
him.
We used to have. Okay, this is why it's not a compliment. When we used to have top
I don't think
25,
they're the same player. I think what John's saying is that they're similar tiers.
No, he's calling them the same player.
I don't think he's saying they have similar skill sets.
Jaylen Brown used to be top 20, 25. Fact, right?
Jalen Brown, he still is.
But I'm saying Zach was never top 25. I think he was like top 30, 35 player.
Maybe.
So then-
I think what John is saying is Jaylen Brown's getting overrated and he's really in that Zach LaVine tier.
I'll be honest.
That's what I
Caleb
think
Martin
he's
deserves the what
What's
are they called? The
Eastern
ECF?
Conference MVP?
Yeah, he deserves Arjun Bell.
My goodness.
Not
He's
crazy.
cooking, yeah, isn't he?
He's 6 for 6.
Threes or just
He already
Just
has
field
the
goals.
over on the 12
He's got
points,
14.
I believe.
Knew that.
Or he has 12.
Yeah.
Exactly.
who's guarding him?
Gabe Vincent has 11.
Shit, I wish I could tell you. I mean,
This is-
Tatum. He's gotten a couple on Tatum for sure.
He
We're
only
gonna
has
read
6,
some
bro. How much?
Superchats.
No, it's 6 for 6 from the
That's what
field.
I'm
He's
saying.
got 14.
What's a couple?
1 or 2.
Pick a side meme goes, you know what's crazy? The Warriors and Lakers finished with the same amount of wins in the WCF.
Oh shit!
Wow.
That sounds like a bitter fan. Yeah,
Josh
that's interesting.
Boateng.
Like you wouldn't even say something that low and
I'm just
dumb.
happy I didn't win. You know.
Josh
Okay.
Boateng goes quotations. All greats get at least one game. Andrew Velez.
I don't disagree.
So
Hey,
LeBron not great?
my goat tried. He tried his fucking hardest. 40
we
We're
were
points.
wasting because LeBron.
We were begging for the Joker to get one last year.
Yeah,
like
facts.
begging, like bro, just get one, bro.
Listen. He gave his all.
Even DeMar got one.
Every game was close. Just couldn't pull it out, man.
This from Micah Smith. This is my favorite podcast by far. Keep up the great
Hey.
content. Keep rocking, youngins.
Shut up, Micah.
Pick a side meme. Lakers in 8.
That's rude.
I saw that. I don't understand that though. Lakers in 8.
Lakers
It'd
in
be-
9.
It would be
makes
Lakers
sense.
in 9.
Wait a minute. Put John on the show. Respect John.
You know what, John? Here you go, bud.
John hasn't
Since
gotten.
as an honor as a member of Lakers family and the rivalry that has been John Tortorelli and Andrew Velez this playoffs, I feel like I have to bow my head to John,
do what
give him
now?
that respect. Hey, show some respect. All right, please. I'm trying to have a moment here for John. He deserves this. I'm gracious. I'm very humble in defeat. So John, mic's yours. Have fun for 2 minutes.
Drew has to use the bathroom.
He sure does have to use the bathroom.
I'm rolling over. Go ahead. Pause.
Wavy knockout. Huge Celtics fan. Where do they
Wavy.
go from here? Do they break up Tatum and Brown? Damian Lillard possibly.
What's up with you in the light?
Well, we talked about this for a while.
We did.
We did.
I don't. John, do you think they should trade Jaylen Brown for Damian Lillard? Pay him $214 million till he's like 39 years old.
No,
Damn is eating.
no, because Dame's gonna be 34 next year. But I'm sick and tired of the Jaylen Brown hype. How he's first team All NBA. I think he's worth the $300 million. He's earned it. But if I'm the Celtics, I don't feel great about paying him $300 million because like when he's not scoring, like you alluded to before, he can be a liability for you.
What's the alternative?
Defensively too.
What's the alternative?
There is no alternative. That's why it's not the most. I think here's the issue with the best duos in the league, and this is why I think Jokic and Murray fit so well together. You want to be able to complement one another's strengths and weaknesses.
That's facts.
And they just overlap, Tatum and Brown, right? There's not an elite playmaker. And so I always think to myself, what if you put a prime Rajon Rondo in this offense, right? What would they look like? I think it'd be way more fluid. And I think a lot of the stagnant offense, it comes down to not only Brown not being able to pass or make a read. It's also, I think Tatum is at an inflection point in his career where, like a lot of these star wings, LeBron, KD, they need to develop that back to the basket game and become unstoppable offensive players, right? And I think for Tatum, that's the one thing he can do it, but it's not a comfort level consistently.
All right, John, to the Nuggets.
On to the Nuggets?
Yeah, talk
Talk
the
your shit.
jersey on.
Hey,
Show them the
Nuggets
jersey.
guy.
Oh, yeah, you know the
You
deal.
told me Nuggets in 4. I was like, you're
I
crazy,
did.
bro.
We're saving the Jamal Murray jersey. The tough thing is you get the damn James Harden jersey on the wall, so I feel like it's the wall of shame now. Like I can't put the Jamal Murray jersey
Wall
up
of
there because
shame's
he's
nuts.
actually done something in the playoffs. He's been to the finals, unlike James Harden. But I mean, look, Drew, that Laker team you guys have is special. I don't think you break it apart because the realistic part is if you guys won the third quarter, you could have been up 3-1 in this series, but you didn't. I think what they have now with the young core, that is something to build off of. But it's really going to come down to LeBron. If he wants Kyrie Irving, you got to appease to him because I think they'll be back next season. But for Denver,
I love Payne Watson, man. Just FYI. Love Payne.
He's getting the Jonathan Kuminga treatment. He's getting an A for a project he's done nothing for.
Yeah.
But
Fuck it,
appreciate you giving the time, Drew. Thank you.
That parade is going to be fire.
Oh, it's,
Listen,
I want
as
to go
long
to
as
it.
the Lakers have Austin
I want it.
Reeves, I'll have a chance.
Oh.
And by the way, is Austin Reeves the third best player in a championship team? Or not? Yes, but is he the third best player in a contender?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I wasn't there for that.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
ready to
was
say.
there.
I was
yes.
called crazy.
Bro, what do
It
you
was the
mean?
worst take of the year.
What do you mean?
Congrats, John. That was a great one for you.
Hello?
I'm not
Be
ready to
cooking.
say yes.
Why?
Well, it wasn't. It was just one of my many.
After last year when the
Folded
Warriors
with
won a
the
championship,
Cavs.
were you ready to say that about
You
Jordan
folded
Poole?
together, though. It's okay.
All right, John.
I want to see one more year from Reeves after he gets paid. That's what I want to see.
It would be almost poetic if he has a Jordan Poole-esque year.
Oh, if he does, listen, I'll throw a fucking party.
Yeah, I
He's
know
gonna be
you're
saying
praying.
year 4. Reeves,
You're on your
whatever,
hands and
year
knees.
3.
What's year 4? How old is Reeves?
Is this year 3 for Reeves?
Should be year 4, right?
I mean, not talking.
Because I think when it comes to these
no,
players,
no. This is year 2.
year 2 for Austin Reeves.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
How old is he?
He's gonna be 25 next season.
Oh, Poole got time.
I just think that when it comes to
Reeves is 24.
when it comes to players that are young that perform in the playoffs, there tends to be overreaction around them. I think the recent example of that is Tyler Hero in the bubble with the Heat. And I want to see more than one playoffs.
Tyler Hero is like one of the main reasons why people call the bubble a fluke.
I
It's
think
upsetting.
with Reeves, for me personally, I want to see him more on ball. I think he played a lot of off ball action, and he, no disrespect to him,
Saying
but
Reeves?
yeah, I think he was
He
good.
excelled as an
Yeah,
off-ball
and he was
defender for
feeding
sure.
he was feeding off AD and LeBron. Nothing wrong with it. He was great in that role, and I think I want to see him next year more on ball, like Jordan Poole. Like Jordan Poole's a
You're saying
lot
offensively or defensively? I'm
Offensively.
sorry. Got it.
because Jordan Poole's on ball a lot, so I would like to see that more from. Give him more
No,
responsibility.
I hope the Lakers go into this offseason with the mindset that Austin Reeves is our point guard. That's what I want to see.
6'6",
But
solid.
I thought you were
could
talking
defend.
about defending because defensively, Austin Reeves really great off-ball defender.
Yeah.
On ball, he was getting fried whenever he was on Jamal.
think he's a
Really,
bit
but
overrated in that
Yeah, I think
department.
the on ball, it could.
He's a good
definitely
team
improve,
defender.
But off ball, he's
Yeah.
excellent.
This from Josh Boateng. Oh, by the way, Curry hasn't been swept before.
No, I love this because LeBron James has never blew a 3-1 lead.
No. Curry's also never lost under 6 games. Credit to
Excellent.
him.
So 6
is
games
from-
is still a W.
No, he goes out with a fight.
Okay,
It's just
it's cute.
Avery Roberts. Shout out to the Massachusetts mouth breakers or mouth breathers. Hashtag Heat and 4.
That's rude.
Keep on
Massachusetts
polishing
mouth
them Jim Crow rings.
Holy
Love
shit.
the
Oh
pod.
my god!
Oh my god. That was rude.
What the hell is wrong with this guy?
Anthony Saldana. Joel, do you still think that if they were healthy, the KD Kyrie Nets would beat the Celtics in a 7-game series? Also, who got winning tonight? I do think if they were healthy, they'd beat the Celtics in a 7-game series.
The same Celtics who were 10-1 in the last 11 against the Nets.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
The same Celtics that are down 0-3 against the Heat.
The same
He'd
Nets
destroy
that
y'all.
just got swept.
Those weren't the same Nets, actually.
Don't care. Got swept.
And there's Mikal Bridges Nets.
Yeah,
Nets.
you're Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges played amazing in that series. Did you see him? He was
He
fantastic.
got swept.
Played better than Jaylen Brown is playing right now.
Fucking Gabe Vincent is playing better than Jaylen Brown.
Q Bugavelli. The media disrespect for Denver comes from them not being ready to acknowledge Joker as the best player in the league, so it's a trickle-down effect.
Okay, that's fair.
Verified Elijah. I think the Lakers don't need Kyrie. They need to keep Rui and Reeves. Also, what if the Lakers can get Gigi Jackson or Keontae George with the 17th pick in the draft?
Praying
And then do what with him?
GMs have a mental lapse. Case and Wallace falls to us.
I'm gonna be honest. Those are project players. I'm the Lakers. I'm looking at Kobe Jones,
Jordan Hawkins.
Yes, I'm looking at players.
Jordan
that
Hawkins
contribute
is
now.
there. That is all day.
Jalen Clark.
Yo, also, I'm saying this now. Max Christie will have an increased role next year. I firmly believe that.
Okay.
I'm telling you now. I know. I'm letting you know. Max Christie
Mojo
will
sent
be.
you that notification, huh?
Say that one more time.
Mojo sent you that notification.
Did they? Maybe.
They sent me a notification that because I have him on my watch list.
As you
He's
should.
up. He's up 12%
He should be
because of the news of LeBron maybe retiring.
Okay, that's not my impact. It's solely
So
for
Max Christie
Yeah.
is LeBron retired.
I know,
Yeah, 'cause he
they
would
say
get more
place him in
minutes.
fluid
Yeah.
Position, correct. No, I just think that with his skill set going into year 2, if we have some excommunications, he'll have his opportunity and he'll have success.
You guys get Jordan Hawkins lit.
Bro, that'd be OD. That would be OD.
Marcus Sasser, something like that. He's good too.
Okay.
Can we acknowledge that the Knicks gave Miami 2 games compared to the Bucks and Celtics 1 game? Let that sink in.
Jimmy Butler missed a game.
That's what the Bucks fans be saying. We can't allow that, so we're gonna just not say that.
Pick a side meme goes Tatum is booty cheeks.
So that Pigside meme's been on his bullshit recently.
So I was when the Warriors
James
lose.
Paul.
Yeah.
He's angry.
You guys
Where
are
does
exactly the
Tatum
same.
rank now that we've learned he is a laid down artist and clearly panics when the pressure
He's
is
still
on?
top 8 in the
He's
world.
still, I was gonna say top 7 still.
Yo, people are hilarious. Remember fucking a week ago when he drops 14 game 6 and then 50
50.
game 7?
Somebody,
I think the fourth quarter. Of
yeah,
game
we
6,
thought
that
it was
is.
gonna be the he was gonna have 40. He just can't.
He had 30 game 1 and 2, didn't he? And
He would have 40 if he scored in the fourth.
This is from Danny L.
just
Shout
can't.
out
What's
to you
wrong with
boys.
this guy,
Been
man?
following y'all for over
It's
a year.
hacked.
I just recently finished my
Most forward
master's.
still.
Hold on, let bros.
Sorry.
Come on, what the
Sorry.
hell's going on? Start over.
Shout out to you guys. Been following y'all for over a year. I just recently finished my master's.
Hey, congrats,
Drew,
bro.
sorry to kick you when you're down, but Jokic overdude with the unibrow.
I can laugh at
Congrats.
that because
Congrats,
obviously, congrats to you for getting your masters. That's extremely impressive. But hey, it's all right. I can sit with reality. I'm again, like I've said, I feel like I'm a pretty humble loser. That's facts. Jokic definitely proved that.
Q Bugavelli. If Ainge pulled the trigger on AD or Kawhi 2018, the Celtics might have one ring already. Both trades were on the phone waiting for an answer.
The AD
Tate-
trade's
oh,
not
AD.
happening because you're trading Tatum. So
Kawhi
Joel
didn't wanna
obviously
go to
was about to
Boston.
say that.
Hmm?
Kawhi would have left too.
Yeah, Kawhi
But
didn't
AD
want to
would
go
have
to
left
Boston.
too.
Y'all might have got the ring. I mean, sorry, y'all might have got a ring. Kawhi
We
was
had to
getting
trade
that win.
Tatum?
I was bringing that ring to the Boston, man.
You would have had to trade Tatum for both trades.
Yeah. I'm
Oh.
straight.
Oh yeah, nah, yeah, all right, that's cool.
AD was most definite you had to trade
Yeah.
Tatum.
That shit was not happening.
They didn't have Brown at the time.
They did, but Brown wasn't Brown.
Yeah, he was up and coming,
What was the
Very
trade for
raw.
AD? It was Kuzma,
From us, it was cool.
Kuzma, Ingram,
No,
Lonzo.
no.
Jaylen
Kuz
Brown
was still on the
just drove
team.
to the
We
rim and
chose-
threw the ball 4
It was
rows
the
into
choice of
fucking
Kuz
Ingram.
or BI.
Ingram, Lonzo.
And we
Well,
said BI. I hate us to this day.
Bi wasn't gonna be who he's gonna be with you guys.
I disagree with that. I
You
disagree
were
with
gonna
that.
make him.
Do you want to know why I disagree with
Kyle
that?
Kuzma
Do you want to know why I disagree with that? Because LeBron James and Brandon Ingram, you can look up that second half, that 20.
But you're bringing in AD now.
I get it, but my point being is, you look at the way that LeBron and BI were playing together, and the way that BI was playing when LeBron was out. I firmly believe BI would have elevated still because he's playing with LeBron. He would have only gotten better. I don't think that he would have been a spot up 3
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know a young player that's gotten better playing with LeBron outside of AD.
Kyrie.
Yeah, that's true. Kyrie's different though. His game was just fit perfectly.
Did you hear what he said?
Who?
Rui,
We're serious.
Austin Reeves.
Oh, we're dead ass.
I am dead ass
Role players.
that have gotten better.
Bi is a star.
He is a star.
Come on,
He is a
respect him.
star. Yes, I do.
Kyrie
respect him.
just fit
I'm the one that
perfectly.
respected Brandon Ingram when he was on the Lakers before he blew up with the Pelicans.
Didn't know you then.
You knew me. You didn't know me.
Exactly.
Josh Boateng, Arsenal bottled the Premier League. LeBron got swept. Drew,
Screw him
are
for
you
that.
okay?
You know what? All right,
Jeez.
let me not say. I apologize for saying screw you because I didn't hear the end of the statement, so I do apologize. No, I'm not okay. He did put a laughing emoji, so maybe my statement stands. But Arsenal choked. That hurt terribly. Lakers, I was in pain, bro. Last night was hard. Last night was really difficult.
James Paul goes, are we getting Joel Moran's predictions for the finals so I know who to put my life savings on for the opposite? That's why I might just have to pick the Heat, man.
You hate to
I
do it.
might just have to pick them. Pick
guy's
a side
real
meme.
shameless.
Drew, my newest video was made with so much love.
Don't know if I believe that.
No. But it's okay. Again, I understand. I was very high on us. Shit, we played well. We just could not come out with some dubs. That's all right.
Zach Preeb goes, AD at his best is better than Jokic, quotations. Worst take in this pod's history. Also, Riv looking cute.
Thanks.
I don't know if it's the worst take. I'm still fine with it. AD was fucking
No,
phenomenal.
I would say coming out of that series, no one was like looking at
Who
you
said that?
crazy.
Who said that?
What?
AD at his best is
Yeah, who sent that one?
Zach Preeb.
Thanks, Jack.
It was more so AD was so dominant offensively. You're like, if he goes in here and is able to slow down Jokic and then give you what he normally does offensively, and you go on to win a title, in hindsight, it's like, okay, we're bugging. But
Q Bugavelli. Now the trades were for Brown and picks. Literally, go back and check.
I feel like AD was definitely Tatum.
No, AD was
Tough one.
Tatum.
Yeah, Kawhi.
Kawhi might have
wasn't
been.
because you knew it was a rental.
That makes sense.
But
You
AD
still
was
would have had
definitely-
Tatum, right? You had a ring.
Maybe.
So now this next segment, shout out to Mojo, the sports stock market. We are going to be picking a player whose stock is up during the playoffs and talk about that said player because there are a lot of players that are playoff risers right now. So Dehls, I want to start off with you. Who are you going to talk about right now?
I almost feel like I'm stealing my brother's shine.
You are, but
because
it's okay.
he has been on Mr. Austin Reeves for months now, saying that he's not a regular player, saying that he could be the third best on a championship team, pushing
That's
all
also
of
dumb.
this Austin
Better.
Reeves propaganda. And I was hesitant at first, but what I saw him do in the Western Conference Finals, averaging 20, being by far and away the third best player on this Lakers team. Not only did he show he could do it in the playoffs, but now you go invest him on Mojo, and he's getting a bag. He's getting 80, 90, maybe $100 million. So if whether it's the Lakers re-sign him or another team giving him that money, you know he's going to be an integral part in their team and their offense. And I think Austin Reeves is just a start for him.
Austin Reeves in these playoffs is up 47.16%.
Going crazy.
In the last month. That's the last month alone. So the playoffs are a little bit before then, but in the last month, he's up 47%. And when he gets the bag this offseason, it's just going to go higher.
I wish that I could reciprocate the nice gesture that you just showed me talking about a player on the Celtics, but with respect and love, and no one has elevated with you guys, unfortunately.
Payton
so-
Pritchard had some good minutes.
So what I'm going to do is talk about Caleb Martin, like I did earlier in the
I hate
show.
that, man.
For him to improve and play this well from the regular season to the postseason has been unbelievable. From I believe in the last month he's up in the last week or the last month he's up $5. Went from $44 to $49. I think now with the way that he's playing, I think he's almost at $50 firm. He's been fantastic. This ECF averaging over 19 points per game, over 60% from the field, over 40. I think 46, almost 47. 48, one of those 3-point percentage. He's been fantastic. One of the key contributors to this Miami Heat team. I get it. It's been Jimmy Butler's team. But then it has to come to a point where we're not just giving credit to Jimmy Butler and Eric Spoelstra. These other role players have been fantastic. And at the forefront, in my opinion, has been Caleb Martin.
Caleb Martin is at $50 flat now because he's having a great game 4 performance right now.
He's perfect from the field.
I don't like that, man.
You should go in front of me.
You know, I'm going to go with two players that I want to highlight. You know, I want to highlight these two players. When we talk about playoff risers at the point guard position, look no further than Jamal Murray and Jalen Brunson. Jamal Murray on Mojo in these playoffs is up 44%. Jalen Brunson is up 16%. I think it should be a little high. That's a disservice to Jalen Brunson because he was spectacular in the playoffs. But Jamal Murray, somebody who thought that Jamal Murray thought that he was damaged goods after tearing his ACL. The fact that he's come back from that, comes into the playoffs and plays at a superstar level, and now we're putting him into conversations with all NBA performers because he's been that good, is a service to his work ethic. And Jamal Murray is a real deal. I'm sniffing an all-star appearance soon from Jamal Murray.
That's a good one.
You're right, bro?
Yeah, my eyes just got real
Yeah,
red.
facts.
Yeah. I'm good though.
You getting
All right.
emotional watching Tatum hit back-to-back threes?
Did he? No, I'm just getting emotional because this Miami Heat run has just been so special. And you talked about playoff risers. I'm going to talk about the biggest playoff riser in the NBA right now. Probably the best player right now in the playoffs. Jimmy Butler, man. I mean, his stock is good now, but when he wins that ring, and yes, this is me telling you my answer, when he does win the 2023 championship and he puts on a magnificent performance, his mojo numbers are going to only go up. And this isn't going to stop.
He's up 31%.
He's 33 years old. This isn't going to stop. This is a Jimmy Butler that doesn't rely too much on his athleticism. He's very simple, straight to the point. And Miami is a situation where they bring in undrafted guys. They got Spo. They got Pat Riley. They always stay relevant. And I think Jimmy Butler is definitely the guy I would invest in because he's one of the best players in the playoffs back-to-back years. And he's finally going to hold that trophy up and do what he's been working for since he was a child.
Nikola Jokic.
I like that.
Nikola Jokic in these playoffs is up 17%. He's been historic. Mojo already valued him very, very high because two back-to-back MVPs. We know that the numbers scream that he's one of the best offensive players of our generation of all time. But these playoffs, he's elevated it up 17%, and his share price is already in like the hundreds range. I think it's in the 300s range.
His price is $377.
Yeah, he's almost at $400, and for him to move up that much in these playoffs is a testament to how great he's been. But I like all you guys' picks. Austin Reeves is going to get a bag. Caleb Martin is a good player. And right now, Dehls seems very excited about this game for a game.
Celtics are playing well right now.
Jalen Brown just had back-to-back steals.
There you go.
Yeah,
He didn't play
he's locked in
defense, Ray.
defensively, boy. Stop playing with his name. Disrespectful ass.
Couldn't tell you how not moved that was by that.
So these are these players, how much they've risen on Mojo. But do you guys have any other players that you think that have kind of outplayed their role in these playoffs?
I mean, outside of Austin Reeves, of course.
Rui played really well.
I thought De'Aaron Fox played extremely well in the first round.
De'Aaron.
Facts. It's okay.
Darren Fox was amazing for sure.
One-
I think
I'm just
Rui's
gonna say
another one where
Fox.
Rui
Yeah.
definitely outplayed his role.
Michael Porter Jr. has been phenomenal. and was
Moses Moody
phenomenal.
wasn't up there, but I thought he played really, really well in his role.
An
Such a limited
acknowledgement
sample
of
size.
an acknowledgement of MPJ. I feel like something that was talked about that was a negative about him was his ability to play defense. I feel like he's shown this playoffs that he's been a great two-way player for his role. And you and I already acknowledge how great of a shooter that he is. But really what has taken him and taken his game that needs more appreciation is his locked in self on defense.
I think how dope it is to Kyle Lowry's back end of his career to just
Be like
put up
this.
his all-time ranking
Y'all
and just
didn't feel
keep
that?
doing his thing. Huh?
What are you talking about, Dallas?
Oh my god.
Now Kyle Lowry's been exceptional in these playoffs.
Yo,
Yo,
Bruce.
bam.
I would say all the role
Bam,
players on the
unfortunately,
Heat,
wasn't
all the
rising.
role players on the Nuggets.
He wasn't rising.
When
I
checked,
feel like because this is
his
what
numbers
Bam
aren't.
is.
Yeah.
And I feel, and I want that
Bruce
to be a
Brown's
respectful
one.
statement because my issue has always been that he's a 2010
Oh.
kind of guy, great defense, but in the playoffs, he's not really elevating. He's shown that he just needs to be him. Just play like Bam Adebayo. It will lead to being
Don't
successful.
let us get one.
I look at Denver.
Score.
Upset.
MPJ was a great
You always
name. We
upset.
know Jamal Murray is who he
We're just down
is.
9.
Bruce Brown outplayed his role for sure.
KCP,
Bruce Brown was amazing. KCP was amazing.
44% from three.
I'll look over to the East. The Knicks is just Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett. I think RJ Barrett gets
RJ
grouped
Barrett's a
into
great
that
name.
category
You're
for
back
sure.
in.
I don't know if I'm back.
Are you
in.
back in?
The RJ train?
Would
Yeah,
you invest
yeah.
in him on Mojo? Would
I
you
don't
short
know.
him?
I don't know. I wouldn't touch him.
Okay.
RJ
same way.
Barrett's
I
still
can
somebody
respect
I'm
it.
not touching.
I can respect it.
Still, but looking at the Knicks, yeah, I think it's Brunson and RJ who played well. I think RJ definitely rose up his stock with how people talk
Drew
about him in the
Holiday's stock is
playoffs.
plummeting.
It's cooked.
It's
Everybody on the Bucks outside of Giannis.
It's
Brook
plummeting.
Lopez? I'm
I
going to say it
think-
plummeted.
It didn't
still
plummet.
say
It
same.
definitely
Stay the
dropped. I
same.
think it dropped a little bit.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Trey Young, I think he went up a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah, that's somebody we talked about earlier that his stock in regular season was down.
Mhm.
In playoffs, he definitely, raised some eyebrows
DeAndre
and
Hunter
kind
had a
of
good series.
worked back up his
He
reputation.
did. He actually really did.
John Moran stock.
That's down.
No, it's
That's in the
down after
drain.
the
That's in the drain.
After that?
Huh?
After that?
No comment.
Oh.
Bro, ain't no way.
Guy showed his colors. With that pew.
No, the pew was hilarious.
I'm trying to think about a couple more. Nobody on the Celtics you think
A lot of people on the
has
Kings.
raised their stock up a little bit.
Shit, after Game 7 against Philly, I would have said Tatum.
Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray.
Jordan Poole.
Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray played well.
I bought it.
Oh, yeah, you lost money.
Year 5 Poole.
Oh, got it.
Jordan
Kuminga.
Poole stock is in the ground.
Kaminga?
Kevon
It's Kerr's
Looney
fault.
probably went up.
Kevon Looney shit.
Yeah,
Probably
up to the
jumped out
sky.
the
Is
roof.
Kuminga is like next year? Is he gonna get some serious minutes?
Can you ask Kerr? I don't know.
Yo, Moses Moody
I did
slept
say,
on.
but he's not on. He's not on there. 'Cause
Really?
if I can call Kerr, I would genuinely ask him, "Yo, why the fuck didn't you play Kuminga? You know, the 6'9" athletic,
Mid.
guy who can defend."
He's mid.
No.
He's mid.
You didn't watch the last 30 games.
Yeah.
I watched great.
Good.
I
watched the last 6.
He didn't play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm looking at D'Angelo Russell, who's arguably the biggest playoff faller.
What the hell?
As he should.
Why are we saying that?
Who do you think? Who is it between him and who else?
Julius
Jaylen
Randle?
Julius Randle.
And
Okay.
Poole and Randall.
So name me the
Poole
biggest.
Poole for sure.
Name me the biggest playoff fallers, and I'll show you their price on Mojo.
All right, so
We'll start Julius
yeah.
Randle.
Julius Randle is number 1.
Okay, let me look at Julius Randle. This is going to be
Jeez.
bad.
Let's go Randall, Herter, Poole, and then who's the fourth guy?
I guess he wants to say D'Lo.
D'Lo.
I want to see where Brown's at too
Jaylen Brown?
after
Oh,
this
yeah.
last week.
How short his bum ass.
Here's the fucking cash.
Julius Randle. Let me check. Let me check.
Why don't you check Kevin Herter?
Got it. Good idea. Fucking tag team.
I could check Jordan.
Huh?
Jaylen Brown.
I guess I got to do something, right?
Yeah, God
You
forbid,
so
right?
well, Jesus
God forbid you
Christ.
did anything.
Jesus, God forbid, right?
So Julius Randle's price didn't drop much.
Uh-oh.
It didn't,
Something's up. Mojo.
because most of his values
What are
earned
you looking
already.
JB.
Kevin Huerter being $116 and Austin Reeves only being 94 is not saying right in my
Jordan
spirit.
Poole is 118.50.
That's because Herter got more years under him.
Yeah.
Reeves will probably be better.
In
over
the
them.
last month, Kevin Huerter is down from 119 to 116.
Last month, Jaylen Brown is down 2% from 223 to 219. He's down 7% on the
This
year.
is odd.
He
So-
made All NBA.
So in a week, Poole jumped up 2.16% last week. A month ago, he dropped nothing. Never mind.
D'Angelo Russell is down 4% in these playoffs. And in the last week, he's down 4%. And that's mostly because of the conference final stinkers
Okay, so
that he's been having.
so in a month, Poole has dropped 5.13%. In a year, 2.58%.
Aaron Judge in the Hall of Fame.
What'd he just do?
In the bottom of the ninth, we're down 1. He hits a game-tying home run to send us into extras. He's the GOAT.
So why don't you guys win?
We will. We're better than you
You
guys.
guys have been playing well.
Huh? We have been. We've had the best record in May so far.
Hey, buddy, you
Talk
have
to me.
one more win.
Okay.
You have one more. You have losses. You have more losses. Losers. We're back. You're fucked. We're your worst nightmare.
Mets are getting smoked.
D'Lo or Russell? I mean, D'Lo or Randall?
For
I'm
bigger
gonna go- I think
choker or
Randall.
Again, let's talk about it. Grizzlies, he was good. Warriors, he was good. Against the Nuggets, he was
benched.
horrendous. Why can't we just say that?
Before that, he's been horrendous in the playoffs too, though.
For sure, but we
And-
can't. 2
No,
out of the
Minnesota
3.
was
And
bad.
Randall's
He's
the
been
number
he's
2.
been horrible 3
He's all
series. He's
NBA.
been good 2
No,
series.
no, Minnesota's bad.
Yeah, D'Lo, we know for the most part we're going to get from him. Randall, second time in a row, stinging up in the playoffs like this, can't let that happen.
He was injured. Give him a break.
What about the first time around?
Give him a break. Yeah, no help.
Okay.
Give him a break.
Always something.
Now, big time news that happened in the NBA was that Carmelo Anthony announced his retirement. And Carmelo Anthony, one of the greatest scorers in the history of the NBA.
Paul George clears.
Did I say clear? I said he was better. I didn't say clear.
As
People
a
are
scorer,
not
he's
happy.
not better.
I didn't know. You sound like a Jaylen Brown fan.
Whoa. What's wrong with being a
Why?
Jaylen Brown fan?
Because
Carmelo can pass.
better than PJ.
Not better than PG, but he's better scorer than PG.
My
though.
defense.
He's better. No, PG's better.
So
defender.
basically,
That's not a
Paul George is a
competition.
better all-around player.
Carmelo
You didn't
is
answer
a
the
better
question.
scorer than him.
You just completely disavoided the question.
And Paul just had better teammates too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Kawhi Leonard
Yeah.
hasn't done shit with him.
Well, he went to
Prime
WCF.
Russell Westbrook, MVP.
Wait. Paul George has done more than Melo.
How much more?
Melo has got out the first round twice in, 14 years?
How many conference finals appearances did PG have?
3.
Carmelo has one.
1.
Okay.
He's made it out the first round 3
Does
times.
PG have a scoring title?
No.
Oh, okay. Does he have any title of
I
anything?
guess the scoring title matters
I want
a
to say
lot.
one
The
scoring
score, I
title.
mean, just
I don't think.
that means you're the best
Does
scorer. in the
Carmelo
NBA
have
this
any
year.
defensive teams?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
There's no way.
Not even possible, right?
Who do you
Yeah.
think? Does Paul George have a college championship?
Here we go.
Are you fucking?
Was he one of the greatest one and dones in collegiate history?
You beat me.
How many times has he won
It-
the
it
Olympic
is
gold
the
medal?
Pro Basketball Hall of Fame, right?
How many times has he won the Olympic gold medal?
Well, he got hurt. Let's respect.
That's facts. He's right.
He did
Carmelo
get
got 3 of those.
He did get hurt, nigga. He didn't.
There's not a PG versus Carmelo Anthony conversation.
Correct.
Because Carmelo's ninth all time in points.
I guess we're just gonna talk about points all day.
Like Melo, just why do we talk about Paul George?
No, that was
He
me.
brought it
That was
up.
me. That was me.
It was true.
I was just saying because he shows no respect to Carmelo Anthony.
Well, I got like
Why'd you hate
50.
Carmelo?
No, I just said Paul George is better.
I just say shit sometimes.
No,
But you look at Carmelo's career.
Tatum's better. Tatum's better.
When Carmelo got
Two of 'em.
drafted to Denver, even though LeBron turned out to be the best player, one of the greatest players ever, I think in their rookie years, Carmelo should have been Rookie of the Year. He led Denver to the playoffs that year. His stats across the board, you compare them. LeBron had an edge in, I think, 3. Carmelo had the edge in others. He led the Nuggets to the conference finals. But really, and this is a shame, it's just that his Knicks tenure was so awful.
Yeah.
After 2013, it went downhill because Phil Jackson came in. I'm looking back at these rosters because I was curious. 14-15, our starting lineup was Jose Calderon, Langston Galloway. So Calderon, Galloway, Carmelo, Lou Amundsen, and Jason Smith. That was
That shut him down that year.
that
too,
was
right?
the first. That was the 5 that started the most games for the Knicks that year. In 15-16, the Knicks starting lineup was Calderon, Aaron Aflalo, which was supposed to be the
That's an
big time
improvement.
splash
Yeah,
move in that
uh-huh.
offseason.
Yep.
Aaron DeFlalo.
Porzingis, rookie Porzingis, Carmelo,
we've come.
and Robin Lopez. And then 16-17 was our attempt of creating a super team with Derrick Rose, Courtney Lee, Carmelo, Porzingis, and Joakim Noah. And that was a big time mistake for the Knicks at that time. I swear, man, I think if Carmelo had a better team with
Should've
the
came to
Knicks,
Chicago.
we
Should've
would have
came to
we
Chicago.
would have made some conference finals appearances.
He
for
actually
sure.
spoke about that, and he was like, he was young and dumb. If he would have came to Chicago in 2012 with D Rose, with Joakim Noah, we still would have been able to keep Luol Deng, I believe, because it was
Boozer?
free agency. Boozer, Melo. He would have took a pay cut. If he would have took a pay cut, he came.
But that's why he went to the
The
Knicks.
pay cut was massive though.
because they were giving him over $100 million.
It was like
at the time.
a $50 million pay cut.
That's
I mean, guess people just don't want to win as much as they say they do.
That's a lot of money.
50 mil. It's like
I mean,
10.
that
He was
was
going
a-
to make that back in
That was
endorsements.
the big issue, or the big criticism of Carmelo Anthony, that he was more of a me guy than a we guy. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about obviously his impact on the court. A lot of New York fans love basketball because of Carmelo Anthony, and Carmelo Anthony's game was just so unique. You just had to gravitate towards it. When I was young and I was watching basketball, for sure, Carmelo Anthony was one of those guys that I took a liking to. But it's unfortunate that his career never really was able to be cemented with a championship. But nevertheless, a great all-time great player, top 75 NBA player. He will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but it's great that he's being recognized in such a positive light, and it's been great to see the acknowledgement of Carmelo Anthony.
You guys saw the video.
I
It was
think
really
it,
cool.
yeah,
It
I
was
think
tough.
Sure.
I think
I
it
thought that was
showcased
excellent.
How old's his son?
16.
16?
Okay, it's a couple years.
He's going to the G League Ignite soon, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
I thought he was going to G League Ignite. I'm thinking of somebody else. Might be thinking of somebody else. Thinking of Ron Holland. Sorry.
I mean, I think what it showed about Carmelo was that the entire
Dang.
basketball world, how they feel about him.
Yeah.
I mean, they really value him as one of the players who is a pioneer for the game of basketball. And he's definitely a pillar for the 2000s, mid 2010s era. He's definitely one of those guys that's one of the pillars. You have LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony's right up there. I think, 2011 Derrick Rose. Those guys are all up there. I'm looking at do you think that he put a little bit, like, a lot of pressure on his son by
Low-key.
featuring him in the retirement
It's
thing?
a
I'm
lot
sure
of
his son
expectations
was-
were coming with that
yeah.
now.
Nah, but it was understood what it was meant by that.
I think it was.
When
I think expectations come when you become one of the great sons, like
Correct.
Melo, D Wade's son, LeBron's son. Like you're gonna get that regardless if you play ball. Like if you choose to make that path. So I think even with Steph Curry's son, his son don't know it yet, but if he chooses that path of basketball, that expectation is already going to be mounted on you, even though it shouldn't be. That's how it's going to
But
be.
I understood the sentiment. I'm sure everyone else, understands where he was coming from. As a father, your legacy is your children. You're leaving them your last name. That's what it ultimately becomes. I'm sure that my dad looks at my brother, me, and my sister and say, hey, if I did anything right in my life, it's these 3 guys. These are the ones that are going to carry who I am as an individual. So I understand exactly where he's coming from.
So he's the
Vid was fire.
he's
Vid
ranked in the
was,
class of 2025.
Yeah,
So he got some time.
The vid was
Do you have
fire.
where he's ranked?
I don't have where he's ranked, but he's received 11 Division I offers.
Makes sense.
About
5
6-7.
coming within the last month. Illinois, Indiana, Tennessee, Seton Hall.
He probably go to Q's.
And he's
Come to
received
Seton Hall.
offers.
Come to
Seton
the
Hall.
hall, baby.
He's
What's
received
wrong with you?
Syracuse fan.
He's received offers from Syracuse, Providence, UMass, Manhattan, Memphis,
Hey,
Bryant, and George Mason.
you want to be like your pops? Come home.
Come home.
Come home, man.
Y'all need a spark.
We need everything.
No, it was definitely a good deed what Carmelo did. I think the sentiment was correct, but I thought, at least when I was watching the video, that the retirement thing was going to be centered around him and kind of, how much he's going to miss basketball. When he brought his son into the equation, like the passing of the torch, it kind of caught me off guard. That portion of it kind of caught me off
I
guard.
thought he was done with
His-
basketball like last year, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, my brother said the same shit. He goes, I thought he'd been retired. I cracked up. I was like, yo, you're foul.
He retired as a Laker.
Yeah, should have.
should have went to
Oh, was he just a free agent? I guess this didn't really. Yeah,
after that year. They flopped.
the Lakers.
Yeah, last year.
Oh,
Horrendous.
65 wins.
Come on.
Never forget.
WCF beat you. Close you out in 30 with a 30
You didn't
piece.
win a game. in the
Close you out with a
WCF.
30 piece
Are you guys
McNugget.
winning?
Close you out with
Yes.
a 30 piece
Why don't you
McNugget.
give one away?
Probably 6 when Jimmy Butler hits his free throw.
Yes. Come back.
Right where they have us, right where they want us.
Listen, if y'all get this one, you win one back in Boston, you win one back in Miami.
You're just praying for
anything
it, aren't you?
anything goes. Game 7.
Realistically, if you guys win this, it'll go 6.
I don't know, man.
Let's win this goddamn.
He
game
might
first.
lose. They might beat him in Boston again.
It's possible, but I
For
think they
4
really
and
get
5
that
at home?
this game 6.
Yeah, bro, you guys are terrible at home.
It's
Your crowd
nasty.
is nasty. It's like it's fire. I don't know how y'all lose with that crowd, bro.
So now we're gonna finish off the show with 2 things. First of all, gonna do some price comparisons with 2 young teams, Rockets and Pistons for Mojo.
Okay.
Then the second thing we're gonna finish off the show with is predicting the Jets' schedule in 2023.
Okay, all right, all
And
right.
we're gonna have
Want me to-
either
I
yes,
got you,
Drew
I
or
got you.
Riv read the schedule, and Dehls and I will answer it.
Honestly,
in cahoots.
do it.
honestly,
Yes.
and without any sort of bias. Or,
No. So
Right.
first off, let's do the share price comparison. So whose future is better between the Houston Rockets and the Detroit Pistons?
Here we go.
Mojo has their best players, their best young players by price. And first up is Cade Cunningham. He's the highest priced young player on the Pistons, and Alperen Şengün, who's the highest priced Rocket
wow,
on
on Jalen
Mojo.
Green.
More than Jalen Green.
Wow.
Makes sense. Sungu had a better year
He's
too.
shown more. He's
Do
shown
you,
more.
do you think Jalen Green's ceiling is higher?
I do. But
Then
I think
Şengün, yes.
Sengun had a better year too.
I'm gonna.
But we're picking who?
That's what,
Oh,
Cade or Şengün?
Yeah, Cade.
Cade.
Going
Cade
Cade.
pretty comfortably.
I think everybody's going to go Cade comfortably.
I'm
Let's
assuming you're
go,
not.
Tatum.
Don't sleep on Şengün.
No one's sleeping on Şengün.
I am
Please
for
don't
sure.
sleep on
No,
Şengün.
you're
Against
Riv.
Cade, I'm in a coffin.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. I'm in a coffin.
I'm sorry.
Şengün's baby Jokic.
No, I understand, but just when it comes to Cade, I feel a way about it. I
I
think
saw
he'll
the
be.
OG vid. You were.
I was
you weren't happy
fucking
about
fuming about that.
I was
video.
cracking up.
I love OG though.
Now, next up is Jaden Ivey versus Jalen Green. These are both of these teams' respective second highest priced young
Are
players.
you not going, Jaden?
You know, I've grown a fondness towards Jalen Green after watching the Paul
Lance.
George, which by the way, he's doing an amazing job getting guys up there. But
Facts.
I've grown a fondness to Jalen Green. I think he's a really cool dude, very very fucking handsome guy.
Yes.
Like
his girl.
dangerously handsome. I'm going Ivy though. You guys know how I feel about Ivy. This is very much biased. So I'm going Ivy.
It is very close. I do worry about the Rockets, but now with Ime, maybe it takes a little bit of worry away. I do believe in Ime as a head coach, and he'll ask for the best out of his players, but it'll depend on how much better Green wants to be as an NBA player. Ivy was very impressive his rookie season, and what really impressed me was his ability to play make, because that was a big question mark on his game, and for him to put most of that to bed, that was impressive in of itself. I feel more safe going with Ivy.
I'm going to go Jalen Green. And this might be disrespectful to say. I'm a fan of Jaden Ivey's game. Jalen Green is going to be a star. And I think Jalen Green has been getting slept on his first 2 seasons because people laugh at the efficiency, but getting Ime there, getting a foundation, a culture set, Jalen Green his second year is averaging 20. I think he's going to be a consistent 20 points per game guy. The efficiency is going to go up. It's going to match his production. And Jalen Green's somebody that I think has a very high ceiling that people are sleeping on right now because they like to clown the Rockets.
Here's the thing. If his efficiency goes up, then he's getting upwards of 26 to 28 a game. But that's the worry.
I think he has the potential to be a 25-plus point per game player in the league.
I think I would side with Jalen Green.
I need to lock in on Jalen Green, but I don't know him as the playmaker.
No, yeah,
How is he as
it's
a
hard
playmaker?
both
It's
of these
not
guys,
existent
truthfully.
from what I'm.
Do you have any worries about once Cade comes back, how Ivy fits?
To
Since
be
he
honest
was-
with you,
since he
Riv
kind
and
of
I feel like
thrives
you've
without Cade.
more so brought me into this idea, but I'm with you 100%. Cade was supposed to be the point guard, but now with Ivy, that's not necessarily
You think Cade will play more
essential.
Cade can play off ball.
I mean, he came in as a 3. I think he was recruited as a 3, but obviously he's
Yeah,
so
he was
versatile.
recruited as a 3, went to Oklahoma State, played point guard, but they ran like he played the 3 also,
Yeah.
but he was the point guard for them. So,
Just rip ass, you
Yeah,
sicko.
it's the second time.
oh, this is what you've been doing. So yeah, I think as long as they don't have him playing the small forward, I think he's perfect at the 2 guard.
Yeah, and if the Pistons are screwed now.
Cam Whitmore,
yeah.
please bring him home.
Yo, Magic think that they're gonna get Cam Whitmore.
Orlando, respect to the 6 man.
Come on.
Sorry.
And now these are the third price. I keep fucking up, but these are third on both these teams' lists. Jalen Duren and Jabari Smith.
I'm sorry. Jalen Duren's
Respect.
going to fucking
You're a
clear
big Duren
Jabari
guy.
Smith. He's baby Dwight.
I'm gonna believe in Jabari. I get it. Jalen
Jalen's a
Duren has
Jalen
a
Duren
lot
is a
of
problem.
potential. He's
He's a-
good.
Defensively,
mad
he's an
good.
underrated passer as a rookie.
Okay.
Listen, man.
Okay.
And he's 9. I mean, they're both young. But Duren,
No,
he's
Duren's the
18.
youngest player in the league.
Yeah, that's
Jabari
why.
is
He's
still
like
raw.
18
He's
in the
still
league.
raw.
So
and
was
he-
Duren.
He is.
He's a grown ass man.
He is,
Yeah,
bro.
He's got for being 18, 19. He's got some size on him.
Yo, he probably
6'11".
Yeah, he's like ox. You know what I mean? Like
Probably
he's
has
not
a- you know what
skinny.
I'm saying?
Oh my God.
I'm just saying,
I
bro.
knew it, bro.
I'm just
I
saying.
knew it.
Oh
I'm going
my
Jalen Duren too.
God.
I think Jalen Duren.
I get it.
I think he is baby
I get
Dwight.
it.
This is for our sponsor, bro.
I'm
For
fucking
God's
crying. No, we
sakes.
can come on, bro. We're being
I'm
us.
saying he probably has that bag in him.
He's capping like
What are
shit.
we doing here, man?
Nah, Jalen Duren is so good, man.
He's
He is
good, bro. And then he wasn't even starting him at the
Jabari
beginning.
just got to figure out that jump shot. It has to
Yeah.
translate.
I mean, the last month or so of the season, he was a lot more efficient.
He's a good defender already.
Jordan's the safer pick, though. He showed more.
Yeah, he did show more.
So okay, the Suns are advancing 4 coaches: Doc Rivers, Nick Nurse, Kings associate head coach Jordy Fernandez, and Suns associate head coach Kevin Young. What do you think wins out the bunch?
I think Nick Nurse should win.
Good
I'm
stuff.
not
That's
familiar with
hilarious.
the assistant coaches, but just off coaches I know, if they bring in Doc Rivers after what Doc Rivers has shown,
He's
Yeah.
passed. He's passed.
this is ridiculous.
I'm gonna go wild card. I think the Kings associate head coach will get the job.
You
I
think
always like
based
to
on
see
that,
when it's not recycled.
that
by coaches.
based on that Kings historic
But
third seed, you
Nurse is
think
I think
he
the
gets it?
offense that the Kings run, the Suns can run it very, very well.
Yeah.
So I think Ayton is, but I think the two Kevin Durant and Devin Booker would really thrive in those offenses. So
That's a good one. I think that's a good one.
Facts. All right, it's time.
Let's get into this
Your
NFL
schedule.
schedule.
All right, you're gonna have to promo it pretty well though.
Aaron Rodgers minor
We're
calf
here
injury.
predicting the New York Jets. Lock in.
What is in your throat?
That's a good question, bro.
My
Fucking
God.
What do you want? Never mind. Come on.
Holy.
This guy's
Let's do it.
unbelievable.
All right, we're here with 2 of the greatest Jets fans I've ever seen in my life.
One.
No, I respect my guy. Respect him.
I've
Yeah.
been on the Zach Wilson train.
Yeah, you're a Zach Wilson fan more than you're a Jets fan.
Doesn't matter.
That's
He's
because
here.
he doesn't believe in our quarterback. He went
Our
10 for
quarterback's
12 in
Aaron
practice.
Rodgers.
Quarterback Aaron Rodgers now.
I believe
Zach
in- I
Wilson.
believe
That's
in
my
our
Listen,
quarterback.
fellas.
now.
Zach
My bad,
Wilson's
my bad, my
irrelevant. We're on to the
I'm with
show.
you.
We got Dehls. We got Moran. We got the Jets schedule. We have the counter here. Let's do it. First game of the season. Buffalo Bills in New York. How we taking it?
That's a win.
We win that
I think
game.
that's a win. That's a
You
win.
got- okay.
We split
Yeah.
with them last year.
We're a better
Now we
team
got
than Buffalo.
Rodgers.
Okay.
This is
And last year we beat them.
okay. All right.
Here we go. You guys are traveling to Dallas to play the Cowboys week 2.
Tough game.
That's a tough game. Our
I don't hear an
tackle
answer.
spots are weak. That's something that's alarming for me. Mekhi Becton just came out criticizing the coaching staff. I say that's a loss. I respect Dallas. I think they're a great team.
I'll give him this one.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you go back home to play your rivals, the dangerous,
The
always
streak
deadly
stops.
New England
The
Patriots.
streak stops.
It stops there.
We win the game.
Stops.
We win.
The first game, week 3.
Yes.
Do Then you stay home and you play the best quarterback we've ever seen in our lives, Kansas City Chiefs.
That's an L.
Manning.
I think that's a loss.
2-3.
And then you travel to play this young man's team, the Denver Broncos.
Oh, the Broncos. That's an easy one.
We win that
At
3-3.
Denver in Mile High.
We beat
One
them
of the
last
Mile
year.
We did beat them last year.
That was the game Brees Hall got.
They
Oh,
had
but-
Brett Rippin though.
Oh, but it gets
That's
great.
nice.
This is going to be a fun week on the
Yeah,
show
Philly.
because
All
then
right,
you
so-
go travel to Philly and you play the team you've never beaten in your lives,
We're not
in
beating
other
them.
lives.
They got it.
No,
play the
so this is
Eagles.
the first time we could beat the
You're in Philly.
Philadelphia Eagles.
You're in Philly.
We're in Philly.
That's
It's
an L.
Sunday.
We have Aaron
October
Rodgers.
15th.
That's an L.
They have Jalen Hurts. Okay, let's move on. It's an L.
3-3.
And we got
Bye.
the bye. Yep.
And then
If
you
we're
go-
3-3 at the bye, I'm golden.
You go travel and you play the Giants at New York.
That's a win. Easy win.
We win that.
They're
The
traveling.
Okay.
Giants
so
are
far.
not on our level as a team. No way.
Not even traveling for real.
That's not gonna
Then you stay home and then you go play the Chargers.
At home, I'll take us.
At home, we win.
Oh my God. Okay.
Then you go travel.
Also,
Oh,
notice, I'm not sure how the Chargers' run defense is going to look.
and Eckler's
With Brees
staying.
Hall
He is.
back healthy, we're
Brees
going to
Hall's
have
better.
an elite rushing offense. I think we
he's a
beat
runner.
the Chargers.
He's a wide receiver. All right, and then you go travel to Vegas and you go play the Raiders.
Oh, that's an easy
We
win.
can win that game. Yep.
It's an easy
6-3.
win.
And
I'm
then you
fucking
head
fine.
over in November, right before Thanksgiving. You had the Buffalo to play the Bills.
We lose.
We're
that.
going to split. I
Yeah.
think we lose that.
Respect. I like that you respect my Buffalo Bills. Then you go travel to Miami. Oh, actually, I lied. You go home and you play the Miami Dolphins.
I think we split with Miami, so I'll
Oh,
give
yes,
us the
I
win.
I think
at
we
home.
win at home versus Miami.
And then you stay at home for the Atlanta Falcons.
We win
Win.
that game too.
Then you stay at home for the Texans.
We
Win.
win that game too.
Lucky.
Wow, the second half of our
I
schedule is
know.
really weak.
That's
Yeah,
why.
this is lucky.
That's why before that bye, if we're at 3-3, I'm feeling good.
Actually, no, it gets tough now because then you go travel to Miami. You play the Dolphins.
That's an L. We'll split.
Yeah, well, I'll take the split.
Then you head back. You go to you go home for Washington.
We win that game too.
Then you travel to my team. You travel to Cleveland to play the Browns. Deshaun Watson.
That's
Tough
a
game.
toss up.
That is a toss up.
The
And-
Browns have
Mhm.
a loaded roster. It's still a question mark to see what Deshaun Watson are we gonna get. I'm gonna give the Jets a win, Dales. Let's give the Jets a win here.
Fucking
The
11.
Dallas game, we won or did we lose?
We lost.
We lost the Dallas game.
Yeah, he gave loss because it's
I
at
think,
Dallas.
I think those are two toss ups, so I would be fine 1L, 1W there.
so. You
So
take
we
the loss
beat
here.
the Browns.
Oh, you beat the Browns here.
Beat the Browns,
Okay.
lose to Dallas,
And then you finish off the season at New England.
we'll split.
We're gonna sweep New England this year.
Oh,
Okay.
Listen, we're gonna
they're gonna
sweep
be playing
them
for something that week
because it's personal.
There we go.
Last
You see
year
what-
we
you
got
see your
swept.
walk.
Last year we did not just get swept.
You got embarrassed.
Zach Wilson had his worst performances against the Patriots, and we had the whole debacle the second game we faced them, where he got benched in the whole media post game, where he says that he doesn't feel at fault for the defense. He doesn't feel like he let the defense down. So we're gonna sweep the Patriots this year, no doubt about it. We're sweeping
new
them.
walk this year.
We're sweeping them.
New walk
It's the
this year.
same
What was our
walk.
record,
Same walk.
Joe?
It's new energy.
Yeah, what you got?
You guys didn't have you losing many games.
I think maybe 5 Ls.
They were 11
You
and
The
had
5.
Cowboys,
11,
the
11
Chiefs.
wins.
11. I think that's
I think we can win 11 games.
No, a 12. Joel had a 12. You had 11.
I thought we were step and step.
No, are you sweeping New England?
Oh no.
Yeah, you didn't say that.
I'm sweeping. We are sweeping New England. We
All
are
right,
sweeping New
so
England.
you guys had losses to Dallas.
Yeah.
A loss to KC.
Lost to
Loss
Philly.
to Philly. A loss to at Buffalo.
Mhm.
A
At
loss
Miami.
at Miami. And then a loss at New England or not a
Miami.
loss. So you only have 5 losses.
Yeah.
You got the
And-
Buffalo loss, right?
Or
It's
6.
12
Th-
wins. Come on. Don't
Denver
undersell our
could
team.
go either way. Dallas could go either way. Chargers could go either way.
Don't undersell our team,
Cleveland
Dells.
also.
Cleveland could go either way too.
But that's
We
week
won
16.
7 games with the worst quarterback play in the league.
It was ugly.
Difference- Yeah,
It
We
was
improve
ugly.
the roster. We get better quarterback play.
your schedule's
One of
calm.
a top 7
It's
quarterback.
about surviving those first 6 weeks. Get to 3-3. Get to the bye. Then the second half of the schedule, it lightens up. Especially
I'll
at that
say this.
3-week Washington, Atlanta, Texans.
Once you get off the bye, you should be feeling like if you go into the bye
I don't
3-3, that's a W.
Yeah,
the
but then
Jets
after
are
the bye, they got
definitely
at Giants, then they play the Chargers, Vegas, whatever. Then at Buffalo, then they go to Miami.
the Jets are definitely getting 11 plus wins this year. 11 plus.
We
I feel
see.
comfortable. With
11
10 plus.
is the
I feel
ground.
comfortable with 10
Okay.
plus.
11 is the floor.
Oh gosh, what's the ceiling? 15.
It may be. Aaron Rodgers done it before. He's won 15-1 before.
Really? What year was
Yeah.
that?
20,
Yeah, they lost in the second round.
2012, I
So they
believe,
got
2013.
that's the year they lost to who? The Niners?
I don't know if that was
Did
the
they get destroyed by the
Giants
Niners?
or
That might have been the Giants.
yeah.
These guys are this guy Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. Rodgers minor calf injury, he's fine.
Play both our
Lazard had
teams
a
this year.
minor injury too.
Lazard was fine though. He came back in
he was
practice.
fine. He got hit in the balls. He said.
Nuts.
Oof.
But it's cool because Zach Wilson looked great in practice.
It's practice. Bro.
Every reporter is talking about it.
Where's the Zach Wilson jersey? What the hell is
That
that?
It's right there. It's
We
it's
should have
right
had it
there.
up.
Oh yeah,
that
we
was your
should've.
play almost.
He
all my
has
teams.
two good. He has 2 good practices in a row. It's getting hung up.
Cleveland,
Who remember? Who am I
Zach.
missing?
Eagles, Cleveland Bills, my Cardinals.
All of them. Oh, Cardinals. I wish we played them.
I know. I just you get your ha-has now.
Reading these last 3 super chats, Anthony Soprano, all love from the Sin City boys. Summer League ? It is a question mark for us too. We'll keep you updated. Verified Elijah, I hate Dehls.
Ah, fuck you too, buddy.
How can you hate Joel, man?
Pick a side meme. Y'all go buy some sunglasses from Shady Rays.
Yes,
I
sir.
bought 3 pairs and I love them. Shout out to Santos.
Real. Use that code. Do we have a code?
Pick a side.
Pick a side.
50% off 2+ glasses.
90% sure he didn't use the code.
No.
He just bought it in full.
No. I mean, with
No,
that
he
deal, you
definitely-
definitely use
Yeah,
the
yeah.
code.
Why wouldn't he
Be a
use the
fool
code?
not to.
Come on.
50% it's crazy.
Listen, Santos, I don't know what he does, but
He's always on
He
some
makes
shit.
money.
God bless him.
He's
God
a
bless
hardworking man.
He is.
hey,
Yes.
Shout out Santos.
That's going to do it for episode 283 of the Pick a Side Podcast. You guys can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast, on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.